that come out later that we've forgotten about GPK, like the Invoker. But as we can see here, Kazu, Alpha Heroes are up.
Yeah, I feel like also like Centaur has really been rising in popularity. I don't know if you want to ban it first stage, but like you need to keep in mind in like the second stage and overall like also the Bristleback, just like anything for Miro to play forward, allow your team to like come to you, help GPK maybe on some rune. This team has a lot of heroes like in their arsenal as well, like Save on his post 4, whether it be the Grimstroke, he busts out some line every now and then, or a Hoodwink. Like they've got a lot of it, but I do agree, these spirits, they don't really do it for me from the mid lane. They don't seem that strong anymore.
Yeah, they really don't, but GPK, he's famous for his spirit heroes, so it's unfortunate for him, but he's found a replacement for that in the Puck. And also the Shaker has had a lot of consistent performances. The Void Spirit is probably the only spirit that feels good right now because of how popular Puck is and it as a counter. And also his ability to play Sand King from mid himself can be well contested here. Instead of banning the Sand King, they just first pick it for themselves. That's an option that they could choose to take.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of talk of cause, and I feel like we need to put
some respect on Tommy's name, right? Like, how many times have we seen him outplay a hit a clutch on a Nagasar and, you know, echoing Snaking's performance on a Pugner, right? Like, he feels like a critical building block in other players shining, and we just don't really give him as much light as the others. But yeah, I think if you can, I think they're going to have to look at Kotomi as well.
I mean, we did see Nick McGalaxy put a lot of respect in banning out the Bane. That was definitely a good strat coming out for them. I would not be surprised to see Falcons going for the same route in the upcoming game. I do want to touch a little bit upon the team's playstyle, taking it a little bit away from the heroes they'll play with it. How do these teams match up in playstyle? We've had so many different routes to victory. We talked in the previous series about how we saw Extreme being a little bit slower. And yes, they adapted against P-Vision, especially in that second game, speeding it up a little bit. On the other side, we did see P-Vision with a high tempo later on after the farming was done. How would we describe what's coming our way this time around?
And for Falcons, they're a team that do play longer games, but not at the expense of their early game. Their lanes are strong, their macro is strong, their network game is very strong. They love to play for scaling on all of their heroes. They love to play the map, get these early objectives. And for BB team, their strength in the past, not this TI, but they were famous for their lanes. They would stomp their lanes, snowball out that, and play an aggressive game. What we saw yesterday was when they aren't winning these lanes and they're playing behind, that aggressive playstyle
Yeah, I'm hoping that BB team have an answer to this Falcons. Like I always talk about the 10 to 15 minute collapse. They're gonna break open the map, make sure that everyone has the space to farm. Because to me, BB team, they're more maybe on the side of the traditional like 4+1. You have your hard carry, you play on board, you hope that he can enable the game later, like just take it for you. Whereas Falcons, they don't always play hard carries either. He's gonna play faster.
But it's not even a matter of Skidder playing hard carry. I think during TI, he's actually shifting more towards heroes that want farm as well, to some degree. It's the fact that Falcons look at an objective in the early game, and they bring the correct amount of heroes. Like other teams, you might bring 3, you might bring 4, even 5, but on paper you don't need 5. Falcons, every time, if they want to take a tower, contest a Roshan, contest a Wisdom, they bring the perfect amount of heroes, hence why they feel like they always farming. Because if you take too many or too little, you don't win, your farm diminishes, right? So for BB, if they make a move in the map, they have to respect that Falcons are going to return with the correct amount of heroes to kind of rebuttal that aggression.
And the ability to make moves on the map, to me, that will boil down to the laning stage. I look at the series, and this is just about the lanes for me. Because if BB team play the lanes like they did yesterday, they're going to get a lot less opportunities on that map than Nick gave them. Falcons will capitalize completely on the lane advantage they get into everything. So BB team have to take it back to basics and make sure they're coming out an advantage from the laning stage. Look at your safe lane. How can you fix it? How can you make it easier for Kieran Kotomi?
I mean, luckily for them, it used to be one of the absolute laning skills and like all their players' individual skill that they bring together. So if they can just, have a normal, stable game, these two teams will match up quite well into each other. I think the games will have quite a bit of duration unless Falcons really get this early lead with their stacks going on. BB team also something you can look towards. Play into the enemy triangle. Take some of those stacks away from Malrine because he is the tempo controller for Falcons. If you shut him down, their game slows down quite a lot.
Now there is a mental factor to the series that I still wanted to highlight because for people that watch Dota 2 whole year round and follow both of these teams, last year, you would have seen BB team lose a lot against Falcons. To be fair, everybody lost a lot against Falcons, so no harsh words there. But a lot of those series were in finals, and BB team was basically always the bridesmaid, never the bride. And it definitely got to them a little bit, getting a little frustrated potentially. leading into BB's first victory only at the start of this season in Copenhagen. And the thing that Save said after that finals was it was great to have the finals, but next time he hopes he does it against Team Falcons, because for him still and for BB Team still, it is Team Falcons that is the team to beat. They haven't played yet in the grand finals. I'm sure they would love to have Falcons as their opponents if they make it to the finals here, but I do want to take a moment to also respect the fact that BB Team does make it to top 6, because for Falcons, we can't always expected them to be doing well and not just be top 6 but move further. For BB Team, we always have the same stories, like
50-50.
Can they do it this time around? We know they have the player skills, but can they pull it together at the right time? We're going to find out if they can here in this upper bracket semi-finals. Winners of this best of 3 will be top 3 guaranteed at this year's international, and we are going to start with step 1 of this best of 3.
Versus BB Team. Game
ဟုတ်တယ်ငါကောင်နေပဲအောက်မှာတောင်းကျနေပြီမင်္ဂလာပါ
Here we go for game 1. We got Falcons on the Radiant side, BB Team on the Dire side, and the first pick goes the way of Falcons. And that means good news for BB Team. They got 4 bans. That's a lot of bans, and that means you can basically control maybe a little bit more what is coming your way from Falcons. So a couple of poisons removed in the Naga Siren, the Pugna, the Chen, and the Monkey King. It seems like Snake King heavily targeted here.
Oh, he's so targeted, but are they just doing what Malrine asked and giving him Sand King? We all chatted it yesterday.
ဟုတ်တယ် Crystal Tiny တဲ့မင်္ဂလာပါခင်ဗျာ Crystal Tiny ကဘာတူလဲလုံးပြန်ပြီလားစားနေ
The hero prepare a strong draft.
ကောင်း
I
နေ
don't mind giving Sand
ငါကောင်းနေ
King, but then I see BB.
Crystal Tiny တဲ့နာမည်ဟဲ့အောင်ဒါတကယ်ရတကောင်း
We're a really strong draft. And one thing that we have
တာဘူးကြီးလား
of course, it's Skitter's birthday today. Is
အဲ
there a birthday
စားရီ
buff?
ကွာ
Does that make a player
ထားလိုက်
better?
တယ်ကောင်းတယ်မေ
It depends how much he. It depends, I think, how much he imagines the arena singing for you, because then you just might cringe into the ground. But like you said, I feel like there was some Sand Kings, maybe some Beast Masters up
okay
up
Sand
in
King
the road, but
Sand King
they take
ဆို
out
တော့
the
သူက
GPK puck. They get the Malrine
About
Sand King,
offlane
most
Sand
likely.
King
So, like you said, BB Team, they
Crit
knew
lah.
this was coming.
Chris Sand King လား
And some teams like to react
စီ
to
ဗလင်းမထောင်
something
တော့
with
ဘူး
a
လား
shot
အာ
of
ဟုတ်
beam
တယ်
if
ဒီ
they
ကောင်
have
မှတ်
too
မိ
strong
နေတာ
as
ငါ
some
ရင်
players
ရင်
on
လိုက်ဆွဲ
their
ပုံမှန်
area in their mid. Other teams will react
Your
with a
money
Doom,
is
and
out
other
there.
teams will just react
Nga
by
fi
triangle
ba asset
invasion. That's one of the easier ways to solve him.
Does this count as triangle invasion?
This
လီ
is
ဘော
simply respecting
အဲ့တော့ဟိုဝင်
They have
ဟို
one
ဝင်ရ
man.
ထွက်နေကြ
They
hero
already
ပဲ
know
ဟိုဝင်ရ
that
ပါရင်အ
Cyclone
များ
is a
ပါ
good
တယ်
combination for Falcons.
ပွဲတွေမှာ
Take
တင်း
away
တင်း
the
ဘက်က
hoodwink,
ပါဟို
progress
ဝင်
your
ရ
own draft, and then you have that one
Di
ban
patch
to
mà
focus maybe on a
Hoodwink,
4 or
DI mà
another
cản যায়တယ်
position 5 to prevent snaking.
အဲ့တော့
till they come
Marine
to
ကရင်တော့ fight win
This
1
is
lose
also
တဲ့
respecting
83% win rate
because
this
as you
tournament
mentioned,
မှာအဲ့
you
တော့
only get
Marine
one
ကင်
ban,
မ
or
လား
you can't
ဒါမှ
double
မဟုတ်
ban the snap
crit ပဲကင်
plus
မ
the
လား
hoodwink. But if you give either away
Di ba ka
to
ro?
Falcons,
Wait.
it gets way too hard.
support
Yeah, and I also like that you mentioned the triangle invasion. I do
That's
think
safe
it is
timing,
incredibly
yeah.
important
71%.
against Sand King. You know it's going to happen. You know crit from the offlane or
Sneaking
snaking
up
if they
body.
put
I
it there,
don't
they're
feel
gonna
go
sack the
up here.
triangle.
I'm not
Having good
focused
lanes
sneaking
makes it a
on
lot
critical
easier for your
momentum.
4 to leave their offlaner. You go into the safe
Phone
and you
game
place
lah,
an
okay,
early
lah,
ward,
phone
you make
game,
it in
phone
there,
game
and you, like you try to invade it a little bit. So
Okay,
overall for
phone.
BB Team, I like this pick. They were
Forward
going to pick out of the
di ba?
next phase
Adwin
as well.
ni
So
sound.
let's just see how they start building from here.
Joko
Yeah, on the side of Falcons,
Why is he in
focus
the
on
wrong
Miera
joke?
with
Hello, today
obviously
then.
Lycan removed in the start of the ban phase. We got the Centaur now removed as well.
concentration တော့ကြောက်စရာ
It's all up to BB Team how they want to go from
Yeah.
here. Is it going to be that Snapfire ban into picking something, or is there something else that they
Okay,
rather
let's ban.
remove?
I mean, it's hard because Beastmaster is
Yeah,
still
he
in the
don't
pool,
only bid
so
on it.
if they're not planning on picking it for themselves, they have to take it out here.
ခီး
But I
တော့
would
အောင်
rather
ကြည့်
they
ရ
pick
အောင်
it for
မယ်
themselves.
ဘာ
It
ပန်း
gives
မလဲ
them
နာက
a really easy map idea who to play
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, honestly, I
this
wouldn't mind it
tournament
at all. I think other
team
heroes that
master
they
naga
should
ban
respect
rồi
still,
đó.
and
Nisha perfect
still,
is the
especially
best,
with what they've
defend
banned.
though.
There's no
But he
snaking
banned
Hinge,
Ashika ban
there's
rồi.
no snaking
And
Chen,
Nisha
no
perfect
Pagna,
is
no
the
Naga. There's likely that he's going to look at heroes like the Enchantress
Naga
next, so
ye.
maybe that's why they wanted the
Ashika ye.
Hoodwink to later on have the
Asi
break
ye.
against this hero, but you
Rover.
need to be aware of the
Pagna
heroes
le
that
ban
Falcons
hai,
have. They're
Pagna
not
jo
as
ban
like
ban.
diverse in what they pick, so you kind of know what's coming your way.
အဲ့တော့သူတို့ရှောင်းနိုးပြဟာလီးလာ
A lot of time is going into this one with bonus time being used on the side of the team. A lot of things to think about. As mentioned, only one ban.
I mean, you could run a Queen of Pain later if you want. Also on BBT, most likely the Sand King is going into mid. I think trying to shut him down early on is kind of cool for you. So I just hope that they have a couple of ideas what they want.
Wow, they're just going in an entirely different direction. This looks like it could be a Falcon
DK ဖုန်းဝင်ဆိုတော့ပြီးသွားပြီ။အမေပြောတယ်သူတို့နှစ်ကောင်ရပြုံးနေပြုံးနေ
banger DK performances like not long ago. I'm sure they can also play
ပြုံး
on
နေတယ်ဒီ
board
ကောင်
if
တွေပြုံး
they
နေပြီ
want to. I don't
ရှင်
know
နေ
if
တော့
they
ကောင်း
want
နေ
to
တယ်
kind of show it this early on,
ဟာ
but
Takis
another
ပြခိုင်း
strength
နေ
of
မင်းက
second
လည်း
pick.
တကယ်
You
ပွဲ
can
ကြမှာ
pick your core here. You
ရောက်
can
ဖို့
flex it until the end and then decide where you want it to be.
ဒီကမှာပြခိုင်းနေကမှာပြခိုင်းအကောင်မဟုတ်လေအိန္ဒိယမှာ
You can scurry through the trees. You've got DK as well, naturally quite tanky. You itemize to be tanky. If Falcons want to try and play a pickoff game, if they don't cleanly execute on the pickoff, at least these two heroes have a way to do it. Of course, Hoodwink. Epicenter +1, you're going to die, right? But the elusiveness and the tankiness is what BB might be needing.
There's something else that's kind of cool. I saw this a bit more in like the last days when the enemy team has Earthshaker. You know he's going to go Echo Slam the Ancients the first time, so he's not really much in the mid lane. I saw a lot of these like try to go hit the mid tower. 3 different guys, 3 different lanes, minute 5, minute 10 you pressure. And yeah, Ringmaster, another hero we've seen.
Ringmaster ဟဲ့ Ringmaster တွေ့ပြလို့လား TI မှာဒီပွဲတွေမှာမတွေ့သေးဘူး
So having a save, having some power play, and also helping your Sanky with team fight, I'm all for it.
Falcon ပေါ့
Ringmaster, I believe, has only been picked 4 times so far at the international.
Twice in the hands of Crit.
Do you guys know that with Ringmaster, I believe the weighted tie
ဟဲ့ crit ပဲကင်တာ1 win 1 lose တဲ့
kills all
အဲ့ဒါစံကင်းက Marine ပဲ
was telling me it's the one
အဲ့
way.
ချန်တော့က support okay သူတို့ကအဲ့မှာ
still don't think
ဘာရင်ထုတ်မှာ safe lane ရင်ထုတ်မှာ
Don't do
pass
it.
it though.
Don't do
It's
it.
just not as
Don't
good.
listen to OD Pixels and Fox suggestions.
ဟာ
of how to
Falcon
counter.
fan တွေကတားပူရယ်
But that aside,
စတန်ရှိသွား
it
ပြီ
is very
Falcon
cool
fan နှစ်
to
ယောက်
see that
Sankin and Enchantress.
pretty much every hero that Falcons played before, right? In 2024, the
ဟဲ့ဒီဘက်ကအမားကြီးနော်ဟဲ့ Bristle ဘက်တွေရော DK တွေရော
Ringmaster of Escape Pack, you jump a person, Dragon Tail, Bushwhack, anything, Ringmaster will combo break that with the Escape Pack. And the heal from the Enchantress, the vision from the Creepling. You're trying to pick
Let's
Falcons
go, Babon, let's go,
against Falcons.
Babon.
They're going to show you the ways to beat it.
It's also just nice to have that percentage damage that comes from his daggers, because he has a lot of talents that buff up his daggers, right? They could really pack a punch in that late game. It scales really nicely against heroes like DK.
မီရူသာကင်မယ်ဆိုတော့ Bristle ဘက်က win rate
How do you deal with the ring
100% win
versus
rate နော်
this?
အဲ့ကောင်
Most
Bristle
likely
ဘက်က
the guy you jump, Crit is going to be there to save the guy. Do you want to like try and get
Hello,
a
di ba ka-
fire? Do you want to have a secondary jump? I was
Off lane?
thinking silencer to global when you go, but they're just
DK
going to
mid
go
la,
with the
safe
Bane for
lane.
now. I think Bane matches up quite well against
Bane,
Ringmaster in the lane, I would
forward.
say. It's not the strongest laner early on.
You're going to have to sacrifice one stun for then the next stun to fill good. Because whoever initiates first, Ringmaster will stop, will combo break,
Okay,
and then the Bane
Falcon
will have to
now,
come with the
so
rip, or the
full
DK
hero
will come in after.
ဒီဦးမြောက်
You can see that BB, they're going to make sure they have
ဆမ်မပဲမအောင်ဆမ်မ hero တွေခံမှန်းတတ်တယ်ဆမ်မ hero တွေအဲ့လိုပြောတာ
Okay.
သူပြောတိုင်းပြစ်တာပဲ
I kind of hope the Bristleback goes for
လီးတယ်
Snowblocker
ကွာ
and goes for fight.
Oh god.
Just mitigate.
Not a fan.
No, I hate green bristle.
Well, Green Bristle's very good in the correct hands, and I
Oh,
think with
some of-
auras,
some-
it
alam-
will
alam.
really hurt Falcons a lot. And you get Goo going around the fight with DK right-clicking.
ဟာ master ကွာအဲ့မှာ I'm at the first year
Again, it takes a...
mask ကိုကြီးရတော့မှာမင်းတို့ကောင်တွေကမင်းတို့ဆောင်ရွက်ကန်ကောင်းတယ်
I just feel like green bristle has been nerfed so
ပြ
much.
ပြစမ်းဟဲ့75%နော်တပွဲပဲရှုံးသေးရ
It feels good. You buy a couple of items and then you fall off so hard. I mean,
ဟုတ်တယ်အကောင်
same
crit ပဲ
here,
ဝလူတိတ်ပခုံးဝင်တိုက်တယ်အကောင်ပဲ
red bristle.
I mean, what I like a lot is the smarts. I think, first of all, these two supports
Lodi
don't
was-
like
yeah,
this hero at
sorry.
all. Also, how
Pia
Mars
tu pia
interacts
wa,
with
li
Bristle.
bako wenda bi.
When you spear him, he's going to face you. So his passive, absolutely gone. You have a lot of damage also going into it. I think Ench
Amma
loves
the fight,
the longer the game goes. People
Mars ko
lock down,
chi ara
instant
ma
up,
ba.
bam, bam, bam. You have some impetus coming through. Pure damage against BB and DK is no joke if this game does scale on.
We have quite a couple of beefy boys on the board at the moment with the 8 heroes that are picked so far. Is there any sight on potentially damage issues coming out from these teams, or are we kind of okay with the balance we have right now? It seems
နေရ X-ray နဲ့တွေ့တာကဟိုဟာနဲ့တွေ့တာ
It's
X-ray
gonna be
နဲ့
back and forth between tankiness. Both sides have
Stand
it.
up.
Both sides could have issues where if you initiate and don't 100 to 0, there's going to be a heal or a turnaround or a way to just brush off the first wave of fight. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a problem for both teams.
မပြန်သေးဘူးလေနေကမှမပြန်သေးဘူးခုနနိုင်ဝါလို့တော့မိတ်ဆက်ပေး
An
ပြီးသွား
issue
ပြီ
that I
ဟို
see
ချီကျူး
is
စကား
if
ပြော
we're
ပြီ
assuming that whoever's getting gripped is getting
မရောက်သေးဘူးသူတို့က lower bracket ကနောက်တစ်ဆင့်တက်သွားပြီ
have in that early mid game is DK blinks in, Headwind provides the follow-up damage.
ရိုက်မှာ
And
ကုံ
if
ကျုံး
that's
ပါ
not
လေ
enough to kill a target, they can easily reset the fight. if Enchantress isn't burst in that duration, she'll just turn on her wisps, right? If it's not the Ringmaster, he will be saving people in that backline. And Bristle, while he does a lot of damage, he does it over time. He's not a bursty hero. So maybe they can look towards securing that burst from their safe laner instead. And then you run around with that DK and the knowledge that whoever you go on with
the problem there is BB, if they want to reset,
Titandra hero တက်သွားပြီဆိုတော့ဒီထဲရှုံးတဲ့အတင်က hero နဲ့တွေ့
the Mars in position
6-6မှာ hero က2ကိုရိုက်တာတက်တော့အဲ့ဒါကိုကြောက်စရာပြီးတော့မိနစ်တွေက33 46ကြောက်စရာ
and it's a very scripted initiation. You know, if DK's missing from the map, if Bane's missing from the map, you know they're probably making the smoke move, they're looking for that fight. If Falcons can shove the waves with the Ench or the Sand King, Amar's probably going to have to be in the right place at the right time.
And for
ဟုတ်တယ် Yaku brother သူတို့ကဟိုနဲ့တွေ့ရလေ hero နဲ့ထိတ်တိုက်တွေ့ရနှစ်သိန်းထဲမှာအဲ့မှာ Yaku ကိုနိုင် hero ကတက်လာအဲ့ကောင်လေးကျွန်တော်အချောင်တက်လာတယ်ပေါ့ Yaku ကိုနိုင်မဟုတ်ဘူးဒီကောင်နဲ့ကျန်းတယ်
then it's kind of solved the pipe as well. There's not that much damage coming out of Falcons either.
True, I do think that the auras will be quite important in this game, like especially the offlaners, because they're mainly the teamfight controllers so far. Sure, Falcons do also have Sand King, like all Marine later.
Okay, mask ကတော့ကနေပြီ Amada Fuck ကတော့ကနေပြီနော်
What do we have here?
ကျုံတော့ဟာနေကြပြပါဆမ်းမ Summer Hero
Void was the final ban and the Nature's Prophet
Oh,
there.
Summer Hero
This is one of the heroes that's been very successful for Falcons and during the road to
Summer
TI,
TI မှာတော့ယုံနေတာ Skidder Summer တွေဟိုကမျက်မှန်လေးနဲ့တွေ့တာ
It is still a very, very strong hero. I would say
အဲ့တော့
it's
Sneaking က Enchantress ကြိုက်တယ် Enchantress Sneaking Enchantress လည်းကြိုက်တယ် Amada Fuck Mask လည်းကြိုက်တယ်
You're gonna want to go through the gate. You're gonna TP somewhere. You have this early collapse play. So BB team
Sneaking,
supports
that's
not really
cool.
the best at turning stuff around. Like Bristleback also.
မဟုတ်ဒါ TI ဝင်ရိတ်ကအားလုံးပေါင်းပစ်ထားတာ
You're
ပါ
gonna
ပြ
kill him
တာ
with a stick and walk away. So
အေးနိုင်တဲ့
this is their recipe.
နိုင်တဲ့ chance က
And
လည်း
also a carry that doesn't
ဟုတ်တယ်
isn't
တင်း
afraid
မောင်း
to
လို့
try
ကိုင်း
to
တဲ့
Skadi,
percent
right? Because of how quickly you farm.
And the chance
Yoda,
card name is
DKB,
Hero
you
Wala.
get a Skadi hitting into a Bristle or a DK with the containment of the Sand King and Mars. That's a really good recipe for fights to go your way.
So what's the answer? What is
Wow,
BB
wow.
team lacking, and what one hero can solve that entire puzzle?
I think they need a hero that can just focus on this backline, take out the Ringmaster, buy an early nullifier, and provide you with more
မ
burst.
ကြည့်လိုက်ရဘူးမနေ့ကဝယ်တယ်မနေ့ကငါတို့ game ဆော့တာ
lacking in burst. They're only getting it from Sharpshooter right now.
And they had no
နေက
reserve.
မှာပွဲအေးအဲ့ဒါကိုတခြားမကြည့်တာ
That's
game
a
ဆော့
life
ကြည့်တယ်
stealer.
I do think it makes sense. Like if you see
Okay,
double
let's
Sand
see
King,
that.
you see some Sand King, you see the Mars, you can
အဲ့
get
တော့
it there.
Skidder
Also,
Nature
it's
Prophet
nicer
ဒီ
for
ဘ
you
က်က
if you have
Crick
two guys
ဟာ
you can
Crick
go with,
က
because
Rim
it's
Master
kind
ဖြစ်
of
တာ
still
Marine
all
Sand King
about
ဟုတ်
the
တယ်
DK, but the cool thing is
Sneaking
you
က
can buy a nullifier
Enchantress
later, you can split your radiance, you're pretty nice. So I would say it's pretty good
ပုံ
and it's
ပုံ
within
စပူ
like his
Enchantress
comfort.
Rim Master စပူ Mask off flame မှာ
GPK
Skidder
don't have
safe
to be the ones
flame
to go in
Nature
first.
Prophet
When
နဲ့
Pure's online,
Sangin
he'll
off
happily
lane.
walk up,
Di ba
try and
ka
tank
Pure
the arena,
safe
try and
flame
tank
ma.
the epicenter,
O
right?
safe
He can
ne
get the rage off,
kata
then everyone else can follow.
kata
The
umi
problem
la.
that BB had
Ai
was
kaung
they
wa
can't
support.
disengage from the fight. Lifestealer easily can with
GP
Infestor
ya
rage.
me la.
So once they get online, Falcons have to be careful that their finite control of the finite
you
team
get
fight,
off
sorry, is
lane.
used on the correct heroes. Because if they waste it on Pure, don't kill him, then BB will just run through the entire
မ
engagement.
ပြောအဲ့ကောင်မလေး
Yeah,
ပြော
I
မ
really
လား
like
စ
this
တဲ့
life stealer and
What's
what it
that the
provides
most
for them
tabu?
in the game. I like that it contributes to the infest
Class
bomb,
any-
and
class
like
any
T
tabu
mentioned,
type.
that ability to kite in and out will be pivotal. The question is
How
he going to have better lanes than yesterday?
there,
Because
yeah,
if they
wow,
come out of their
sorry.
lanes doing well
Not
on the
life
blue
la.
team, I strongly believe in this
Okay,
draft.
go
If their life stealer gets shut down on lane and has late timings, they're going to lose everything on the map.
And what's the laning stage gonna depend on? Where does the if come from?
If Skidder presses TP.
နည်းနည်းပဲထည့်တာ
I
ကျေး
mean,
ထည့်
it's
မှာ
like the way that I see it too, I expect
I think I need to
both
do
teams to have
GF5
pretty good laning
ကျွန်တော်
stages
တို့က
with what's going to be happening. But also, to me, it's a lot about the first move.
Look,
Our
well,
Falcons
look,
going to be
you
the
said,
ones
you know,
that
Chinny
take
may be
over
a
the first move. They
GR
go to the Leicester lane, they shut him down, maybe take his tower, or Pure. You with the Gore Storm, do you go through the gate? Do you make the first move? How do you react to the first move? Because BB team, I think they would prefer to be the aggressors themselves. You have the mid tower. Maybe you can invade the triangle. So Falcons try to shut them down from this first move, make it unsuccessful for them.
There's also the Nature's Prophet. When you're playing against Nature's Prophet, this year there's +1 in each lane that can join at any time. And you have to be ready to react to when
အဲ့ဒါ
they
ဖြစ်တော့မ
come
ဟုတ်
from
အင်
the front end.
တာဗျူးဖြစ်ရ
So
အောင်
this
မင်းတို့ဘာလို့ဒီ
first
ဆောက်
round
ချိုး
is
ချိုးရ
made
လဲ
up of
ဒီ
all
ဟီ
the
ရို
time
ငါ
when
ကောင်ဘာ
BB
ဆောက်
team
ထား
are
နေ
ready
ပိတ်
for
တာ
the
လဲ
game.
မေးတော့မှဒီကောင်နေ
Okay, well it is time. Time to get our
အေး
first
လေ
game
ကျွန်တော်
of
ခု
the
နေ့ကအဲ့
final
ကြောင့် lobby မှာအဲ့လို
best
မေး
three
မလို့
on
ကျွန်
the
တော်
way.
က
Before we jump into the game though, we're gonna check in with the coach on
ကိုဖီ
stage.
ကဘယ်လောက်ရှိ
Justin
လဲ
Ock.
ဒီကိုနိုင်မှုအဲ
Thank you very much. I am joined by
ဟီရိုကြည့်ပြီးတော့အဲ့တော့ငါတို့ဘယ်လိုဘန်းရမလဲပြောခဲ့တော့ငါတို့ဘယ်လိုဘန်းရမလဲပြောခဲ့တော့
You were down to the last second there. Lifestealer was picked. All the reserve time was used. What was the discussion for that last pick?
При пике лайфстиллеров... При пике лайфстиллера вы тянули до последней секунды. Соответственно, очень интересно, что именно вы обсуждали перед этим пиком.
Мы не то чтобы слишком долго думали над этим героем, просто больше обсуждали, что мы будем делать по игре, потому что просто сэкономили время.
We were actually using this time to discuss our game plan.
Okay. Time as well. How about the very beginning of the strategy? You guys pick a lot of motivators. I was wondering, why does Save like this hero so much?
Вернемся к началу драфта. На ваш первый пик залетел Худвинг. Вы ее, очевидно, очень любите. Что именно Сейв в ней находит?
Это просто один из его любимых героев. Это очень хорошо подходит под наш плейстайл.
It's just one of his most favorite heroes. Really fitting for their playstyle, so that's why they go for it.
Well, I hear the horn off in the distance. Barclays Arena, you ready for the last series of the night?
Okay, နောက်ဆုံး series ဗျာဟုတ်ပါတယ်ခင်ဗျာ
Then let's
ကဲ
get
တော့
into
ကတော့
it. Game number
တစ်ဖက်
1.
ကိုနှလုံးပဲကောက်ထားသေးတယ်ခင်ဗျာ first blood စပေးရပြီ Falcon ရပြီ first blood ဒါပဲဘိန်းတွေတော့
Not only are we going to have some action immediately, we also have some action in the server one form of some all chat. Avery, of course, with some
တစ်တာဟေးအောင်ကြီး Marine
there's going to be some trash talk going on between these two.
Man, I wish I could put
စ
all
တင်နေပြီမင်းစောက်ထားမထားဘူးတော့တရားကြီးကငါတော့မသိဘူး
series. I would have made bank every day, every night. This could be a really interesting series. These guys know each other really well. They have played against each other throughout the year, and they have gone exactly even 5-5 in those series. They have some peculiar similarities in their play style and the structure of the team. I'm mainly looking at that carry role. Two carry players that like to get aggressive, like to make early rotations, and enjoying the fights. And I'm looking at the four positions. When you talk about some of the greatest fours who have ever played this game, sure, there's names like GG, there's
Marine
Jack.
offline
But
Marine
for me,
safe
I can't imagine a world where Crit doesn't one day become a TI winner. This guy has had one of the most legendary four position careers of all time. And on the flip side, I think Save has quickly made an argument that he belongs in that echelon. He gets another 4 or 5 years into this career. He gets a couple more championships under his belt. People will look back at this guy as one of the greatest fours to ever play the game.
Particularly since he's a offensive front, right? He's both amazing inside the game as a player, but also as a captain, right? The fact that he is willing to take on that mantle of leadership for any team, I think, is always something to add to your resume. And Pure certainly has that. Crit, of course, one of the most elder players in the game. He certainly is going to be bringing a wealth of experience to this matchup. And you talk time and time again how important experience is on the main stage of TI.
You need those core players to hold you together, to keep emotions in check, especially if your games go, you know, an average of 55, 60 minutes here, like Falcons have a tendency to do. The other really interesting thing about this draft is I think this is the first draft Falcons encountered. I was watching the booth. It's a lot of their heroes on the other side. This PBT lineup could be a Falcons draft. We have 2 Falcons drafts here. You're getting mirrored, at least strategically, hero-wise. That can be problematic sometimes. Katarina trying to fight it out. That's going to be a strength tonic going into Crit. A really nice pickup here with the Cardi Classics. And let's see what he can do with this Ringmaster. Not a hero we've seen a lot at this TI. Got debuted at the last one, but a super powerful team fighter. You can get those saves going into the late game.
Oh, nice pickup. Beautiful bushwhack on 2. Snake King will take a bit of damage here as his whiz coming up in a second, so should be able to undo a bit of the damage done, but you can see the potential is there. You've got this really nice physical damage minus armor duo between the Bristleback and the Hoodwink, and they can actually get through and maybe burst down this Enchantress even after level 6.
Not the old, you know, light orb tree bounce Hoodwink.
That's true. That was disgusting.
Even more disgusting. But if they can put the pressure on this Fury and Enchantress lane, it's going to count for a lot around the map. You're trying to whittle through the resources, keep them low. That'll do 2 things. Stop the Enchantress making early rotations, potentially into this lane, which is going to be another very tough lane for BBT to get through, and stop those Furion teleports from ruining Pure's game. We saw what Enigma Galaxy did to him yesterday. That was brutal. He just got decimated in that laning phase, and a big component of that was the Furion rotations. Falcons could be looking to do something similar here. So the more pressure that gets put on this Falcon safe lane, the more time you buy for your other lanes to come online. And keep in mind, this is no regular Enchantress.
Yeah.
This is a Snake King Enchantress, the man who had the 27 win streak on this hero.
Well, I just want to point out, Avery, the last time we tried to highlight a certain player's proficiency with a hero, we did point to Ghost in his Morphling, and that one didn't go so well. So we might want to be careful with praising the players here.
I think that's a Morphling issue. I'm not going to put that on us. Look, I'll praise Snake King's Enchantress. I know the man, you know, if he says I cursed him after the game, he'll take it up with me personally. I'll vouch for it.
We did have the Hoodwink sneak over, take away the water rune, but Malrine seems to be doing pretty fine without it. Without the refill in the bottle, really only suffering on mana. Laning phase does seem to be doing all right. You're having to use a rage here, and if that Furion teleport had come in earlier, they might have been able to get the kill there. On to Pure. Crit will survive, has to use the Lotus just in case Katomi rolls a little high. Good God's Rebuke for a double range CS and a bit of damage on a Pure. They are keeping this lifesteal low within the kill threshold if they can ever catch a spear on.
Amar is just such a scary laner. He gets these early stat items up. He just straight out CSs you 28 and 5 on this Mars. It's not a lane you can really stop him. And after he gets the early regen up, you can put some harass into him, but Ringmaster is still a really strong laner. It's a great laner against Bane. One of the heroes that can outrange him, put the daggers in. That strongman tonic is sitting in Crit's backpack right now. That's going to make some aggression a lot more difficult. Of course, you always have rotations that can come in here. So if you're BB team, it's really scary to get aggressive on this lane. You're just trying to secure as much farm the lifesteal as possible and get the hell out of there.
31-6, top of the board. Still though, both the Dragonite and the Bristleback are not faring too poorly. So it seems like pretty much all the cores are doing all right. The only one who's a little bit farther behind is Skeeter's Nature's Prophet, and that is both due to the off lane of BB team and the fact that he's going to be teleporting around the map. We already had him be a part of one kill, right? So,
I mean, 14 denies on this Bristle. Significant work being done down here from Miro. This dual offlane for BB team putting in the work right now in this laning phase. And you're looking towards that 6-minute power rune. Could be a rune that Skeeter wants to TP to if the fight breaks out, especially if you can secure the kill on GPK. He has Dragon Form available. Biggest pressure point on the map right now.
Yeah, the supports are coming over like this. Katomi, nice spacing there. Malrine spaced it so he can Burrow Strike in to take the rune. Unfortunately for him, it doesn't spawn, but Katomi still gets hit by the stun, unable to get off a good Nightmare. And now with Skeeter running in,
it's a little
one grenade, and perhaps, okay, Malrine's going to cut him off at the pass here and bring him down.
More gold from Malrine, having a tremendous start. Stats will be waiting for him as well. I mean, this is Falcon's Dota. They will always get that triangle stacked up for these AoE clear mid heroes. But overall, very even lane phase. I mean, hey, this has got to be Pure's best start on the main stage. This is looking way better than yesterday, so he's got to be feeling a little more comfortable given the position.
You want to know something? After yesterday's win, in a post-game interview, he said he actually apologized. He said, you know, I'm sorry you had to see that. And he thanked his team, and he said, next game, I'll carry them. He wants to return the favor for his team, who managed to pull through in that clutch series yesterday. They dragged him across the finishing line after he had an incredibly rough first 20 minutes.
A lot of that was the GPK puck, which earned the first phase ban here. Falcons do not want to mess around with that. He should have a better series here. This is a guy who has stepped up before and absolutely can do it again.
We've got a little stat clearing. This is, I mean, every TI stacking is part of the meta, but it feels like particularly important for Falcons who have been playing the Sand King and the Earthshaker so much. What's the game plan? Because right now it doesn't seem like BB team are trying to contest at all. They've just let Malrine have all this.
The trade-off could have been the DK pushing your mid tower, right? DK is a hero that can punish
that.
Didn't feel comfortable pulling supports off the sidelines to make that kind of play. Maybe GPK doesn't want to go up there and Sand King off the map. Doesn't want to risk a bad death in this early game, but at the same time, you're not using this Dragon Form to put some early pressure on Falcons, so Malrine is getting away with the exact type of game plan he wants right now. And we saw when he was all chatting yesterday. You got to ban the Sand King against me. I'm going to win every game. If you all chat it again, at what point do you take this hero away from him? At what point do you start to say, there's too many heroes to ban against this team in general?
What's with the Pure? Okay, yeah, switched it over. which is what I would expect. He's going to use an early infest here.
See, there's your
somehow, I guess taking one creep. Bit by bit. Quick burst here on Kataomi, as Falcons were very well set up for that one. Had all the information in the world and communicated it. Nice rotations from everyone involved.
Carries are having to slow his game, but Skeeter's going to recover a lot faster here, and Wrath of Nature contributing to the map. Gonna feel nice. Now you can start to look for these Enchantress rotations, either into the mid or the top lane. Start to put pressure on BB team in terms of having a numbers advantage. You leave heroes alone on the lane, they're going to be very susceptible.
Have you seen that one before? The Helmet Dom into being used to break the bristleback early? That's funny. It's gotta be a trade-off here. They have to get the kill on Skeeter. He's already cut away from that bushwhack. Awkward little play there. BB team, did they cut down the wrong tree?
I don't
No catch here from BB team. The best they can get out of this is the tower. Which thanks to GPK, they should be able to do so, but it's still a trade-off.
I don't know, Maureen, he has other plans.
He spotted immediately, and he's going to get that Sandstorm in front of the wave here. GPK, do you really want to commit to this? They do get the dust pulling the Sand Kings. Just once the tower. Maybe go for the Ringmaster, trying so hard to get this tower. Just going to be denied. BB team, they're getting nothing out of this. No kills, no tower.
And they lost Pure in that trade-off top, whereas ATF, I was about to say, he's not going to miss the last hit, but he missed the last hit. I couldn't even curse. Blink Dagger done for Maureen though, benefit of all those stacks. Now you're going to run this almost level 10 Sand King straight into that mid lane. Somebody shows you're there, it's gone, and you're looking at another quick tower push. This is the downside of failing some of those early Dragon Form moves. If you don't get the pressure onto Falcons early, they're going to have the freedom to make moves onto you, and your lineup is not as good as it is.
俾就ပြောင်းလဲဖြစ်တာဘက်ကရတိုင်းမဟုတ်ကဲစပြီ reaction ဘိန်းတွေ okay ရတယ်ဘိန်းတွေတောက်ပေးရတယ်ဆက်ပြပေါ်လဲမှာလိုက်စီတာနှစ်ယောက်ညက်နေမားစင်အဲ့ဟိုပြ
Pure gets off the range.
ညက်နေတာခရီးနဲ့ရီနာကောင်းနေဗျာအဲ့ဒါကိုကြိုက်တာဟာ
He has to choose for the range creep, but that's pretty easy. Falcons can shoot through that one, and that's Sprout to finish him off. And now the difference of the carries is beginning to show. We can see this Nature's Prophet, even though it was in a losing lane, is still able to be active around the map.
Really nice move from Skeeter. Beautiful arena to cut him off from that siege creep. You take down the carry, you take the mid-tier one at the same time. You're splitting resources, not getting punished for it. This is amazing for Falcons right now. You have to respond in some capacity. They're trying to do stacks of their own, but the experience is getting leached here.
Yeah, this is also just going to be way less efficient, not to mention Snake King. He's getting more, he's blocking out the camp. He will die for it, though. So there's a little extra bit of efficiency for GPK, who's clearing out his stack, gets to get a little assist in experience.
You had to punish something here, right? It's just getting too much. And once more, it's going to be another BB team game where all eyes on GPK and Save. Save the playmaker, but GPK the anchor in this early game. He has the early blink. He can do some work in these fights. Nice setup for the Hoodwink ult to come through and some decent break targets. Like you can throw the break into this Enchantress and Mars later on. You will have a substantial kill threat on them.
I just do not feel like GPK is set up to have the same kind of impact on this Dragonite as his puck was set up. He's fighting into heroes that are just a lot tankier, and Dragonite just doesn't provide the same amount of damage.
It's going to be tough to go into all the AoE control. You jump on the Sand King or Mars, if they get boxed, if they get saved, there's some Enchantress heals, and then that second turnaround comes. There's very little to bail you out. There's going to be an infest later on, and there's even some early sleep save potential, but you're kind of on your own in these early fights. I agree. It's concerning. It's maybe a reason we didn't see him push this mid tower as aggressive. He's worried about some of these TPs coming in. You just get locked in the AoE control. You're going to get bursted down.
Skeeter is still not the most farmed. In fact, every minute that goes by that he's not getting a kill, Pure is beginning to close that gap. Still doesn't have his Maelstrom, and frankly is rather low level too.
You would love for a fight to break out as long as he's not the first one in. It's just not Falcon's MO, right? They want to get all the item timings online together, then make the cohesive move. They're not just going to start random engagements without a good reason for it. They also like making these moves around objectives. You're looking at the Roshan, you're looking at the Torment, they're stealing stacks. Something of this nature is what's going to prompt that smoke trajectory. If Snaking doesn't see it, he's not going to force the issue.
They may be a bit of a slower team, but they are still a double Blink Dagger lineup.
And Wisdom Shrine spawning soon. This is what's prompting them to go to this part of the map. Even if they don't find anything, they're going to get an objective. And they will find something because you have to defend this experience game right now. But it's a market already as the smoke breaks. They will miss their wisdom.
Adi တယောက်မှမထီဘူးကြောပေးပြီးပြင်းနေဒါပေမဲ့မီယိုကပြတ်သွားသေးတယ်ကောင်းလိုက်တယ်ဘေးကိုအေးပြီးခေါ်လိုက်တယ်အာအန်ဆန်ထရက်ပြန်ပြီးကိုက်ထားသေးတယ်နေချဘက်ကတေဖို့တော့များတယ်ရင်းမဆာစိတ်ထားသေးတယ်အပီစန်နာဟာဒီကေတေဗီဒီကေပြန်တေသွားပြီတကောင်မှပြန်မတေပဲနဲ့ဘဘောနှစ်ကောင်ပြန်ကြသွားပြီးတော့ထက်လိုက်နေသေးတယ်ဓာတ်ကဘောရစ်ရိုက်ကလာပြောင်းလိုက်တယ်ပဲတေဗီကနေသေးတယ်အေးဘေးအာလုံးမတေကန်ဒီကိုကနေဘောကအဲ့မှာ၄ကောင်ပြန်နောက်ဆုံးတကောင်ပဲကျန်တာစိတ်နည်းနည်းမဲစိတ်ဒါပေမဲ့ဘောကတော့စိတ်မဖြစ်တော့ဘူးသွားပြီသွားပြီသွားပြီပြင်းလိုက်တာအဲ့ဒါရမဖြစ်ချင်းဖြစ်ချင်းငါတို့ပေးလိုက်ရမှာပေးလိုက်အဲ့တောင်ကလည်းပေးလိုက်မဖြစ်ချင်းဖြစ်ချင်းလုပ်လိုက်တော့ငါကောင်လို့တရားစီထွက်နေရှော့တူကေကွက်တူကေကွက်မသိပါဘူးကွာငါလုံးမှာနေချဘက်ကတိလိုက်လို့ရတယ်စိတ်လိုက်တာမင်းမဆောင်းကောင်းကွာခရစ်ဆောက်ရမ်းကောင်းတယ်အဲ့လိုကောင်းတယ်အာတီယိုပြည့်တယ်တူလေးနဲ့ပဲစိတ်လိုက်
He blinked into everybody. He was super confident they were going to win that. And it was very close. But the early laning victory for Falcons pays off in a huge brawl. They get that 5-0 victory. That's massive for them.
I kind of thought they had it when they were trading out the nightmares. They managed to get this Fiend's grip, but what's good?
I mean, this is the kind of fight you want. The Bristle can survive.
He bails him out. Maybe I'll replace a lot of damage here at this point. You're a bit scared of it. But now you're playing whatsoever. They moved to the other side. And they're going to go for more. They're going to chase down GBK. It's a long road back to the tier 2, but a short one back to the Falcon.
I mean, I was about to ask, what does GBK want to go after this blink to keep the early control going? It's been delayed. Whatever he was planning, it looks like it's just going to be BKB. I mean, he was on pace to be the most far in this game. He's now behind the entirety of Falcons. Going to have to look to Pure to get this Radiance online and bring some of that team fight back.
Okay, ကလာပြောင်းပြီးတော့ arena ထဲထွက်သွားပြီရှက်ပြေတော့ကလာလေးကဆက်လိုက်နေတယ်ဆိုပေမဲ့ infect လေးနဲ့ပါထွက်သွားပြီဆိုတော့မှတော့ရတော့ပါဟာဒီမှာဘေးကကိုက်ပြီးအန်ချန်တော့တေးအောင်တက်2ယောက်တယောက်တော့တေးအောင်တက်နော်2ယောက်တယောက်တော့တေးအောင်တက်နော်လို့ငါအကြောင်းပြောနော်ပါပြီစပယ်တေးသေးခါလိုက်မထိပါဘူးအော်မထိပါဘူးပြောတယ်အဲ့တော့2ယောက်တယောက်ကိုက်တာ level 6ကြီးပါပေးတာဘိန်းကအဲ့ဒါကိုအန်ချန်မပြည့်ဘူးစနေကင်းပါစီနေစားဟာဘောရဆိုင်မင်းပြန်ဖြစ်သွားပြီမုံဆိုးကတားကောင်ပြန်ဖြစ်သွားပြီဝင်းမာစတာအာဒီပါချတာပဲဒီဘက်ကပြန်ပြေးမရတော့ဘူးမကြည့်ကြည့်ပြီးသွားခါရဲလက်ပြပါစက်ကရစီစီဟုတ်တယ်တားဘူးပြောတာရောပါမှာကဲမင်းတို့နောက်ဘက်ဆရာကြီးတားဘူးတစ်ပေးမယ်ကြောက်9000ပဲထဲတယ်
I mean, Crit is just having such a tremendous game after that. He has a full vessel already done. So much damage into these cores that don't have
first
really
page ပြတာအဲ့ဆိုင်ကြီးကမင်းမထောင်ပြီးကိုလိုက်ကြုံတာ
great against the Dragon Knight, great against the Bristle. You can go into a fast Aether Lens here, and then you're just cruising in this game.
အဲ့တော့ Amatha ကတော့သူ Lotus တက်သွားတယ်နော်ဟိုကဘိန်းကြိုက်တာတွေရော
Early Lotus for Amar.
Seen
him do this a couple times.
ကောင်းတယ်အဲ့တော့ရွှေသားတော့ပြီးသွားလိုက်စီတာအောင်
Nice dispel
သူ
game
က
right
တော့
against the Bane here.
1100တော့ကောင်းဆိုင်ကြီးနဲ့
And the armor never hurts when you're matched up against a lot of physical damage. I mean, all three cores are 90% physical damage here. Pure finally does have his radiance, but I just feel like it's not going to mean that much. Like, the team fights, if Falcons are winning the fights, which they mostly are, right? It happens fast, right? It's a lot of burst damage. Like, what are the chances that this Radiance actually gets to do a decent amount of damage over time? Or that the miss percentage chance actually has an impact when Falcons are largely just throwing magic damage at?
It's a scaling item. It's a farming item, right? He doesn't have to get max value out of it right now. It'll be good across the entirety of the game, especially if he gets really beefy later. You can go for infest plays though. That is something this lineup always has available. You can infest the DK and look for a quick pick off or jump into some sort of objective or vision control.
Yeah, that's why typically I would really like the heroes that BB team have against Falcons because they do have that tendency to slow down, where the Fiend's Grip might be able to do
Remaster against
the right time will save Amar's life.
Crit just reading this play perfectly.
Light it.
Katomi trying to kill him instead. Oh, look at Amar. What a nice
shot.
Those a bit on the network chart. He will wake him up so Skeeter can take the last hit.
Amar the friendly strikes again. Honestly, at first I thought he misclicked that. I watched this kid for a couple seasons now. Did he lag out?
Maybe he's just evolving, growing as a person and a player.
I know. That's why
he's got a Lotus Orb.
I bet him
so he can protect his allies.
We'll see who he ends up throwing out here. I'm not gonna. He's going Lotus into the Lincolns. We saw him do this build earlier in the road to the International. Very obnoxious build to get through when you are relying on your single target spells to give you control in the fight. Super against the Bane here. Nice against the DK stun, right? And if you rule those spells out, what is left in the tank for BB team in terms of control? Bushwhack.
Smoke it.
Not much. And he's showing in the kill score 16-2. With Falcon even the BKB timing for GPK doesn't feel like it's going to be enough. It feels like BB team are just going to have to weather the storm until they get a second or third item on some of these cores. And that second or third item is going to be slowed down as Falcons keep on hitting with the smokes. They have not missed on one of these smokes yet.
Playing with more map control, slightly better vision. Furion and Enchantress pushing the waves in. Like the Pure's getting aggressive, like you gotta just take something off the map, right? You can't keep losing heroes, gaining nothing in return. You're pushing towards the second BKB on that bristleback, delayed off that smoke, and now Tormentor's gonna boost this net worth lead up even further.
It's just sad.
Hero game မပေးတော့တည်းဆိုမဲ့လည်းခုစိတ်လေးရတော့ရောင်းမှမျက်စိထွက်ပြီးတော့ Hero game ပေးဖို့ကြိုးစားနေတယ် TV ထောက်နေဆိုတော့အော်အမတာဖက်
Yeah, their spotlight freshly delivered off that Tormentor. This isn't the craziest shard in the game, but this chance against this lineup, it's a freebie, right?
မိနစ်မှာလည်း experience ကိုလာကောက်အောင်အမတာဖက်လူကောင်းအောင်မပြအောင်အဲ့မှာသူ့မှာ arena ရှိအောင်မှာဟာပြဿနာ
Trying to hide away in the trees and they're going to play for another wisdom shrine. They took the last one. And BB team, they learned their lesson. They will give this one up without a fight.
arena ကြီးနဲ့ဖင်ထက်ချလို့ hero ကြီးနှစ်ကောင်လောက်ပေးနေ
out of control. I mean, we're already at an 11
ကဲ
level
တော့
difference.
လင်းရတော့လည်းပြီးတယ်ပွဲရတော့လည်းမိတယ်အဲ့တော့စက်ကုန်လို့ပဲနိုင်မယ်ဒီ game 1ဖြစ်နိုင်ပြီကတော့
It's nasty work out here. Malrine.
တပေါ်နိုင်ဖို့ chance ကအရင်
He's got his Aghanim Scepter. He's closing in on level 18 and soon to be a BKB. So the Sand King is peaking here pretty soon. Obviously, he continues to get stronger, but I feel like Aghanims plus level 18 Epicenter is one of the strongest points for this Sand King.
Oh, Falcons are not afraid to play right now. Again, they just want to sync it up around progressing the game through the Roshans, through the towers when they hit these timings. And once more snaking, he is just pushing these lanes aggressively. He knows he can't die. Knows even if they try and kill him, it's going to take everybody.
ခရက်ကလည်းဘင်းကိုကောင်းတာတယ်ဒီပွဲတော့ဘင်းကတော့ထုတ်မစီးနေတော့ဒီမှာလေးရှုပ်သိမ်းအမလုံးလို့မရတော့
Big problem for their cores in the late game.
ဘင်းမရှိတော့ဘူးဘင်းမရှိတော့
Just throw out the impetus.
ပြောင်းနေမြည်ချက်ပဲယူလိုက်တော့
Pretty effective against the bristle of the Dragon Knight here.
I mean, this is disgusting. Snaking's just by himself pushing out a lane. Not just defending it around the tower, but exploring this whole jungle area, getting information. BB team are just on the edges of the map.
Mara looking for the setup on Pure.
Pure immediately going to rage and then TP away. Spooked by the Sprout that was coming in. The teleport from the Nature Prophet. They're snaking.
GB unit က only ပြစ်ထားတဲ့သေတော့မယ်မအေးဘေး Oh my god
BKB teleport out, that's your first use. the Black King bar, but BB team have no other choice. They're too far behind right now.
Yeah, I just mode it. I SK idea. SK idea. Wow.
This might catch Falcons unaware.
You do not want to catch.
Oh, that is pure. Lại sẽ quên 3 ယောက်အဲချမ်းကိုပဲတတ်မှာမင်းတို့မရရကောင်ပဲတတ်မှာဟာရလွဲသွားပြီဟာဆိုလာခရတူကိုတီဗီထောက်သွားပြီအိုးပြတ်သွားသေးတယ်ကွာ
Ladies and gentlemen, we got her. It's
we
all
got
good.
him. We got him. Don't got shit. Then I send it to me. Mama, the car. Who did not try to get a car?
I mean, honestly, he's level 13.
I'm at the back of the door.
Just to relieve some of the map pressure.
Linking me, toilet. I only died. Root as linking. Oh, that only soon. I want to am a beautiful.
Something you stop playing Dota, you start playing Hunt Bambi in the woods.
Only this one.
Creates a lot of space, a lot of farm for the Falcons. Love their tri-core scaling.
Yeah, the supports too. The supports have luxury items queued up.
BB are still
thinking about like, oh, well, what am I getting? I'll get a Blink Dagger, an Ag, an Interceptor. Like, who's thinking about Ag and Interceptor on this Ringmaster? Miro.
I'm a Lavi. Mass. Arena.
Ah,
BKB.
Claim a tower. The punish is there from
Bye. I'm a BBC. Huh? 3 lane ပြေးသွားပြီသွားပြီထပ်ပြေးသွားပြီဟဲ့ဟုတ်တယ်နော်သူကနေသူက down စီတယ်ဘက်ဘုံကလေဂိမ်းပြန်ပြနေမိနစ်က24မိနစ်ကိုပြန်ရောက်လာပြီတော့ 8k ပဲရှိရောဘယ်လိုကြည့်မလဲလိုက်စီတာမလုပ်တာလေပြီးတော့လေ
I guess it's getting you some farm. You are stalling this game out. No BKB Falcons is really causing them some issues. I'm sure they're thinking about some way to get an early abyssal or something. I mean, this is one way to get the lanes out when you're not using helmet.
How does BB team keep ending up in this position? Because this was a squad that was known for their laning prowess. This is a squad that was known for getting the advantage in the first 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and then maybe somewhere in the mid game they would sometimes fall apart. They're just getting run over in the first 25 once again. Falcons will find their mark with their movements around the map. They're just catching BB team every single time they smoke.
Oh, they're getting everything they want off these. Yeah, you're finding some rat action on the side lanes. Your BKB TPing out, but you're also wearing down your durations going into this late game, whereas Falcons have not committed BKBs yet. If they want to go for it, with that. We've yet to see Roche go down. It's another big piece of pushing high ground in this patch. Falcons yet to claim it if they want it.
အပေါ်မှာတီးပြီးပြောမလို့ပဲရှိသေးတယ်ပြူပါဘာလုံးမလဲ in fact ဟာဟဲ့နောက်ကိုဆုတ်သွားသေးမလီတော်သေးတယ်အဲ့မှာပြန်ပြီးစံကြီးပြန်ပြီးသွားပြီဆိုမြဲအော်ရောမရင်းပြန်ပြီးမရတော့ boss strike အော်မလွတ်တော့မရင်းတက်တာဟဲ့အောင်ရေးဘယ်လောက်ရတော့1300လောက်ရတယ်ငါလုံးမ400လောက်ရသွားပြီ GPK လို့အဲ့ဒါ
550 for the team.
I mean, this game may not have been pretty for BB.
အမှန်တဖက်လာပြီမင်းတို့ရဲ့ရှုံးကျွေးပြန်ဆက်ဖို့အဲ့ကောင်စီကငါပတ်စံပြန်ယူမယ်ငါစီပတ်စံပြန်ပေးဟာကောင်းလိုက်တဲ့ခေါင်းခေါင်းလိုက်တယ်ကောင်းလိုက်တဲ့ DK
Not so certain if he wants to keep going.
Arena ကြီးမှာထားပြီးထပ်ပြီးကိုကြိုးစားတယ် DK step ပြန်လိုက်နေပြီပြူကလိုက်ခုံမယ်ဆိုရင်တော့တေလောက်တယ်တော့ရောစနေကင်း Solar Crack TP လွတ်သွားမှာချုပ်ထဲထပ်ပြီးတော့ပြထားခဲ့လိုက်တော့အဲ့ကောင်ကိစ္စထားခဲ့ Solar Crack ဒီမှာတင်ပြီးတော့လည်းမရတော့ဒီကောင်ချင်းတော့ဆုံး
incredibly sick stun from GPK
အဲ့ဒါကိုပြောတာဘက်ဘုံမှာပလန်ရှိတယ်ကိုကိုကိုင်းအဲ့ဒါပြောလို့ဟာလဲပြောလို့မရဆိုလဲတော့ကျိုးတော့မယ်စနေကင်းအကောင်နဲ့ပြစ်နေတာစနေကင်းစကလီတန်ထုတ်ပြီးပြစ်နေတာစနေကင်း
everything here maybe into Roshan
တော့အဲ့မစ်တာကကျိုးလောက်ပဲစကလီတန်ခုတ်မစ်ကိုပြရူရှန်ရတော့ဘာကြတော့ကွာငါဒီကစားတာကြီးပြကြိုက်တယ်
They are
one bad game and you turn
around
from that infest on these tanky boys. They make the call to go back in. That's playing to win, right? You could just run away like your wounds and say we got out, we survived. But they picked their point, they picked it well. They have a chance to anybody near the pit here.
GPK ဘာမှန်းမရှိ Majestic 2 charges နဲ့ဒါပေမဲ့ Chris ဆိုတဲ့အနေထားမှာတော့ line နေ Chris ပြေတော့ပြေနေမဲ့ Chris သူကို miss တော့အတူတူပါပုံပြီးတော့ဘိုင်းတိုင်းလုံးနေဆိုမဲ့တေတော့မှာပါဟုတ်ပါ Russian ကတော့လိုက်ဆရာရပြီဒီ high ground တက်လို့ရပြီ Chris ကတော့ထွက်ဖို့45 second ဘိုင်းဘက်ရှိတယ်အလဲမတောင်းမရလိုက်ဘူးခုန
Oh, Falcons, what have you done? It seems you are doomed to enter 60-minute games no matter what you do. This one might go the distance as well. And now you have a BKB on this Lifestealer. The debuff immunity that has been causing Falcons problems is about to get a lot worse. This Lifestealer pick is good for that reason. Now he has an insane duration to play with. I just don't think you can really itemize against it. You were itemizing a little defensively against some of the single target bursts with this ATF build. Mallory's just going for pure damage, but this damage is going to do a lot to all this debuff immunity and the tankiness of these heroes plus the infest.
Sure, they got to play, they got to be prepared to play longer fights where you make the jump, rage goes off, and then reset, and that's why he's going for refresher.
Skeeter has his work cut out of him. Trying to man fight this lineup with a Furion is going to be really tough. It's just not a hero that's going to, again, buy items like that Abyssal and put it to work, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're supposed to be operating off a net worth advantage. You still are, but there's another 4 minutes left. Doesn't go down quite as quick as he used to. Still find the kill with the trio. Aggressive either, still pushing towers. Those are illusions. Snaking will help it out. And looking at Miro in the mid lane.
BKB လောက်လိုက်မင်းလုံးနေကြပါရှက်မနေပါနဲ့ BKB ပါပဲထုံးတယ်လားစပယ်တောင်းနေသေးတယ်မပေးသေးဘူးအာမတစ်ဖက်ကိုပြန်ဖမ်းတာ level 6 3လို့ရသေးတယ်ထိသွားပြီ DK step lotus ဘာမှလုံးလို့ပြ BKB ကြီးက lotus နဲ့ဘာမှလုံးဖြစ်တော့ဆိုအာမတစ်ဖက်တေးဖို့တော့များသွားပြီ ring master RD DK ပြန်ဘတ်ထိုင်းနေအာမတစ်ဖက်တစ်ကောင်တော့မသေးသေးပဲပြန်ဘတ်နေ viewer like ခုံနေ spare တေးသွားပြီ spare ဘတ်ပြီးတော့ level 6ရှိသေးတယ်ပြန်ခုံနေတော့တယောက်တော့ viewer တေးဖို့တော့များသွားပြီဒီဘက်ကစံကင်းအပီဆန်တော့မီရိုကထပ်တက်နေတဲ့မီရိုတင်တော့လိုရှန်ထားတဲ့ viewer တော့ထပ်တေးမှာ GPK ဘတ်သွားတော့ GPK infect ဝင်ဖို့စောင့်နေ GPK infect ပြန်ဖို့စောင့်နေ Boros right တယောက်မှတော့မထီဘူးဆိုမဲ့ legend ဝါတဲ့ marine ကိုတော့ပြေးပြီးတော့ကိုက်ထားတဲ့ bane ပြန်ပြီးတော့စစ်ကိုတော့ cancel ထားပြီးတယ်infect နဲ့ပြန်ပြီးတော့ဘတ်သွားစင်နေတာပါတော့ဘတ်ရဆိုင်လို့မကောင်းလို့ဆိုတော့နောက်ကနေပြန်ပုတ်ဝင်တော့ marine ပြန်သေးသွားတယ်ကွာဘာလို့ကဒီဘက်ကနေကီယိုတာကာမဟုတ်ပါဘူးကာတာဦးမီခရစ်ကိုထိန်းတာခရစ်သေးသွားပြီဘတ်တယ်ကဘတ်တယ်လို့နဲ့ဖိမ့်ဘတ်တွေနဲ့နှစ်ခါပြန်ဆိုင်သွားဒီဘက်တော့တစ်ခါပြန်ဆိုင်တယ်ပြီးတော့ DK နဲ့တစ်ခါပြန်ဝင်တယ်
to not get Lotus done there counts for everything. You're able to kite this fight in and out. He has been a great infest target. The tankiness of this lineup is showing. I think Falcons are punching a mirror right now. Like they are playing up against the lineup that they would normally play. And BBT is abusing the strength of it. Quite literally, the Falcons don't really know what to do. They're like, wait a minute, we're supposed to we're supposed to be able to take the longer fight. They're getting worn through right now.
I love the fact that I think it was Robson who said, you know, like you pick this sort of lineup, which is normally a Falcons lineup, and well, they can show you how to beat it. Or maybe in this case, they're going to show that it's just unbeatable. Maybe you should just be playing 3 strength cores every game.
It absolutely happens. You could feel like you have a grasp on the meta.
Hey, probability ကြည့်လိုက် 49-51 မင်းတို့ဘာပြောချင်လဲ
ညီသွားပြီ They do it a little better. And you don't know what to do. It can be incredibly frustrating. We've seen it at TI before.
အဲ့ပြောရင်းနဲ့ရှော့ကျင်နေပြီပြောရင်းနဲ့ရှော့ကျင်နေပြီ
65-35 sort of matchup.
ရှော့ကျင်နေပြီနော်
dead even.
And Falcons afraid to try and jump this Lifestealer on the lane. Not an easy jump, but they're gonna have to smoke up and make something happen. Lincoln's freshly done.
အခုဆိုရင် item ဘေးတွေပြန်ကြည့်မယ် snake ကတော့အားလီသွားသလိုမဟုတ်တော့ full set တွေပါပြန်သွားပြနေသူကြောက်နေ GP စမုတ်ကဘက်ကလည်းစမုတ်ကမယ်စမုတ်ကမယ်တွေ့တော့မယ်
He finds his mark here on a big war target.
GPK လိုက်စီတာ infect နဲ့ဝင်ထားပြီး snake ကိုခေါင်းခေါက်လိုက်တန်းရှော့မှာနော်စမုတ်ပြေသွားပြီမတွေ့သေးဘူးအမတဖက်မီရိုမတွေ့ဒီဘက်က snake ပြတ်ဖို့တော့များနေပြီ race စိတ်ထားသေးတယ်ဟာ rain master စိတ်ထားဆိုတော့ snake နဲ့ပြတ်ဖို့များနေအကုန်ပြန်ဘတ်သွားပြီ mask ကတော့ brain ကိုက်နေကြတယ်နေပြီပဲ mask နှစ်ယောက်လုံးတော့ supporter နှစ်ကောင်လုံးတက်ပေးထားတယ်အမတဖက်ဝက်က supporter နှစ်ကောင်မရှိရဘက်တယ်ကိုမဆိုင်တော့ဘူးဗျ BKB ကြီးပတ်ဖို့တော့ကြိုးစားတယ်တကယ်လည်းသူတို့ snake မပြတ် snake ကိုပြတ်လို့ရတယ်snake ကိုအရင်ပြတ်သူတို့ဘယ်တဲ့ဆိုင်လို့ကောင်း
What can you do? You don't have stuns for it. They
can always snake ရဲ့ရှေ့မှာ solar crack တွေကြည့်ရတယ်
Beautiful arena from Amar. He read that fight perfectly, hit in the tree line, no chance to jump in. I jump you. I killed both supports at the start.
Take a lot of your control mechanism.
You can feel GPK's frustration with that angle, right? He wanted to jump past the Enchantress.
But he
didn't know exactly where the heroes were in the tree line. That's a very tough blind jump to make. She settles for the Enchantress, but immediately after you make that jump, you don't feel great about it. The box save comes through, you're on a bad target. Yet again, we've seen this before.
Witness is going to be able to stop because these are not melee heroes that are going to build Basher.
I don't think it's
Maybe
getting Abyssal on the Enchantress. I don't know. Get creative. Like, none of these cores want to go that route. You pretty much just have to accept that that's the route this game is going. You didn't tempo it out. And continue to scale in your own ways. Build your heroes up. Get the Hex on Amar. Get to refresh your territory. Refreshers can help you fight through this, right? If you survive through some of the early BKB duration, you come in with the second punch. That can be strong enough to bring these heroes down.
That's not going to feel great for Falcons, knowing the game is going late, because I do favor BB team's lineup going late.
It's scary. These three cores together, they punch together and they punch hard.
စမုတ်ကအာမာသာဖက်ကတော့ arena ရှိအကုန်လုံးက space ရှိရနော်အကုန် space ရှိတယ်စောက်ပုံးမလုံးနဲ့နော်ဟိုဘက်က space ကုန်ရှိတယ်
It's fine there on the board. Putting the SNY hero on the front lines with that Stanish resistance.
I mean, to me, it's crazy. Falcons are still 7K. Because it's felt like they haven't won a fight in a long time. I mean, they got the 2 supports top, they got another shard, but
I think that will largely be the advantage that Falcons have going into late game. Their supports are scaling up much better. Not that they are better in the late game, but frankly, the start that they had, and, you know, Enchantress is always pretty good at finding farm where she wants.
They will get more gold off the map. That's the difference.
ဒီက Russian ပေါ့နော် Russian ထုတ်ဖို့တမနစ်ပဲလို့သူတို့က secure ဖြစ်တဲ့ battle တစ်ခုကိုဆိုင်ပြီး Russian ကို easy
damage in the fight or more saves. You get nags on the Ringmaster. That's his best scaling mechanism. Sure. Honestly, Ringmaster suffers a lot.
အဲ့လိုဖြစ်သွားခြင်းတာမဟုတ်ဘူးသူကတကယ်အဲ့မဲ့အဲ့ဒါကိုပြောတာအခုချိန်ဆိုရင်တေသွားပြီဟုတ်ကဲ့ 4 win တေသွားပြီ50 second Miro ပါထက်ရဖို့များတယ် Skater ပါကျလာပြီးတော့ slow ထားသေးတယ် BKB ကြီးပြီးတော့ဖောက်သွားတယ်
That's pretty good.
You'll take that. Some pressure on the map. Does leave ATF solo top.
Night 4 no on your thing နဲ့ရောအေးလေးတိုက်တာ Skater Night 4 no on your thing ဟာဒီတော့လို့ပြဿနာ
It's not like he has a BKB. He can't do the same. He can't just BKB TP out. I guess Lincoln's Lotus does protect you against a lot of initiation of BKB.
Night 4 remembrance is low.
Defense against the Dragon Knight. As long as he keeps
Night 4 means it, ADZ means it. Night 4 means it.
Somebody's got to get these lanes out. Another Wisdom Shrine steal.
Yeah, this is another reason why Falcon supports are also scaling up more. They got to max out all their abilities so early onto the game, using those to farm up. I think they surely the 7-minute one.
Yeah, they probably got the 7-minute one.
But yeah, 14-21.
Okay, I don't know
about 28.
35 minutes.
Got taken.
ကျွန်တော်ခုနက 47 over နော်ဖြစ်မဖြစ်ကြည့်35 minutes တော့ကြော်လာတယ် number ကတိတ်မကွာဘူးအဲ့ Skater Dallas တော့ရပြီသူကပြစ်ချင်တာပေါ့ပြစ်ကြည့်ချင်တာဒီကပြစ်ချင်တာပြစ်ကြည့်ချင်တာဖြစ်မဖြစ်ဆိုတာ
losing certain team fights to BB
သူ့ဘက်ကိုဆူလာခွက်တွေက view ကလမ်းလျှောက်မားနေစနေကင်းနဲ့တော့တွေ့သွားပြီဆိုဗီဒီယိုကနောက်ကထပ်လိုက်ပြောပဲဘောလုံးလေးပေါက်လို့ရသေးလားအော်မလိုက်တော့ဘူးဘောညမကြိုက်ဘူးစိတ်ဝင်စားဘူးတော်ပြီဒီကောင်ကြီးနဲ့ငါတို့အိမ်မက်ဆိုးကြီးရှိတယ်
Who's the highest level in this game? It's pure out of everybody, not who I would have guessed. But he was almost level 25.
ဂျာနီလေးကတော့ဆက်သွားနေလို့ပေါ့နော်ခုက Lotus လည်းပြီးပြီ Linkin လည်းပြီးပြီပြီးရင်သူကဟိုသွားအောင်မှ refresher လုံး
Not a conventional life stealer item, but could be really interesting.
ငင်းရမှာပေါ့မငင်းလို့ရမှာ
The Furion in the
man
fight.
Yeah.
ဟိုမှာသူတော့တိုင်ပတ်နေတယ်အဲ့တော့အစောပြီးသွားပြီနော် Let's see လာ view အစောပြီးသွားပြီ fly တော့မှာလားဘာလို့ Lotus ကယူချင်တာလဲမယူချင်တာလဲ哦，得了我钱哦。不然今年比马的车跟那边呢。
Falcons grouping up. Roche guaranteed spawn here very shortly. Got to get the vision out. Got to control the pit. This is not an Aegis you want to give the BB team, given the way this game has gone. Especially Ag's done on the Dragon Knight. I mean, their cores are scaling like beasts, but you put an Aegis on the light stealer. This fight is going to feel real impossible. I think this is a must contest Roche.
Yeah, I have a hard time seeing how they killed one time between the Rage, BKB, Infest, into another Rage. Give him an extra life. That pretty much kills the only way that Falcon can do that life stealer, which is through the initiation. But Amar does have that tool now, a Scythe of Ice, so they have a way to get through this Rage or get in front of it.
This smoke is slow from BB. This Roche is just gone.
BKB
Way too fast with the Daedalus Mjolnir on the Furion. Hex done on the Mars, Refresher done on the Sand King. Falcons, they're hitting a really big power spike right now, and they got a Roche for 3 in this game.
What was this? An intentional, like, BBT had to have known this was a possibility today.
Yeah, it was a guaranteed spawn time.
They'd
rather play for the right timings. They say the Aegis doesn't matter. This isn't that third Roche with potential shard or any kind of nonsense.
The butterfly timing that Lifestealer just picked up is massive alongside level 25, so an extra second of rage duration as if the BKB wasn't good enough. It's just so high level.
You have Black Dragon available as well. This next fight is very tough for both teams to get through these cores. There's just so much tankiness. A lot depends on the initiation. ATF with the Hex Arena. And if you're BB all on GPK, getting in there and starting the fight off. Your Bushwhacking group can do some work once the fight develops, but not quickly starting it off. This Dragon Knight has to play fearless right now.
လွတ်နေနေကြတယ်သူတော့ပဲ defend နေရတယ်သူရဲ့ smoke ကတွေ့နိုင်ကြဒီ4ယောက်နဲ့ပဲဖြစ်နေဒီ4ယောက်ကိုကြော်လို့ရမိကနေဟုတ်တယ်ဒီ4ယောက်ကိုဝင်လာစနေကင်းနဲ့ပြတ်တယ် okay epicenter နဲ့ဝင်လာတယ် marine ဒီဘက်က bane ကတော့ပြတ်သွားဖို့များတယ် bane RT တော့ထွက်မသွား bane ဘက်တော့ထွက်ထားသေးတယ် amateur fat arena တော့မရှိတော့ GPK ပြတ်တော့ပြတ်မသွားသေးဘူး bane ပဲတကောင်ပဲပြတ်သွားသေးတယ် GPK တော့ light လုံနေတော့ကနေဒီဘက်ကပြည့်နေတော့ miro ပြန်ဝင်လာပြီးတော့ miro ဒီဘက်ကကြော်ပြီးဝင်လာ marine ထက်ကြော်သွားပြန်ပြီ pure infant တော့မရှိတော့ဘူး pure ဘာပဲတော့ပြီးလိုက်ပါတော့
It did have to lie back on both the 5 positions. This fight was just too
Sneaking Sneaking by
True mirror match in all things here. Even the fights completely even. That was an impressive amount of cutting going into that Dragon Knight game where just kept getting hit by daggers and vessels.
BKB နှစ်ခါပေးလိုက်တာ Sneaking စံကင်း
Pretty brutal.
BKB နှစ်ခါ
was
တော့
pretty nasty.
I guess with the early nullifier, they can kind of ignore Crit's positioning if they find a good core target. This box will not save
Arena
you
တော့မရှိဘူး amateur fat တို့ Arena ပြန်ဆောက်ပြီးမှ
So in some
တက်နေ
ways,
တော့
you
Russian
can
နည်း
leave
န
them a
ည်းနောက်
little
ရောက်တော့
unchecked, but
တိုင်
if
မ
the
င်းနေ
fight goes on,
Arena
he's
ရ
going
လိုက်
to
တာ
be
ပဲ
an
ကောင်း
issue.
ပါ Arena တော့ကတော့
Still,
Bane
it's an
ပိုင်းပဲ
even
ပေးလိုက်
fight.
တယ်
While Falcons have this Aegis, if you're
Di
BB
ka
team,
Bane
you're
a
probably
di
okay
makaya
with that
bene
outcome.
show
You
one
wanted
Bobby.
more out of that if you were
Totoo
Falcons.
yi-
You know how strong
Jordan
Skeeter is right now
Archie
with the 2
တော့
lives.
သုံးပြီးမှ
Just hit 25
ဟာရ
as well.
ထပ်ထွက်
He has
သွားတ
the
ယ်
remove teleport.
ပြောနေနဲ့ဒီ carry တော့ကိုထိန်းလို့မရတော့ဘူး supporter တွေရဲ့နောက်မှာပြည့်ပြည့်ဆောင်
Get away.
ဟာအားလုံး TV ထောက်ပြန်သွားပြီဘာလို့တိနေလားဟာ TV ထောက်တယ်ကြာနေရမင်းတယောက်တည်းဟော
Yeah, they did not expect this move coming through. Or they
TV
did,
ထောက်
they
တဲ့
were
နေရာ
trying to
တူ
get
နေ
out
နဲ့
last
တူပါနော်
minute.
သူ TV ထောက်တယ်သူတကောင်
I
ပဲ
think
ကြာပြီ
ATF was looking for the split push set up bottom.
အဲ့ Russian ရနေတာ Falcon ဆိုမဲ့ lane ကို
Very
တော့
different call.
lane ကိုတော့ပြန်စီးနေပါနော်
So retake some of that Roshan area, but of course, I mean, there's Roche has already been claimed. Still 2 minutes on the clock for Skeeter here. They want to try and force the fight with the Aegis, and they're going to do that. They get scanned.
လင်းကမှာပြတ်သွားချက်ပြောင်းသွားထပ်ပြီး Racer ကလည်းမပြတ်တော့ဘူးတော့ဟာရ epicenter မှာဝင်လာပြီး skater ပြစ်လာဆိုတော့ပြတ်သွားတော့ပြီပေါ့ငါလုံးဝအဲ့မှာလာပြီး Bane ကိုက်ထားသေးတယ် Sankin ကို BKB နဲ့ကိုက်ထားတော့ Bane ကိုက်ထားကြတယ် Sankin ပြတ်ဖို့တော့များပြီ Sankin ပြီးတော့ Mask ဟော hero ကြီးတို့ရောက်ထုတ်တဲ့ damage တောက်ရမ်းများ pure နဲ့ Sankin ဟိုဟာနဲ့ GBK နဲ့ထုတ်တဲ့ဟာ skater ဘယ်လိုပြန်ပြစ်မှာတော့အဲ့နှစ်ယောက်ကို Rim Master စိတ်ထားတယ် RT 3တာနောက်မှကြီးကြံနေခဲ့ပြီပြဿနာပဲ RT ကတလို့ကြီး
Do they have anything
Actually,
to
my
buy
fair
back
call.
inside of Falcons? Skeeter.
Again,
second line,
BetBoom
BKB
ရဲ့
goes out, pushing away Pure.
ဘက်ထဲမှာ damage တွက်တဲ့ဆက်တက်ကစောက်ရမ်းကောင်းတယ်အေးအောင်မမားနဲ့နော်ပြီးပါ damage တွက်တယ်လေဒီကောင်မပြတ်ဘူးလား
I mean, you're not TPing far.
That was
BB
shot
team went
yo,
up like
again.
right outside their base with a
ဒီက refresher နဲ့ Sankin ပေါ့နော်ဘာမှမတက်နိုင်ဘူးသူ refresher နဲ့တခါ epicenter ဝင်သုံးတဲ့အချိန်မှာဟာဟဲ့အောင်တန်းဦးကကြိုးစားနေသေးတယ် Sankin ဘယ်မှာ refresher ရှိရလေ refresher ရှိရလေ
into the enemy throne.
Sankin refresher ရှိရလေ
They'll get one buyback
I
out
don't
of
know.
him. But Falcons,
ဟာ damage စောက်ရမ်းထွက်
nothing
နေတာဟဲ့အောင်
left
ကြီး
in the tank. They didn't
ထိုင်
see
ကြည့်
this
နေရတယ်ဟဲ့အောင်
coming.
ကြီး
The tier 4 shredded.
ဟဲ့ထိုင်ကြည့်နေရပြီလား Marine
Exposed, and there is nothing
Huh?
Falcons can
Huh?
do to stop
You
it.
got me
Maybe
right.
they delay it with a little bit of Sprout nonsense. They tried for the Bro Strike. They
ဘာမှ
tried
ကို
to
လုံး
get
လို့
it
မ
off
ရတော့
target.
တဲ့အချိန်မှာတော့မတက်ရကြည့်နေနေပဲ BetBoom
You give them the win.
game 1ကိုတော့တဘာနဲ့ဆော့သွားတာကွာမလို့ကောင်းလေ 3K ဆိုတာစောက်ထဲမှာပဲပြောလို့ရတယ်သူ game ကတကယ်နိုင်သွားတာ BetBoom နဲ့
stealing a lot of Falcons playbook. They just ran it back into him, and they ran it better.
တကယ်ကောင်းတဲ့အသင်းမှာကွာကြစ်လစ်ပြီးတော့သူတို့ရဲ့ target ကိုသူတို့ရောက်အောင်သွားပြီးတော့ game ကိုအံ့လိုက်တာ
They stabilize. They find that one turnaround top.
Yeah,
They
they
get
tried that
so
goal.
much out of that, and they're able to stabilize, turn that game around, scale into the late game, and just
ဟုတ်
power
တယ်
through those
သူ
fights.
ကကြစ်ကြစ်လစ်လစ်နဲ့ရှောင်ဆော့ကောဒီအားလုံးကညီးရနော်အားလုံး BKB ရင်သွားပြီးမှ next item ချက်သွား
Fighting to come out of BB team.
And I'm going to repeat the question I asked earlier in the game, Avery. What is it about BB team? I asked that question in reference to them falling apart in some of these laning phases, but now what is it about BB team that maybe they don't win the laning phase, but they just seem to bounce back when it hits that mid game?
This team is relentless, and when they start to find some momentum, that is when they're the scariest, right? Some of these games look a little shaky. Mid phase can be a bit shaky. Sometimes they throw, but when they're feeling it, they just go. Just go forwards to the throne. No hesitation. That's what's going to win you games on the main stage.
And we are going to go to the panel in anticipation of game 2.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. There's a lot to talk about with this game because for the first half, I really thought Falcons was having it in the bag with Kezu. BB team strike back once again.
I mean, Falcons, they were absolutely destroying them. I think they had like a 10k lead by minute 20, but like Cap and Avery were saying, there was this one turnaround on top. GPK, he finds the stun on Amar before he even blinks in. They get the turnaround and then one fight after the other, like all this damage coming out. I think GPK had probably one of the games of his entire life. Like his performance this game was actually crazy.
Yesterday too, he was
yeah, this guy's just popping off.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what's going on with BB team, but they've somehow become a comeback team instead of an early game domination type of team.
Yeah, I mean, they are doing incredibly well. In this game for BB, they identified how to try and get back into it, right? They get, sure, we're going to watch some highlights of Falcons dominating the early game, but again, that doesn't matter. In Dota 2, you never give up. You play until your ancient explodes into BB. They found the pickup on the top side of the map. They got the first Aegis, right? Very heavily momentum-driven Falcons enables them to kind of breathe in the game, to identify what they need to do. And yeah, I think the scaling, the DK, they're so tanky when you hit this like 30-minute mark that eventually Falcons just struggling to get anyone, any kill.
I mean, it was such a good
47 35
making sure you don't lose everything in the entire and then all of a sudden, all of the difficulties you had. I don't know what to do. They do 6 kilo. They just oh, this is not going to be. Yo, Russian guy, you don't. I don't know. Fake one, you don't. I don't. Skida and that doesn't do much. You just get this free BKB on your carry.
You may even look like at Skida didn't even die this game. He died once with the Aegis towards the end because the damage was like overwhelming, but still ending up with the L. And I want to say like Falcons, they were feeling themselves right. Then suddenly the game flips. You start losing. You get ulted back by like 4 enemy players on the main stage. This is gonna get to you after this game.
They started the old chat. Game 2, there's gonna be more old chat. There's gonna be more tips and everything. It is a very, very spicy series.
It is a spicy series. GPK, I think how could you not? This guy is, I think, one of the main reasons why.
ဟုတ်တယ် fan speed တွေကဟိုကောင်တွေကရပြီသူတို့ကမရတယ်လို့ဖြစ်နေကျွန်တော်လည်းလိမ့်မော်တက်ဖန်လို့နှိုက်ခံရတာဗျာပြီးရင် BKB နဲ့ပြန်အောင်ဟိုကောင်တွေကျလို့မဟုတ်သူတို့နှိုက်ဖို့တော့စမုတ်တွေနဲ့လိုက်ဆောင်ပြီးတော့လောက်ရဆို
This time around, he gets the overall last pick for his team, and he delivers.
He definitely delivered. I mean, he had everything that you wanted a carry to have in the late game.
That
early game was rough. It does feel like to win this, but there's still an issue that exists. That for some reason, BB Team safe lane are not making it through their lanes with enough. They've just really been suffering, and that is something that I want to see them correct, hopefully with the good morale that this game brought.
Oh, yeah,
this game we had, of course, Kataomi's Bane. It's one of his staples. Falcons let it through FE because they thought they could counter it.
Yeah, so one of the big problems that BB Team had early on, as you just saw in this clip, was every time Kataomi wanted to grip or every time they wanted to play with their Bane, something was going wrong. It was getting countered by skip back. Here, they just lacked damage. They did not have enough burst to follow up early on. Snaking just walks that out. Here, again, they try to set up with this infest on the ancient creep. They get the grip off. Guess what? Crit is there with that escape act. And they won a team fighter too. They were able to get their nullifiers up once they started with that radiance. Once he got more items, it stopped being that much of an issue. But a big part of the reason why that early game was struggling so hard was because of all of the tankiness Falcons, like all the saves that they have.
I mean, usually I feel like Falcons are quite clean. Like when they have this type of lead, they take it from start to finish their head, they do their stuff, and they're gonna like clean the end of the game. This time around, I feel like towards this mid game, BB team had their number in like one fight, then the second, then the third. So I feel like it's the type of game where both teams are happy with the draft that they had, and happy with how they played at some points of the game. But Falcons need to clean it up and like play more on the same page when it comes to the later stage.
Yeah, and if both teams are happy with how things are kind of balancing out, then a lot of them are
how beautiful these fights was, where you had Falcons trying to escape the aggression of BB, right? Like, you know, Malrine starting the fight, but with all the utility available for Falcons, multiple 4-stars, you got Lotus and Marcus and Spears, it's fine. Link as well on the Mars. Like, this is a fight for BB with the age. How much resource and utility they're having to put into the mix just to try and survive. So the fact that, yeah, BB was down in the early game, as soon as they hit this like 7-minute mark, the game fully switched. They had everything for one Mars, but they were never really fighting. It was all mode survival.
The reason why they were able to make such a big comeback as well is because GBK and Save together in tandem were creating opportunities. Like what led to that Roshan in the first place, right? It was that top lane pick that they found on the Mars.
Yeah, and of course in this clip it does kind of go well for Falcons, but you know, in the next fight, this was the best fight that Falcons could try and
and it's also from this point forward, like you can even see it like on the cam, like Pure, he gets quite animated. Like, it's a super long dragged out fight. We saw the double force earlier. They get a reinfest go again. We get a couple of kills, and this is where I would say the game like really turned on its head.
Yeah, it was quite the game here, that's for sure. And I do think we got to go back to talking about something that we talked about before, the draft and picking all your poisons. One of the main poisons that is, I believe it was on your 100% win rate heroes, Kezu, the Sand King. For the first time, Malrine Sand King.
Yeah, it was. And he had an incredible game. Like, from start to finish, really. But I'm still going to go back to, if you would talk to both teams about this game right now, they're not going to talk much about the draft. They're going to talk about the gameplay. The game should be more even, whereas Falcons like, grab 10k gold at 20 minutes. Like, what else do you want? Our heroes are supposed to win. We need to clean it up, and that's it.
Well, speaking of that Sand King, and speaking of the early game that did go very well for Falcons, it is going to be Purge that is going to be breaking down that early game.
Thank you, Shiver. Yeah, the Sand King for the Falcons always goes immaculate.
It makes
so easy, frankly. And part of that is because of Ancient Stacks. Crit really focused on this in the early game while also helping his ally out by zoning the Bane and keeping him away from this problem. In this example here, both stacking and securing a kill on Kataomi as he gets ran down. Skitter also TPs, and Sand King just walks over and says, okay, I'll take that kill for free. Thank you very much. So, giving him 2 sets of gold, basically, he stacks in at 7-minute mark. Keep in mind, there actually is a sentry blocking this. Kataomi placed this earlier, so they're doing a little bit to decrease the amount of gold that the Sand King is going to get from this. But the problem is that he can still clear this very easily. Crit is going to hang out in the area to make sure that nobody ends up contesting it. One cool thing I noticed here, watch his power treads here. He's going to toggle these in moments that he wants the creeps to re-aggro to him so that they stay really grouped up here. So he's just going to toggle the power treads. That way he doesn't actually have to take damage. Normally you have to attack to break your invis here, but he waits to do it until the very end. One benefit there that power treads gives you over the phase boots, very cool. Then we see Pure on the other side using Gorestorm on an Ancient Creep. He's trying to apply some pressure here. He thinks he's very invulnerable, basically, in this lane because he can just press Rage and can't actually be stunned. But watch this really cool chain stun that they do on the Falcon side. They actually started off a little bit abnormally. Now, normally you could have Amar maybe try to throw a spear to get him to this tree, but what they do instead is they start channeling from the right to stun with this one first. That's going to apply a fear, and that's going to give them an opening to land the second stun. And naturally, here's Malrine doing the same. I swear to God, this is the 4th rotation I've seen him do like this. He farms well, he ganks the top lane, he gets a kill, and he turns that into a tower kill. And then what they do afterwards is he gets his Blink Dagger at like 10 minutes. At this point, he always has like 2 kills and a couple assists, and he brings a smoke with 1 support, and then he goes for the next fight. And in this case, it's on the mid lane. They blow up the Bane, they kill him. I just watch this early game every time, and I'm like, this guy just consistently gets tons of kills. He accelerates his team's gold advantage, and then they go into the mid game. So almost always wins. Sometimes falls off a little bit if there isn't as much follow-up, but definitely still an incredible early game for Malrine on the Sand King. But it wasn't enough this game to beat BB Team.
And that means that they are one game down, and BB Team is one game away from being top 3 at this year's International, and that is a big. That means that they are going to have maybe a little bit of extra pressure. Tigov, I want to talk about how we're coming into that game number 2, because Kezu said it's not the heroes. What are they going to do in game number 2 to make sure that their laning stage also goes correct?
Probably try and chill out a little bit more on the whole all chat kind of meme stuff, because I think Falcon's in a different game. If they aren't in their own heads about the whole BB thing, then they're probably going Roshan earlier. They're making these moves earlier, but I think I saw an aura of cockiness in the kind of the mid game where they're farming it more. They're kind of TPing out. They're probably laughing to each other, kind of like, they're not killing us. Look at them. They're fools. They're bad at lanes. And then suddenly Pure just wakes up and goes, nah, my time's to shine, right? So I think Falcon's a little bit cocky in the mid game, got punished, and you just stop that, and you're probably fine in game 2.
Yeah, I mean, that game looked like it was theirs until they broke formation one time and lost that first Aegis. Like, had that not happened, had there been more heroes behind the Mars in that time, like, if they thought that the game was losable, then it would have looked different. So, absolutely agree with T there. And for BB Team, they need to work on their laning stage. Something is going wrong. I don't know what they need to talk about, but something needs to be talked about even though they won this one.
The one thing that BB Team have on their side now is momentum. Like, you have the enemy team that's trying to clown on you in all chat. You get to clown back on them, you win the game. I think there's not even like that much they need to like discuss. Sure, like do better in lanes, but it doesn't mean that much. So I think they take like this good feeling, this momentum into the next game, and sometimes you just need to let things happen.
It helps that BB had a clear route to being the team without scaling, right? Like when you have the life to the bristle, they know at X minute we win the game. I think that means you don't care about your lane, your early game, because as long as you get to that minute mark, you're going to be fine. So maybe Falcons can try and deal with the fact that BB are kind of playing for the perfect scale, the perfect point in which they are kind of unbeatable.
I think there's still an important question for BB Team, is that do they want to give away the Sand King again? Because yes, they did beat it, but it was a painstaking process to beat it. Like, we saw, Purge showed us how well he played that early game. He makes it so difficult. Do you want to give it away again? Have you decided that it's too problematic and you would rather deal with the rest of Malreen's hero pool? That's what they should be talking about right now.
They probably are talking about that right now. And then I don't know what everybody else is talking about, but I think we're about to find out because Slacks is somewhere amongst you guys.
Hello there, friends. Yes, we're here in the crowd. How y'all doing here? They're still alive. They're still well. I thought we'd do a little crowd vibe check here on the last series of the day. Go and talk to some random folks. How you doing? What's your name?
Hello, I'm Maxim.
All right. Who you voting for here? Who are you hoping wins?
BB Team.
BB Team. Why do you guys like BB Team?
Us?
Why do you like BB Team?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that works for me too. I like that. Fantastic. Thank you so much, BB Team. May they continue to go on. Let's find out. You just got here. Where you been?
Yeah, what's up? We're hoping that Parivision wins the International, and in this pairing, we are voting for BB Team.
Okay, more BB Team. All right, is that a nice, delicious soda there?
What?
What are you drinking?
I'm drinking Zero Coke.
Coke Zero? That's free advertising. Chug it, young man. Yeah. Wow, that was pathetic. Thank you so much for your attempt. Good try. All right, what can he do? Hello, do we have any Falcons fans over here? Is that a BKB? Holy moly. Yo, Ghost, take a look at this thing. You could use that. That's cool. Well, fantastic. That is awesome, man. What's your name?
Hey, Koya.
Oh, fantastic. Why'd you make the BKB?
What?
Why did you make this?
Because it's the best item in the game.
Wow. What position do you play?
None.
Even he knows. Well, you don't play Dota?
I do, but not good.
Well, I mean, neither do any of these guys, man. Let's not lie to each other. So, carries out there, for your reference, this is a BKB. It is the best item of the game. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for the educational moment here. Oh, so we do a crowd? Who else is around here? What do you got? Eat, sleep, Dota, repeat. Beautiful. What are you doing here?
What?
We are Falcon fans.
Oh, Falcons fans. We found them. What'd you think of that last game?
Sorry, he doesn't speak English that well. Yeah, we're sad. We're rooting for them. It was looking very good, very promising, but poof.
Yeah, very, very heartbreaking. Someone just wooed over there. Don't woo when he says poof. That's not nice. What language does he speak?
Czech. We're from.
Oh, Czech. Could you say a curse word in Czech real quick? No, don't do that. I don't know. You're right. Thank you very much. Enjoy the game. All right, who else we got? Hello, you guys look ready. They're lining up like I chose these guys. How you doing?
So I'm doing great.
Oh, I'm great. What's your name?
Leighton.
Oh, fantastic. And who's this?
Sorry?
Well, what does this keep happening to me today? Who do you want to win?
XG.
Oh.
BV.
Whoa, do you guys know each other? Oh, this got weird. I thought you guys were white. Okay, well, cool. Can you shake hands at least to show the connectivity of Dota 2? Wonderful. Look at that. They believe in each other. Absolutely. Somebody had some runes or something over here. Who had the runes list? I was talking to somebody. I think they left. Oh, yeah. You were decoding runes, right? Show me the runes. Why does this keep happening to me? All right, somebody else. All right. Who's over here? Oh, here we go.
Signature, and I met Sumail today.
You got Sumail's signature today?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Any words that you'd like to say to Sumail that maybe you didn't say there because you were too nervous?
I love him, and the whole Pakistan loves him, and I wish him all the best. I know. Let's go, Nigma!
That series is over. All right. I promised someone I'd talk to one more person. I promised him I would run up here. Hello there. What is this?
This is my collection of all the autographs here.
Oh!
So, same with Nigma. I'm going with Ghost. So, yeah, that's my man from Malaysia. I'm from Singapore. I flew 20 hours here. I slept on a bench, and I'm here now.
He slept on a bench! Thank you, Germany, for your comfortable benches. All right, thank you very much. As you can see, the crowd is alive. We're still rocking, and we're ready for the next game. Let's go one more. Everybody, from Hamburg, back to you. Woo!
Thank you very much. Slacks drifting about in the audience over there, and I'm sure that everybody's still having a good time, and I think that it would be very nice if we can push this a little bit. Maybe get a third game out there. I know there's Falcon fans, and to be fair, I think BB Team has a lot of fans as well, hoping that they get to see more of their squad and therefore having that third and deciding game. We gotta have to, keep everybody entertained here, and I do think that Falcons, amongst all the teams here still in the playoffs, Kezu, has the most experience in game number 3, so they can push back.
Oh, absolutely. They know how to play long games. They play long series, and I can only imagine that this stinks right now. What happened to him? You're ahead in this game. We're gonna talk about the alt chat. Like, you go into the next game, you gotta do it clean, play your stuff, make it happen. Because this team, they don't go down without a fight.
Coming into TI, I was promised long games. I was promised this, 2 o'clock in the morning Dota. It's only 7:30 right now.
There is still time.
I'm sure. This single 2 games potentially could do it, but I want to be here at midnight. I want to be here at 1 in the morning screaming about Dota. So yeah, I'm hoping for 3 games. I'm hoping for a bit of a comeback, show some life.
It does beg the question, and in the game we just witnessed, and the history that we know from Falcons, Effie, why couldn't Falcons, after they were with their backs against the ropes, how couldn't they push back and delay the game, as they have done so many times during the road to TF?
I think what Lifestealer and DK were doing in that late game, their heroes just do not naturally solve, and they were playing for a much earlier timing, and they lost that window. They didn't get the Roshans the way that they wanted to. I mean, they were leading by 7K net worth, like minute 14.
Yeah.
Like, losing from that position does not feel good. When you have that kind of start, you expect to be in a position where you don't give anything to your enemies and they don't win off of hero matchups alone.
Also, I would say the net worth lead for Falcons is also a bit of a bait, where that 7K, 10K, whatever, it didn't translate to anything that meant BB was under pressure, right? There was no Roshan contest. There was not like a tier 3 contest. There was nothing to say, hey, you're 1 mistake away, BB, that we're going to punish you. And also, BB never felt like they're forced to overlap the farm too much. They have a static tri-core between Lifestealer, DK, Bristle. It's why the early game was difficult. They don't want to make moves. They're not contesting runes. They're doing nothing. They're just farming. So the fact that Falcons never really played the mid-game with conviction means the heroes always will come online for BB.
Yeah, no, I like what you both said. Like, their heroes just aren't that good against a Lifestealer DK. And then the same, what he just mentioned about the gold. Like, Amar, he has Lotus and Lincolns. They're great items, but it's also how do you set them up into the fight? Did you ever, like, clutch it out? In other games, you have Lotus against Roars, against, Grips to reflect it. But that didn't really happen. So in the later stages of the game, with the fights, BB team, they just had their number.
And if we want to examine their support duo and how it scales or what the relative strength of that support duo versus other heroes that are popular, Ringmaster fell off hard. That hero is countered very easily by a nullifier. His spells lost a lot of damage. His cooldowns went up. His talents got nerfed. Look at Enchantress. She has had a rough year, right? So when you're talking about scaling, these heroes are just not doing it for you either. And Falcons typically scale very hard on their support heroes. They go into the late game with their supports packing a punch. This time around, their heroes could not do that.
And this was a game where, correct me if I'm wrong, Snapfire was still in the pool.
It was available.
Yep. It was in the second phase where they picked the Ringmaster, right?
Yeah, they'd seen the Hoodwink and the DK, they picked the Ringmaster. But again, it makes sense. Clean jump, map play, and we saw from the clips, Ringmaster was able to do an exceptional job at combo breaking.
Yep.
It's when you walk down the line of the draft and one DK, one Bristle, one Lifestealer, it's so many different problems that, sure, you might survive for 20-25 minutes, but you need to make something else happen. You can't just farm.
Yeah, the hero definitely lags when you get overpowered, and the nullifiers did come out as we touched on. So that later you do lose a lot of value. One thing I could see going to the next game, maybe, I mean, Hoodwink was picked very early on, so maybe Falcons themselves are like, okay, we're gonna raise the priority as well. Is one team gonna ban it? Because it is the most picked hero of both teams.
Yeah, what adaptations are we gonna see for this second game? I think one of the major changes will be the pick order, and that does just mean that there is less ban potential for BB Team that we discussed was going to be a little bit more important compared to maybe Falcon's bans, because there are just a lot of heroes that you do not want Falcons to get their hands on. So that will definitely change things up, Effie.
It will for sure, and I'm still so curious about the Sand King. Do they feel like their approach was good enough? Because the lack of the scaling on Falcons did not come from that Sand King pick. It came from the supports and to them getting Lifestealered when they had a Nature's Prophet carry. Do you want to give away Sand King again? He kind of destroyed that early game.
Oh, sorry. Why did Miro yawn? It's quite good.
He got you good.
He got me good, yeah, sorry.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good now, don't worry.
Wait, to go to the... I would not give up the Sand King. Like, if I'm BB Team, I'm like, let's take... Like, this guy, Purge showed it to us, and he is not wrong when he says he's seen this 5 times. Because I've seen it 5 times. They stack every time. It then not just gives golden XP to him, it allows his 4 to get XP from the stacks. It allows Crit to go to the mid lane and soak more golden XP. And it really snowballs very, very quickly. Had BB Team not played incredibly well to like find this comeback in this mid game, they would absolutely, the only thing they will talk about right now is take out Marine Sand King. So try not to get baited just because something specific happened. Try to keep a clear head on what actually matters.
Yeah. I did really enjoy watching GPK on that DK though. This hero's fallen off. We've seen him as a carry from time to time, but we don't see that mid DK come out often. And clearly with that first pick Hoodwink, they were building towards this DK idea. They were building towards this duo that would play and make space for Pure in this game. They knew that they were going to run around with this DK's Blink and try to get what they could.
Yeah, after game 1, it feels like there's like a pick your poison situation. You either got to ban, respect the DK, the Puck, or the Earthshaker. They're like the big 3 I think GPK's shown so far at the International. And for Falcons, they're going to have to decide which one are we probably going to play against. And if it's available, they are going to take it.
And we already mentioned it after game number 1. We did see Skeeter 0 deaths in that first game on his Nature's Prophet. Do we want him to get a little bit higher priority in this game number 2 draft, as maybe also with a different style of hero, as this Nature's Prophet did not end up working out despite it having such a good game?
I wouldn't necessarily change anything with how they prioritize Skeeter. Honestly, that game really must have surprised them. It caught them off guard extremely quickly, but Skeeter did play a great game. Like, he was everywhere, he was present, he built items to scale, he died 0 times like we've talked about. It's just the nature of the draft and them getting caught off guard by this Lifestealer is what put them in this position.
I think there's one key stat there that is showing the big problems for Falcons game 1. 256 building damage.
I was going to say, that is quite the difference.
Yeah. And of course, it just boils down to what we've been saying, right? It's the progressing the game, getting the kills, feeling that the map state is yours, but not progressing the the fundamentals of the game. Something that obviously Aoi likes to say time and time again.
When you have a lead as big as the one Falcons had, that first Aegis becomes very important because you have to find a way to keep that lead and not give away the gold you have and make your enemies have that entry into that game.
Well, we can theory craft a lot about what might or might not happen in game number 2, but it is time to find out.
Team Falcons versus BB Team, Game 2.
Here we go. We got BB Team on Radiant this time around and Falcons on the Dire side. First pick goes the way of BB Team. Second pick and overall last pick to Team Falcons, and that means it's a complete swap over from a previous game. For BB Team though, they still want to pick up that Hoodwink first, regardless of which pick order they are. In regards to the bans, I do want to point out that this time around Falcons did not ban out the puck. So now we have our options open in regards to that as well. That Sand King though, still in.
I think not banning the puck is the fact that Falcons are second pick. If BB were to first pick it, there's plenty of heroes that Falcons like to play. The DKs, the Shakers, etc. So I don't know if Falcons are that scared of it, at least from BB being first pick.
I'm a bit surprised that they've lost their confidence in their Sand King, that they've been happily first picking. Maybe they think that the approach that BB Team had was enough for how the game state goes. Even if Falcons had that great early game, the DK plus Hoodwink duo does enough to offset what Sand King does on a map.
They haven't respected it in the sense that their first 4 bans haven't addressed the Bristle, the DK, or the Lifestealer. So if they were to pick Sand King here, and with one single ban, 2 are still going to flood into the second phase, and then BB can construct the same type of draft and have the same kind of recipe to winning a game 2.
Yeah, I wonder if they're still thinking about it or if they're swayed away from it. They don't. Falcons players generally don't strike me as the ones that lose confidence in themselves or their heroes, generally speaking. Yeah. So it might be strategical or to just save it for later. Ench overall is considered a very good hero against Hoodwink in the lane. You can out-trade the hero. You have your, you have your heal to actually offset some Acorn trading on the side. So overall, it also looked good. Snake King plays it well. So I'm not too surprised about the start of the draft so far.
Yeah, Hoodwink being also the most played position for hero of the International and the road to the International. So having a great track record there, and of course very comfortable for a lot of players.
She's made quite the comeback.
Yeah.
You didn't see any play after her facet got nerfed, the trick shot, or whatever it was called. Not even nerfed, deleted.
Yeah.
Players couldn't find a way to make it work, but I think she's come back into meta because of her ability to play from a distance. She's a support that's very hard to catch, can disengage very easily, and provides a lot of burst damage. And all of the supports that are popular right now seem to be able to keep a large distance away from threats in teamfights.
It also seems nice when your fours have like the follow-up damage, and I would say it's Falcons that kind of brought back the rushing shard on Hoodwink with like this follow-up damage, spell amp, get it into your core. But there's something interesting that happened here. BB Team were the ones that banned DK going into this phase, so now Falcons, they didn't have to. They take out their TA, they get their Sand King again, so we have a very similar setup.
Yeah. And interesting, with the TA ban, they still are enabling potential lifesteers and all the things that we just saw previously. But they want the Sand King, they want that pace of play.
And the Bristleback Disruptor coming out as well, so we most likely have our offlane set. Depending on where the Bristle goes, I'm going to assume it's Miero's hero. That's the only player that has picked it up so far, but we know Pure can do that as well, and Disruptor cannot go wrong with that either way.
Hoodwink and Disruptor both thrive when you have any hero that likes to aggressively position, and Bristleback is probably one of the top offlaners at happily running into fights, not caring. Even if he does get 100 to 0, you're probably using multiple heroes, multiple spells, and yeah, very solid draft so far.
I think they've doubled back for the Sand King because BB Team ended up banning the DK themselves. And maybe what they didn't want to play against was a potential Hoodwink plus DK again versus what Sand King does. But this DK ban indicates that maybe that GPK puck is coming out anyway.
That's true, especially with these supports that you're seeing come out here. I like the SD. Again, having like a save is very good. You get the break later, you help your Sand King who goes in. And most importantly, the post 4 that Falcons pick, crit, he always has an ability to stack the Ancients easily. You tag one, you spell the other, double stack, easy stuff done. So if you're Falcons, you're most likely picking the Skeeter hero here because you don't see too much, at least you do see the offlaner.
There it is.
Very solid. Sven and Ench, they lane well together. Sven is someone who you can leave alone. Ench can move, another stack clear. You have armor against Bristleback. You have overwhelming damage too. I'm a fan.
You also just need to respect Shadow Demon with Promulgate, Facet, plus Disseminate. You put it on a Sand King, even put it on a Bristleback, put it on anyone. They're in the middle of the fight. Damage we're getting returned. Aggressively, defensively, it is really, really potent when you have jumping heroes.
Yeah, there's a lot of value coming out of SD this draft. But also there's Disruptor and the Static Storm and the Ag Static Storm that will come out later in the game. Shadow Demon's one of the better heroes to play against this. If he's not caught in that backline, he can save against one of the big win conditions that comes from a Disruptor teamfight.
Falcons only a couple stuns to the name. Of course, as mentioned, the puck kind of expected for GPK in this position. Will Falcons try and get one final stun to be an answer towards the puck? That is going to be the question.
I will say, statistically, it's looking pretty good for BB team.
Yep.
100% win rate on the puck, 100% win rate on the bristle. Surely they can't lose.
This is super high comfort for them, absolutely. Yeah. And also they had full reserve time going into these bans too. They should be feeling good. They do pick out of phase. Do you guys feel like they are gonna run back to the life stealer, or should they look for something else? It is still a double strength core. Sure, there's an SD.
They have three choices. There's an Ursa if they want to be tanky and kind of soak up the jump, you don't die. There's a life stealer as well, like we just saw with the Infest. You don't care. As long as you don't get 100 from the defend jump. So many options for Pure to pick up.
Yeah, let's see which ones Falcons is going to eliminate. And it is, of course, BB team that will be banning heroes that most likely will be played from the offlane with the Mars already removed.
I'm just looking at this Puck plus Hoodwink and comparing it to the DK plus Hoodwink of last game. That was really instrumental in their comeback. While GPK is undefeated on this Puck right now, I don't think they're going to have that pacing that the DK gave them. They're still going to struggle versus the Sand King. The issue is still there.
That's a troll removed.
How are they going to make it through that early game?
Equal in their pacing. Like Puck can make reactionary plays. Sand King wants to be proactive, but Sven still needs to farm. Bristle wants to farm an item or two. Like, it's not as if there's this perfect core plus mid lane completely break the map. There's a bit of greed here. That's why I think Falcons might even look towards a last pick Doom potentially. In a slower game, you're chilling, you can buy Helmet Dome, buy some Midas, you Doom Bristleback, delete one hero, the Sven, the Sand King, they focus on the puck. There's some options for Falcons to try and slow down the game and hit their stride of farm that they like to do.
EV team, I'm also looking, you should look for a way to do something against the Sven. Like if I'm looking at minute 20 to 25, Sven is going to have like Mom, BKB, Blink, maybe an Echo Saber. There's nothing that really like stops him. Are you going to burst him with those heroes? No, not really. If he jumps you first, he's going to BKB and run through all of you, hit you down with an edge running in SDs behind Sand King as well. So BB team need to find a way for the early game, like Effie already mentioned, look a little bit beefy there as well. But also just to have this answer for Pure that he can feel good and that the scale is on their side.
I mean, to me, the issue still exists. If you look at Miro's lane on Bristleback, he's turning into Enchantress plus Sven. They're going to have Work Hard, they're going to have Sustain from Edge. They're not really going to be killing or diving anybody. He's going to be dependent on farm to come back. But if that safe lane goes well, they're running into BB team's triangle early on and taking it. They're also going to get their pick of the litter for a last pick here on Falcon. What can you pick for Pure that can give him a strong lane? Why?
It would have been us.
I mean, it depends. I'm not too sure what else is like in his arsenal. The TA would have been nice. It's also out. I'm still kind of looking at maybe the Lifestealer because it does give you the matchup. It is blind, which it sucks. You might get like Slardart on 24. But the problem is you have to pick blind. You're gonna have to suffer
we see the Faceless Voids is one of the only heroes that just saw of his most played. Still in the pool if he wants to go for something like that.
It's something I can see, but it's also it is volatile and slow. It takes a long time to come online. I do see a potential damage problem, and Void, he doesn't deal damage until like a couple items in.
Sure, there's a take clones of yourself, but SD's probably focused more on saving.
There's also Mercy. She doesn't have the scaling that Pure necessarily wants to play with, but your Bristol
it's something we've seen Tidebound do. Like I would like a lot if they're looking more at like their own draft. Disruptor Marcy again, it's a combo I love a lot. Strong lane, go together, you can double gate, you can make stuff happen. I'm maybe a little worried. I would say SD is kind of annoying, but you can play towards like with the rest of, it depends a lot on what do they value more. It's like, do they want to counter Falcons? Do they want to worry more about themselves? Do they value the scale? Do they value the tempo?
They're using all their reserve time on this ban. Because of course this ban is to protect your blind carry pick into the Marcy, absolutely everything.
I will say I do love that they had the almost full 2 minutes to think about that. They ban out the Slaughter and then insta-lock an anti-mage. Now that was not on our bingo card at all.
No, I honestly just always forget about it in drafts. Sure, I think with Helmet Dominator it does have a bit more life, right? If this was a non-Helmet Dominator anti-mage, then it's kind of awkward, but because of the pacing that you apply, the map kind of pushing, scaling into the game, Yes, it's going to be
animation let's pick Amatafat Salada Ban.
That would be, it's actually, you're against Bristle, you lane well into AM. I mean, I will say one thing, AM is good and he buys Dom, he's good against Sanky, you can sometimes maybe not get stunned by Sven, but I don't think you stop Falcons from what they're doing. So yeah, you're playing for your own scale. I personally don't love the anti-mage, of course it can work, it has been banned a lot, but it also depends on what do Falcons have here on the slot to counter it.
Huskar
offlane animation. I'm sure it crossed a lot of people's minds. But everybody was like, nah, surely not. And then it does come out. But this is actually a classic team.
Just
delete the lane. Go aggressive. Make sure Pure has to think about the jungle. Make sure he thinks backwards. We saw in game 1, right? What did the rank 50 laning incoming. Now the last looks at Huskar to show the rank 50 that is Pure, that his lane will not be fun. He will be looking at a comeback game on the anti.
I love this pick because to me the issue with BB Team right now is their laning, and if you build another net worth advantage, BB Team do not have the same kind of draft they did last game that allows them to come back. They have to come out of lanes a little bit better, because they're still facing and now they've got an anti-mage who's going to play pretty slowly.
Yeah, I didn't like the AM pick that much to begin with, and I think this Huskar makes it like 40 billion times harder for you to play. I'm looking at BB Team to do something like creative and cool, start 3 people top, look for like some early TPs. In my opinion, you gotta change something to AM's game, because if this goes default to what it looks like, I don't like your chances
Are you gonna dodge the lane? Are you gonna lane shenanigans?
I mean, maybe, but then you gotta do something. Whether it's lane shenanigans, triple top, I don't care. Do something.
But also, if the game gets to later, and anti-mage has like butterflies and abyssals and Sean all this stuff, then yeah, it's gonna be great. So
you gotta get there.
You gotta get there.
You could try lane the Huskar.
Yep.
I mean, Miro's not going to have the easiest lane anyway. Might as well just bank on him to make a comeback through the triangle, make sure Huskar doesn't beat up on the anti-mage too much.
Do we think at all that this Huskar was still on the radar for BB Team? Do we think they completely forgot about it?
I would never have this on my bingo card. 24 pick offlane Huskar. Sure, Amar maybe, but no. This is a really tough one to read.
Any final thoughts, T?
I just want to watch a Huskar absolutely batter a lane and then probably lose the game potentially 40 minutes. Who knows? I don't know. It's offlane Huskar. It's kind of cool. It's that TI. That's nice.
It does seem like my panel is kind of unanimously thinking that this Huskar might just push us to the third game of this series, and I think that will make a lot of people happy. But we're going to find out what's going to happen in game number 2. But before we do, we're going to jump to the stage and see Tsunami with AUI2000.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm joined by AUI2000, coach of Falcons, where we had a very exciting end of that draft, but let's go step by step. You let through GPK Puck. This guy's got a 100% win rate with it. What's the idea?
I mean, honestly, we're pretty confident against Puck as a hero. I think GPK is playing Puck the best in this tournament, but we felt like the other heroes were more deserving of bans.
Makes sense to me, but then some of the other heroes who maybe don't deserve bans come through. Anti-Mage 23rd pick. What's their plan here?
I think Pure just wants to carry the game because I think like the lane's weird into SD because he burns your mana. But honestly, I don't know. Like, we picked Huskar last. I also have no idea, so we'll see.
Yeah, I know you're a mechanics nerd. Huskar, no mana. What's going on in the right-click situation?
Well, I assume his mana doesn't get burned if he has none, but I don't know.
Nothing gets past you, Curtis. You're a real authority on the case. All right, then. I just gotta say, when Amar demands a last pick Huskar, do you ever push back? Are you ever like, I don't know if this is the game for that?
And the thing is, he's clicking the buttons now, so you can't stop him. Like, we're just like, Amar, just pick your hero, and he just clicks it. We're like, oh, we thought we were picking Pangolier. Okay, it's a Huskar now. So, you know.
Amar is unchained. Let's see if it'll bring him to success. Good luck in game number 2.
It seems Falcons have themselves a rogue offlaner. He has picked himself the offlane Huskar, and I can't really blame him for it, Avery.
The man's feeling himself. He wants to get some revenge in this game to play his signature hero. The Huskar Masters have arrived at TI. How much damage is he going to do? It's not a question of will he do damage, it's a question of how much. This is going to be a very difficult laning phase for Pure to get through, and then he has a long road of recovery. Or is he's against the Sven, who might have a lot better time and stacks to go back to. And the all chat is just raining it.
Oh, yeah. Amar starts it by saying he's going to end the game by 20 minutes. Pure saying that Amar can only play cheese heroes. He's not good enough to play real heroes, apparently. It's quite the back and forth, and I'm sure we'll see more of it as the game progresses. But I cannot believe that coach interviewed. I thought, okay, Falcons are insane. Why are they giving GPK his puck? And then when they picked the Huskar, I was like, oh, okay, it all comes according to plan. The Huskar will be able to provide an answer to the puck after the laning phase. But apparently that wasn't even the idea at all. Amar just went rogue.
I can't stop him doing what I guess not. Learned anything, that is the reality. I do kind of agree with AUI's assessment. Like most of the cores, most of the cores that Falcons have in their arsenal are innately good against puck. It's a lot of beefy heroes, a lot of heroes with stun and disable, a lot of initiators, right? You think of Skeeter's hero pool. It's all these carries that go in, stun, block heroes down, give you some utility on top of the damage. These kind of lineups can be really difficult for Puck to play into because he has a trouble bursting them. He's constantly getting jumped. I agree with that assessment, but it is a scary hero-player combination to give away. He has absolutely salvaged some horrendous early games on this hero.
Yeah, he certainly has. I think Maureen's hero pool as well, right? I mean, hit the three heroes that come to mind right now for him. Beastmaster, Sand King, Earthshaker, all great answers against the puck.
Already heat up for Falcons. They absolutely want to push this to a game 3. They are hungry to get that game 3.
They may have gone even in series against BB team this year, but last year, at TI, Falcons were the ones to eliminate BB team from the International. Now, this is not an elimination match. We're here in the upper bracket, but Bear is still on the table.
Pure was the one to eliminate them.
That's true.
Do not forget that detail. So there is definitely some year-long revenge on the table here. He is working his way towards Helm. These early waves have not been pretty. Burning Spears, nothing you can do about it on this hero, and no mana to burn. Very little defensive potential, no offensive potential. It's not even skill in it. Just get your Helm up and try and evacuate this lane before the real damage is done. Rely on your other two cores to pick up. I did agree with the panel. Like, there was a tri-lane potential. You tri-lane Huskar, it's really rough for him. The hero needs experience. He doesn't function that well in the 3-on-3 fights. I think that was an option. BB team saying, no, that's fine. Like, we have played a lot of games where Pure's laning phase is really difficult.
There's difficult, and then there's flat out impossible. What is going on? Pure is going to gank the Sven with a bushwhack blood grenade. They slow him down, and they will get that. One more hit for the tower. Was it worth it, Pure?
Was it what? Pure maybe damn la Castaria. I don't know what I mean. Damn la. Who is safe lane to the go? Safe lane to the lane or Tabio?
I like the creativity. You can soak XP down here with Kataomi, and this is what you're going to have to do in this game. It is an unlaneable lane.
I don't know game aside you have your Hugala Male, you know, try and low Malala, you know, Balu Male, Panalistic.
He's going to block the camps. You're not going to get pulls off. You're not going to be able to reset it. And ATF, he will hold this here forever. And now you're mid.
Okay, I don't pure movement here, so you enjoy it. Pure movement here, but I don't know the TV let me see you.
He's looking for sure.
It is like what happens in pubs is where GPK is like, bro, get out of my lane, man. You're stealing my experience.
He's as a level 3 Animage. I mean, if Pure makes a comeback from this, it's an all-timer for sure.
Not fast. Not fast at all. Well, GPK, you got your signature hero. Let's see what you can do this game. It's going to be a carry job for the ages. If you can pull it off. Is this where you just lie, you know? It's like, you know, if you're GPK mid, hey guys, how's bottom lane going? It's going great, man. Yeah, we're owning. We're getting solo XP. Amar's suffering.
Yeah, Kataomi's like, I'm doing great on levels.
Let's just not look down here for a while. You know, into the jungle. We've all been there in our post. Just on him.
And hope GPK can carry BB team through the
game. ပြီးတော့ကေးတွေပြန်လို့ခြင်းနေသေးတယ်ဆိုတော့မှခရစ်ကတော့လက်ဝါးလေးပဲပြလိုက်ခင်ဗျလက်သေးလေးပဲပြထွက်ပြီးတော့ဒီမှာတော့စတက်ဖို့ကြိုးစားနေတဲ့စေကိုတော့စနေကင်းနှောက်ရက်တွေတော့စပေးနေပြီသူမှယူနစ်တစ်ကောင်လည်းရှိသေးတယ်ဆိုနေထားမှာတော့ဘာမှယူနစ်တော့ချဖို့အောင်ဒီလိုပိတ်နေတာရုံပါဟုတ်ပါမှန်ပါတယ်စနေကင်းကောင်းပါတယ်ဟုတ်ကဲ့အဲ့တော့လင်းကိုလည်းဖိထားတယ်စက်အုပ်တွေကိုလည်းသွားပြီးပိတ်ထားတယ် AN တော့က Fury ထွက်ခဲ့တော့သူမှစက်အုပ်မရှိဘူးဆိုင်ကင်းတော့ကဒကာနဲ့ Ali လိုက်နေလို့ဆိုင်ကင်းဒကာထွက်ဖို့စက်အုပ်မရှိဘူးဆိုရင်ဘာပုံ
Seems like an unforced error there. Blood grenade going to be used on Miro. They are not getting him. And that was optimistic, but maybe they still catch him. Burrow strike and the stun. Okay, tightening up the sables a little bit. Not great. Miro will be able to walk away from this.
Too much damage. Gotta respect the quill sprays coming out here, even with some Sven armor. Way too much to commit on to. Failed rotation from Malrini. TP top for that. Does have the regen rune, so these moves are not costing him too much in terms of resources, but time for GPK to farm.
Communication
phase. Despite Huskar having an empty lane, this puck is up there with him.
Domi, a Hail Mary, hoping that he will be able to glimpse the support of this Wisdom Shrine and take it for himself. But he is sadly going to find his being sandwiched in this situation. Teleport away though, smart. So he will not be ultimately punished, but that does leave Pure alone in lane, which he was already kind of alone. I mean, he TP'd down, right? He TP'd down here just to get the one CS before the Huskar came back. And that is all he's going to get, because he's about to get ganked. Dominator. It may have unlocked Animage as a hero, but what happens if the Helma Dom is just far too late?
He needs to find 1,000 gold somewhere, and that is going to be a difficult 1,000 gold to find. This bottom tower is just going to go down here. No one can come and defend this. And it's also the inner fire. Silence for a lot of the early game. It's one of those matchups where losing that disarm doesn't hurt you too much if you can continue to hunt him and just build an insurmountable lead. This Huskar is off to the exact start Falcons want.
And that's why it's also going to be a good answer to the puck going into the mid game. Right.
Great
against the
puck. I mean, honestly, not even bad against the Bristle. This might be a lineup you'd rather have the silence than the disarm.
They're talking about Legion Commander being a great answer to the AM and also an answer to the Bristleback. You have the duel. You can force the Bristleback to look a certain direction. That's an opportunity the Huskar has later on to the game when he builds an axe.
I think the Huskar is giving you everything the Legion gave, plus an absolutely free lane. Whereas the Legion, you could have played that lane with the AM. You would have lost it, but you could have gotten more experience. You got your helm off the lane. The Huskar just prevents that entirely. It gives you a 3-on-2 in terms of the battle here. A lot of stacks coming out from the Hoodwink. Maybe they can give him the Pure, you know?
Yeah, win.
30
minutes from now,
just keep stacking them up, you know?
ကြည့်ရမှာနော်ပြူအားဆိုတာလဲစောက်ဘောတော်သားတော့မဟုတ်ဘူးလေမင်းတို့က
beat up by these Marsh mages, man. Good news for him is his tower died. Normally not good news, but very good news for him because now he'll at least be able to grab some CS under this tier 2.
Easy ပါတောင်လေးကပြီက
A little harder to push him out of that area.
Easy ဘာဖြစ်တော့ pressure မရှိဘူးကွာသိလားအဲ့လိုတင်မျိုးဆိုရတယ်ဖိခံနေရတယ်နော်ဒီချိန်မှာ Falcon ဖိခံရတာ Falcon ပူတူပြီးအောင်ကြည့်ပြီးခေါ်
Totally free farming, 4,400 net worth, an armlet done.
အေးပေါ့ကျဲကောင်းတာခဏ let's pick နေအမဒဖက I
guess the question is, when you succeed this heavily in the laning phase, like I sometimes feel a little lost after I take the tower. Like, what do I do here?
It can be awkward because the game progresses faster than you're used to normally progressing. You don't really interact with heroes in the same way. You almost wish they would have stayed on lane longer so you could kill them a couple more times or whatever. You know, the stacks might not be ready yet. Mars definitely going to have to keep the pressure up, keep playing on the side of that. He just uses your lane.
That's a little dangerous. And Mar will punish him with a couple of spears to the back.
No, you are on fire. That is what the tooltip says.
You are on fire. You are on fire. You are
I mean, fire is kind of self-explanatory.
What
comes with that.
Get an XP on the Hoodwink, GPK continue to just sit mid. It's going to be about this mid tower to me. Like, that's the next pressure point for Falcons, particularly with this Enchantress. They're currently swarming it. This is a tower you want to defend in this game for your team because it's going to hold the map together. You lose this, you're in the long run. But your outspam is really limited right now. And nobody was set up here. They're going to keep this catapult alive. This is good, efficient damage. What's the response?
The roaming anti-mage.
Okay. Layer mid tower unit have reaction people pack out a child. GPK drink one and she a Barcelona male. GPK was sneaking on maybe. He and physical life you yard. GPK drink one, Penny, the put in the 2 man she need a GPK. Drink one, Kuma paid the cross, a back on trouble.
Almost dies to that much, and Orb goes out.
The way down the beer, but you will be a sign a little calling. Oh, lonely of your back. Now the sneaking. I'm at the fair 4 versus 1 win. I'm at the fuck with a tower of the machine. Nobody. But yeah, I'm at the fact
against this Amar Huskar.
That's a massive win, though. You defended the tower, and you got Pure involved. He got so much off that fight just in terms of experience and gold. And you brought down the Sand King. A huge win. He's the big tempo setter for Falcons here, besides the Huskar taking objectives.
A few
I mean, that was probably the lowest impact I've ever seen in my life. But
okay, I don't viewer fan here, need hard cool. Like now, Shani is dominated. Daily viewer.
And right
now, dominated to efficient scholar.
What an amazing amount of space support anime is creating.
I mean, speed creators.
Got himself a Lotus.
Also, like, he went in that fight, instantly held the Enchantress creep, insta-died to Sandstorm plus 100. I mean, his early games have just been rough. It's not a skill issue, it's just you're putting rough positions.
I think my favorite part about this situation,
okay, I'm at the fuck out of machine.
there is somebody out there who's 3K MMR who is an expert on this exact situation. Oh, there goes staking.
Somebody out there has hundreds of games on this.
What is this guy doing? His map movement is terrible. This is not how you're supposed to play jungle anti-mage.
I mean, that was the expert they should have consulted.
No, that can, yeah,
Dom creep kill.
Speedy, you'll be fan.
The thing is, it doesn't look too bad right now. I mean, it doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look as bad as it will soon if this Sven gets away with what he wants to do for free.
Yeah, they keep on finding kills. Thanks to largely GPK the supports.
But the level sit down there. I'm at the first when I sign up baby animation. Level 2 the contract of the table. Like oh, pay level 1 at T1.
Nice patience from Crit. Gets that counterspell out of him, throw out the disruption, set that easy kill up, no mana void.
I'm at the fuck with the oh shit!
Down, Amar thinks that he is untouchable and he may be true on the one-on-one against Pure.
Critical
he's dropping into a bad situation as well. Looks like they will both fall to the GPK.
I'm at the fact of the who win out in the percent. I allow Marie. Also, win I will stand. GPK go over Taya with the drink one of bigger the GPK. Do I figure like GPK
with the coil and an orb will be able to escape.
Sneaking shit if you're better sneaking. GPK TV talk a lot of see out of look of sneaking. Oh, GPK what be got a Marine for so young for 7.
And now to run down save as well.
7 like shiny there. See the
sandstorm surrounds him.
Turns that fight around completely, puts his amp damage and blink dagger to use. The push will come from the AM, but not enough to secure this tower.
He's got mobility for days to relocate around the map. At least Miro's getting some time to hit the tower as well, so there was a decent amount of space on both mid and top. Damage being done.
They're just farming so much across all 3 cores, whereas this BB lineup is a bit gimped. I think their scales also going to be a lot slower to come online. Like, you need to go really late for this AM puck to get in a position where you're battling these 3 cores. The script is not the same as it was game 1. You didn't mirror Falcon's lineup. Back on. This game can accelerate a lot faster for Falcons, particularly if Huskar starts going through the Roshans and pushing high ground. That's when you're going to be in big trouble here. You need to keep ratting this game as much as possible.
How do I better finish like clean it and put it down?
Keeping the Shadow Demon.
Hey, I'm alive. When I you are alive, I'm with you are TV the cooler she, do on Sean and Maria.
This is good action for BB if they don't lose anybody off this place. Falcons run around, don't give up kills. Continue to find a little farm here or there, get the lanes out. The Bristle's going to shove in mid, the Puck's going to shove in bottom. That's effectively a failed game for Falcons. We saw how much work BB did in that game 1 in terms of playing
There was an opportunity there. The Animage had already used his counter spell. Pure is just dragging him around the map.
ဒီကောင်လမ်းလျှောက်တာကြီးကစောက်ကြွနေတော့ဗီရှင်တွေအောက်ကနေဖြောက်ပြီးရှောက်နေတာသူများဘက်မှာထိုင်ဖမ်းနေတာသူ့ကိုတက်လို့မရအခုချိန်ဒီ AM တော့ကောင်းပါ အဲ့ဟိုမို့ကတော့ Sugar Sam နေတာပေါ့နော်ဟိုစနေကင်းနေရာမှာတခြား stand နှစ်ကွက်လောက်ပါ
Malrine will hold the tower. Amar has made the call. He doesn't want to be the man to do it. His BKB is flying out now. Did not want to risk getting picked off before that is in his hands.
ပြန် defend ပေးထားတယ်နော်အမဒါဖက်က BKB ရပါ Okay ဒီကောင်က battle ကိုဖြစ်ချင်တဲ့ကောင်မျိုးပဲတဲ့ battle ကိုစောင့်နေတာ
Some of Falcons would love to be able to take a fight, but initiation is a little bit awkward unless Malrine is the one to do it. Malrine is trying to clean up lanes. They don't really have anybody to start it.
Sand King shows you know where the catch is. That's the big issue right now. He is pushing towards the axe. At that point, you can easily force a fight. You can also just put this Huskar into the Roche pit and let it clean it up. BB to contest you.
I was a little bit surprised that Amar didn't go like the Glimmer Cape or the Blink Dagger build that we've seen some of these Huskars go for.
Okay, အဲ့ကပေါ်တရကနေသွားပြီးတော့7ကိုတွေးတော့မယ်
A lot more aggressive early. This is going to scale a lot harder and give you the Roche confidence to just solo it up.
အော် crazy ကိုမိသွားတယ်တော့မရတဲ့ကောင်စားတော့မှာပေါ့နော်
Was unaware of the situation because he had that ward on the Tormentor
ကောင်းပါလေစမိုစားပြလိုက်တော့အဲ့မှာအမာသဖက်ပြန်လှည့်ဝင်လာဘက်ကမသိဘူးလား
Trying to get a silence on him. Burrow strike. Now the silence attempted. They got him. The puck is going to be controlled. Despite the pushback, they take away at least Amar's life.
ဒီဆိုတော့ level 7မှာရောနောက်က follower damage ပေးမယ်ပေါ့တော့ကောင်းမှပေါ့အဲ့ဒီမှာ AM ဝင်ခုံးတော့တီသွားတော့တယ်
Nah, just nothing you could do to capitalize on that.
ဒီမှာ loot က
No
လည်းရှိ
good
တယ်
man
ဒီ
avoid
လေးကြံနေ
target. And that'll be Amar going into the pit. He came to this part of the map for Roshan with this BKB timing. He will leave the part of this map with Roshan, do or die.
Yeah, this is the part where the Falcons may start really escalating that network difference, right? You take this Roshan, Amar sticks up here, he starts taking some irritations, he takes Tormentor, it's going to grow unless BB team can find a way around it. Certainly not going to be through contesting this Roshan, it's got to be through ratting out the map, which BB team have shown they've been able to do time and time again, particularly Pure on some of these more annoying carries.
အဲ့တော့စိုက်ကင်းအပီဆန်ကဘောလုံးစရိုက်ရှယ်ဒီကိုဥလို့ရရသေးတယ်ဥနိုင်လိုက်ဘူးဆိုရင်တော့မှတော့ follower damage ပေးဖို့ရှိတယ်အိုး shadow demo စပင်းနဲ့
so close
အိမ်မှာပဲ
that extra bit of epicenter damage that found him as he was teleporting away I think spelled his demise
တော့ဒီစင်ပြီးရောအဲ့လွတ်သွားတယ်အဓိကလေစိုက်ကင်းလမ်းလျှောက်တာမျိုးတော့သူ့အပီဆန်2ချက်လောက်3ချက်လောက်ခါနေပြီး ANTV ထောက်နေတယ်အဲ့မှာ follower damage ပေါ့
I mean, every time you take AM out of this game, you gain another 5, even more minutes. You have to push that high ground second Roshan. That window's going to be a lot better for you.
Sure. And then, you know, it's even worse because then
you still have the problem of
Sven versus Animage, which
you
still
have
take this one. No problem. You get super far and great silver edge fire. Slight surprise on that AM if the counter spell's thrown out early. Huge burst damage, huge physical burst.
Miro trying to draw attention. He's going to draw.
အာမဒါဖက်မှာကြာလာပြီးတော့ပဲအော်2နဲ့ပြန်ပို့တဲ့ကောင်က skater ဖြစ်နေဆိုတော့မှ TV ထောက်တဲ့အာမဒါဖက်မှုတ်တဲ့နေမှာ
that tower kill they were hoping for denied.
Feels like game 1 Falcons taking an early lead off of a lane victory.
ပြောတယ်တော့ဝါတာနေတယ်နေတောင်ဆော့နိုင်တယ်ဒီကပြဿနာသူတို့ကဘိုးက fan ရအောင်မတားဆီးနိုင်ဘူး
is just as capable of making a comeback as they were in game 1 or are they in a worse position
အဲ့မှာ skater တော့မီနီပတ်ဝင်လာတွင်းဝိုင်း silent ဆိုရင်တော့ပြတ်မှာလား i7 ပြတ်မှာလား
they just need a bit more they're going to dance around him a little bit but look at the heal coming out from Snaking it's keeping Skeeter alive and if they miss certain things like that or it's not going to go well they actually go back into it now that Amar's here Skeeter goes after the kill on Nakatomi they claim that and an extra one crit in from behind gets the disruption and the demonic purge unsaved end his life 7-13 and 8,000 network lead now for Falcons
this game is not going to be as easy to wrap you can't BKB out. Your heroes are just not going to get it online super early. I mean, you can get rid of it, but you're going to build it early on AM. You don't have the life stealer ready. It's going to let you run around super early, right? You're not going to get super early on the road, so Puck's not going to want to buy at this game. So you can't play as confidently super deep in the lanes. The helmet dominator is going to have to do the same type of action here. That's what Pure's trying to replicate, but it does make it a lot more difficult. Falcons should be able to find more here. They can play on the BB side of the map and constrict the lanes. Particularly how strong this Huskar is. He's just going to be able to push lanes in and show.
Oh, yeah, we.
You have the pretty sharpshooter for some burst damage to try and bring it down, but...
the few minutes.
And we saw how much the two supports as well. They're both saving supports. The Enchantress can run in and tank the sharp shot. She can heal the target you're trying to burst, as we saw there. You have a disruption to play around this game as well. And I think Falcons are going to feel a lot more confident scaling this game with Shadow Demon versus the Ringmaster. Just a way better hero at that 50-60 minute mark.
I think also the how strong the Bristleback is going to come into question when you're matched up against double Dispels, right? You've got the Demonic Cleanse and you've got the Cauterize, thanks to the facet on the Huskar. So the goo is just not really going to be too impactful.
Smoke and lean at Tetri, Falcon sneaking if you buy sneaking at table, Yadavi, who we live a TV Davi. Why? But Piat Dula.
Yeah, because Falcons they're not going to back up from the map position that they're in right now. They want to stay on the Radiant side of the map. They're going to take these tier 2s. They do not want to go back, try and bail out their 5 position.
If I'm Falcons, I don't want to turn this game into trying to catch the AM. I want to turn it into we buy pipe and go behind this Huskar with pipe solar crest, something like this. Buff him up, give him a little extra sustain for the burst. And just force BB to respond to you time and time again. That's the type of gameplay that's going to feel great if you can get there.
I was going to ask you who was going to go the pipe, but then I see it. Snaking is so farmed. He's got Solar Crest, Drums of Endurance, and is working towards that pipe.
This is the power of Enchantress. Spells, not always that impactful on the pipe, compared to a lot of other 5s like a Phoenix or something, but you get to farm so much more and contribute a lot of utility. And this can be something that helps you go high ground early in this game. Way before Pure is ready to take that engagement.
Pure he's got the Battle Fury. He's working his way towards his Manta. Once he gets the Manta, you've got full ride action. I mean, even more disgusting than traditional Animages because he's going to be riding with both his hero and his illusions and his Helmet Dom creep. But Mana Void on the creep!
Mana Void on the creep. Wow. တေရောပေါ့ကွာပြီးွားရမင်းဟာငါပြောနေလမ်းလျှောက်နေတယ်ဟိုငါပြောငါဟိုကနေတွေ့မယ်ထင်တာစန်ကင်းတို့နဲ့တွေ့မယ်ထင်တယ်စန်ကင်းတို့နဲ့မို့တော့တယောက်တည်း easy point 1တွေ့ပါတယ်
Mega farm, level 18 off that kill. Level 3 God Strength already available. You're looking at level 13 AM. The problem with the Dom ratting is you miss a lot of the experience. You get extra gold, but you're not getting XP there.
There's that disruption.
Shadow Demo say that. Oh, Sigara T was the rest. Just what I level say them. I'm at the front of the Sangi. It's a very pain of a GBK, but you're Yana between our GBK.
There is no chance. Where's the all chat? Where's the
This is going to be a very
fast game.
With the last pick. You ratted us at game 1, but never again. They're just going to force the issue. Huskar completely out of control. He has heals behind him. He has saves behind him. You just don't have the time.
And Amar the friendly, he might be a tad bit tardy, but he did promise a 20-minute victory. 24 minutes in, and it feels like it may already be over.
Minute 20ကျော်ရုံနဲ့အံ့မယ်လို့ပြောထားတာအမှန်တ
I
ကယ်
don't think you can ever come back from base defenses of Pure either.
ဟိုကောလည်းသူ့ပါလဲသူ့ရဲ့ဟိုလိုဖြစ်တဲ့ hero ပေးမကင်ဘူးဆိုတော့ပြောလဲဘလို့နိုင်အောင်ဆိုတော့ကျွန်တော်လေးတိုက်တာစီး
It's really only the Sand King that you can turn around, and that's 870 mana right now. This is not Leshrac. It's not Storm Spirit.
Yep.
ခုနကစတာရဲ့ရှင်းပြတော့နောက်ကြောင်းနေသိရဒီကောင်လေး
Well, we'll see what he can do.
ကစတာတန်ကြားခြင်းဒီကနေကြည့်မှာ
Another quick smoke from Falcons. Just looking to jump the Sven, and he'll take anybody here.
They've got to try.
ဟာမိပြီဘယ်ဆက်ဘက်သူနဲ့ပြန်ဖို့ထားဆို BKB ကကြည့်ပြီးစက်ခုံးနဲ့မီရိုတေဖို့တော့များတော့ break ထားတယ်အာမသာဖက်တေတော့မလား
Got the coil on him.
And he was able toတော်သေးတယ်
Cauterize heals him up, a disruption goes out.
အာမသာဖက်တင်တက်ခတ်သွားမယ်ဆိုနေတာတစ်ခုရှိတယ်သိတယ်ပေါ့အဲ dream ဝင်ရအောင်ဒီကောင်လေး high ground တက်ဖို့တင်းနေဖြစ်သွား Ghost Rider လည်းရှိနေတယ်ကြောင့်အာမသာဖက်တို့ high ground တက်ပြီး marine stand ပေးထားတဲ့မှာတော့ disruptor satisfy နဲ့စိတ်တာအာမသာဖက်ကတော့မပြည့်ဘူး
You just don't have damage.
ဒီတိုင်းလေးပဲ
You can land all your spells perfectly. It's not going to matter. You maybe bring down one hero if you're lucky.
And Pierre's hitting the tier 3 like he's really a threat, but he doesn't have the damage to actually hit buildings yet.
Pick just completely backfired with the last pick counter pick. That's why that slot is so hard, because you have to pick a carry blind there. You're worried about all of the laning heroes that AT has that can ruin your day. You will always find one. It's really difficult to find a carry.
I did like GPK just rushing straight to the Parasma here. It's the only chance that they have to be able to burst down the Huskar, right? Like, he gets that hit on him, amping up some of this damage, the hoodwink with the boomerang and everything else. They really have come close sometimes. Not that they would feel like you would change the game too much, but
that's the issue. You
could
go in a fight, you bring this Huskar down, you still might lose the fight. Yeah. That's the scary part here. All that execution can count for nothing. You have to go for that route, though. I'm not even sure he can afford to go something like Aeon Despure that he's looking at. Yeah, you have to just go full damage, full throttle, try and go for that kill. Pray that's enough. Full dataless now online for Skeeter. He is looking to double up his opponent's net worth in this carry matchup if he can get there. Level 20 as well. Very nice timing from him. You're looking at second row Sean guaranteed spawn in a minute here. You get that, you go high ground again. It's just over.
Might be over even sooner if they stop what is one of the only high ground defenders that they have. Miro, he's spotted. He activates the blade mail. Mars gonna wait out the blade mail, but Skeeter, he doesn't need to wait so much. And they've got him controlled. He's just gonna put himself in a corner. Bang for his life. But Falcons give you no mercy. Disruption there. That was a close call.
Skeeter blocked the shot anyway. Oh, he did. Falcons on point. If he's still looking for something.
They will let these supports just take the outposts like this, but can't jump. And Skeeter has already jumped you, Kantomi. Second one down from BB team. Back to the Roshan pit they go.
I just don't know where the damage is going to come from. It has to be third item on Pure, something else on this bristleback so he can survive. I mean, this Roche is just gone. No way to contest this. Wrap bottom lane. Creep has done a pretty good job continually pushing it in, forcing somebody back. Plus 100.
Tower's not really in danger of falling anytime soon, but he can draw their eye. I feel like you have to go for this.
Yeah, they might just try and contest it. It's
a really tough contest, but give up Aegis here might just be the game anyway.
Game for
them. High ground range.
Omega. Looks like it's just Omega. I mean, you tried to go for this crazy play, you didn't get the angle. Falcons were ready for it. You jump the AM in, hoping you find a nice later Shadow Demon. Guess what? The whole team's there. There's the Enchantress pipe. This will break the high ground completely. The only question is, will there be any more all chat?
Omega ကြီးနဲ့ပါ AN ကြီးတကယ်ခံမဲ့ဆော့ပြသွားတယ်ဆိုရင်တော့ဘာဟုတ်7နေပါဘူးဟက်ဆက်ကလေးလေကင်းဘူးလို့မဟုတ်ဘူးဆိုရင် तू က
I think we all know the outcome that's coming. A 5-man push from Falcons. 4.5 minutes on the Aegis. Yeah, the pipe. Hard enough to get through that as is, considering BB Team's entire focus right now is this magic burst. And the Anti-Mage is just not ready.
The one
Copium here.
Okay.
He has just absolutely gone for it. Always a powerful item. I don't know if you have to damage to bring the heroes down under it, but Falcons might confidently group into it because they've done it time and time again and they've just shrugged it off. Might not expect this act to come out in this game and how one-sided it is.
Yeah, there's a real chance if like an Enchantress
gets caught inside of it, Skeeter can get the pipe off.
The issues you have Shadow Demon can always bail a hero out under it anyway.
Yeah.
But hey, maybe you land a 4 or 5 man here.
I mean, Falcons, he hit a 4-man static shot relatively well. It's not been shy about something. They can burst down the Enchantress. Beautiful. And now Miro, now the epicenter goes down. There goes that static shot over the BKB. Skeeter, it's not good.
ဟုတ်တယ်ပြကြောင်းနောက်ကျသွားတာလာတဲ့ချိန်စပယ်ပေးတာနောက်ကျသွားတာပြကြောင်းနောက်ကျမှာ
They'll stay healthy. They'll stay up as 5. They will not lose a man as they push into the high ground to end game 2.
Mallory asked for the tips, and he received a few as this series will go the
Okay,
distance.
alors Amada Falcon ဘာလဲဆိုတော့ဒုတိယပွဲမှာပြန်ပြသွား
Toxicity heating up and some good old last
တနေ့ကလက်မထောင်နိုင်ပြီခု
Huskar.
တော့
I don't think ATF is going to get that again. You
Amada
catch
Falcon
him once,
KU
fine, but you
Falcon
should
mila.
not catch him twice. That said, this is a scary team to give that last pick to,
Tara
where you have to
wa.
pick that carry blind. And I think if
You
BB team are in that position
Chuja
again, they're
dwa
going to
bi,
have to adjust in terms of what hero do you want that can stand better, because you cannot give Falcons this kind of lane domination. They run away with it. Like, people meme on them for being one of the slower teams to end the game and go high ground, but this is a squad where they will also just push if they feel they have a strong enough advantage.
Absolutely, and we may see it again in Game 3, but I think one thing we won't see is that Huskar.
Game 3.
Yeah, definitely. I do think that this one was one of those games where the writing was on the wall from almost the get-go with this Huskar pickup against the Anti-Mage, and I think BB team also would agree with that. That means that maybe the breakdown of this game, because it was going to be quite straightforward.
I mean, it probably could be of. I mean, we can mention other
သူ
things
အားလေး
also
ကပြော
that
တယ်
do matter.
ဒီလို
So
ဖြစ်
I
တော့
want
မယ်
to
ဆို
say
ဒီလို
that this
ကောင်မ
was
လေးက
the
ပြောတယ်
best
training
possible
သွားလာ
last
တယ်
pick
Amada
Falcons could have
Falcon
gone for. But at the same time, I
Asaka
do think
got
Exar's
Tenya.
review picking Anti-Mage, I don't think it was a particularly good game. We were already going to let it against SD4, so it was up to mana burn you saw. You know, it's not just like that you let Falcons have the hero, but also starting yourself. And overall, Falcons, they get their good heroes.
ဟိုရှိတော့မက်တက်ပြလို့မရဘူးမြင်တယ်လိုက်ထူတာပေါ့မြင်ရတယ်မီးများနဲ့
what's
မီး
happening,
ဟို
they're
ကမီးလန်
protecting each other, so it's also the gameplay that comes on top of it.
တိုင်းကိုပတ်
I
ရော
think another key ingredient to this game being so stocky
That's what
was
shown
also
it better.
Skeeter and that top lane. That
ညမှာလည်းပြေးနေလွတ်မလို့နဲ့မိသွားသေးတယ်ဒီ
both of
ကောင်
their side lanes were doing whatever
Yeah,
they
yeah,
wanted.
but I
Hero on
don't
that
have
Bristle couldn't do anything because Save was
ဆေးရ
trying
မ
to
ချောင်း
like,
လေးမှာကပ်ပြီးငိုလို့လေးထိုင်ဘာမှ
you
လုပ်
know,
လို့မရတော့ကြည့်တာ
fix whatever he
အောက်
could
ကြ
wherever
သွား
he
ပြီ
could.
အော်
He
မို့
could
ဒီ
stay
နား
on
မို့
that
တော့နောက်
lane
တစ်ခါ
and
နောက်
try
တစ်
to
ခါ
make a play with him Mercurius farm.
အောက်
They
ကြ
were
သွားပြီ
chasing
ထင်
this
တာအော်ဒါလည်း
Huskar,
ဒါ
trying
ထိ
to
သွား
like
တယ်လည်းပဲ
slow
စစ်
him
က
down a little
အဲ့
bit,
မှာ
and
break
because of
သွား
that,
တယ်
Sven
မ
was
ပြတ်တာ
also free to just hit his timing without
ဘယ်ဆက်ဘက်ကိုလည်းပဲ
any
စစ်သုံးလိုက်တာခရစ်ကအဲ့မှာဘယ်ဆက်ဘက်တန်းပြတ်သွားခဏလေးနဲ့ရှော့ပါ BKB
But of course, Huskar
Bit of a
doing such a
Savoy
great
job, I
job.
agree, yeah.
Even Marine asking for a tip there on that.
တော်တော်များကြည့်လိုက်ဘယ်ဆက်ဘက်က
SD and an Enchantress.
ဒီမှာ Amada
no
First
matter who
နဲ့လည်း
goes
ဖြဲ
in,
ခံရတယ်
you're gonna
ပြီး
have
Boss
a
Run နဲ့
heal
လည်း
from
ရိုက်ခံတယ်
Enchantress, a heal from
Snake နဲ့
this
လည်း
buff
level 2
from the
သုံး
Shadow
လေး
Demon, a disrupt from the Shadow Demon, and so you have this confidence. There's like this ability to
I
not
know,
care.
tiro ma,
And that's
tiro
what
ma, tiro ma.
Falcons were lacking in the first game.
No,
They couldn't
တန်းစိတ်လိုက်တာ
simply
ကြီးက
go. They had to kite and
ရှေ့ကကာသလိုဖြစ်သွားတာ
put like an
7
excellent
နဲ့
show. This time around, it's
နော်
just pure
7အဲ့တော့တီးတော့တီးပါတယ်ချုပ်ခံရရှေ့ကတော့ကာတော့
full
ကာ
send.
ပါတယ်သူ
In
လည်း
you go.
ကာသ
and
လို
of
လည်း
course,
ဖြစ်
the
သွား
help
မှာ
from
ကာ
Anti-Mage is
ကာပေး
juggling
လိုက်
at
တာ
minute 4.
And they needed like I don't know, quadruple like performance from maybe even all
Yeah,
of the
but
other
people
players
are
to actually like
rolling.
make it work. Like everyone puts in like 3x, 4x overtime. Because yeah, it's not that common and normal, especially in nowadays Dota, that you get like this Exodia last pick where you
I know
just
it,
like
through
90% of people watch this game, they're like, yeah, they're screwed. What are they gonna do about it? And he tried with like some early movement, you know, minute 2, you gank this offlane. It doesn't look real. That's how hard the game is.
Yeah, I think the
You are
only thing
0-7
they
fight,
made case
ah,
for was
Luma.
just Hoodwink
Te kawa
starting
mo tana.
bottom with that anti-mage, like trying to get a couple of kills on that
Woga
Huskar
te
before they
kawe te
leave
ya,
him, before
kodong
you
ma.
then start bringing your
Kodong ma hoga te
anti-mage
khadi we de
from the gate. In their read on it was that they could just leave him be, and that wasn't the case.
Yeah,
But
jo
even if
game
they
3
did
ကနေ
try
ပြန်
lane,
ပြီးတော့
like
ဖြစ်
having
ပါ
to
မယ်
adjust that much says something about how much that last pick
Game 3မှာ
got them.
ဖယ်ကိုပဲနိုင်မယ်လို့မျှော်လင့်ပါတယ်
It's
ဘာ
the
လို့
most
ဖယ်ကိုပဲ
rooting
နိုင်
thing
နေ
I've
ကြပါ
probably
လဲ
seen in maybe more than 1.5 years, maybe even 2 years.
Commentနိုင်နေကြပါ
Because
လေ
it's just so uncommon. Like you usually have like maybe cheese picks that come out with like, okay, but you don't have that many of those anymore. But yeah, standout player, I think
Snaking,
snaking,
yeah.
you know, look at the pipe, the Solar Crest drums, the early gem. It's just when you give these guys like their heroes, and especially too, like we have to say, offlane Huskar is not traditional. You need the guy to even be a Huskar player. And Amar, he does it 6-7.
you
And
need
there's
to be a
nothing more I can
Huskar
praise
player
about it.
အမအမတ
Not
ကယ်
even that.
Huskar
I
player
think when we heard AY on stage talking
ကွက်
about
တီ
how
မ
this
စီဆိုအဲ့
draft
လိုမျိုး
went
offlane
down,
Huskar သူများ
he's
ပေး
the
ဆို
one
တော့
that is
fail
strict,
fail
but
အောင်
at that point, you
အ
know,
မတဖက်
it
ဖြစ်
is
နေတော့
all
ပြီး
on
ပါ
You
him.
can't stop
Like,
it. Like
I'm gonna play this.
yeah, like you're in for the ride.
Yeah.
And this is a damn good one. Like he can do this to me anytime.
Yeah, but
If you're on his team.
Exactly.
the amount of times he's done it in pubs, though, to be fair. Like these last pick Huskars, he doesn't care. He also first picks Huskar in pubs. He kind of does it all in regards to Huskar. And the story of this series, though, is whoever has second pick feels like they've utilized last pick really, really well, right? The lifesteal in the first game had this kind of inevitable timer. The Huskar this time dominates the lane. So I feel like whoever's got second pick is going to have the advantage. I don't know who's won the coin flip for this one, but yeah, second pick just feels broken, at least in this series.
Yeah, I will also say, I mean, they should have maybe thought about it. Is that really mean to say? Because I do remember there was a period of time when everybody played the Huskar against the Anti-Mage.
But it's like all things, it comes in and out of favor, right? Like 7 months ago, Phoenix off lane and Phoenix mid was the counter to the Monkey mid and the Monkey carries. It then disappeared. The joyous thing of meta, it is never set. Meta is able to be set through the players going, I want to play it. There's no like rule book which says you need to do this, you have to do that. We don't have game mechanics that stop you unlike other games. You know, like we can do literally anything in Dota.
It's true, and this is like, just look, I mean, Pure has 100% kill participation at this point because he's like roaming, but just look at the network. This is a 2K deficit, and yeah, I feel like it's not easy to fault them for not banning Huskar. In hindsight, yeah, you can swap out Mars for Huskar if you want anti-mage, but like, there is no other player, there's no other team in the world that is gonna do this to you. I think it goes back to the AM pick itself. What do you think, Mira?
I mean, I think that all of this is true, and maybe it's hard to remember things like Huskar, but at the same time, anti-mage is wildly optimistic in that position.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, it's not like, oh, you know, they should have banned the Huskar if they're going to pick anti-mage. Why not just pick Marcy? You had the opportunity to pick something more stable that gets countered by less, but they went for something a little bit wild. I think they wanted to give Pure a hero he'd have fun on and maybe catch them
that was
off
very
guard.
fun.
Yeah, they wanted to catch Falcons off guard, but what they ended up doing was just tripling down on that. If BB team don't have a good laning stage, their games look awful. I mean, that hasn't changed at all from yesterday.
Yeah, this was definitely a rough one for BB team, but hey, it might just be a fan service to get us to a third game, you know, that's always fun. What was not fun was, I think, the amount of fun Pure had in the game. I don't think that was fun at all. And I know we talk about it a lot, and Purge is going to talk about it some more.
Thank you, Cheever. Yeah, I just wanted to break down why it is so bad. For those of you that don't know exactly how these heroes function, some changes that have happened in the last year since you've been here. If you haven't noticed, Huskar doesn't have any mana anymore. He used to have mana, he no longer has any mana. That means that when you're playing an anti-mage who drains mana from your opponent, you just don't get that bonus damage. That means the first skill you have that you normally skill here just doesn't do anything to Huskar. So that's the first problem. The second problem is you're also laning against a Shadow Demon, who's actually quite good against anti-mage. Because if Shadow Demon disrupts anti-mage and he has his first skill skilled, your illusions that are created will drain your mana as well. So he just doesn't even get to skill his first skill. It doesn't do damage to Huskar, and it would hurt him against the Shadow Demon. So he basically relies on his second skill, the Blink. That's going to allow him to disjoint some attacks that are flying at him and decrease some of the damage that he's taken. He could also skill his third skill, which reduces the magic damage he's taking, which he is by the Burning Spears, but it's only going to reduce 15% of the damage that he's taking from the Burning Spears. He could maybe reflect a Shadow Demon spell, but it's not looking great. So basically he gets into the situation where he is just dumping regen into his body, trying to keep his health up enough so that he can get some last hits, and he's just struggling on it. He's at 860 net worth here, and the Huskar's already at 1200, and once he gets a boots advantage, it's basically impossible to lane here. So AIM is just getting what he can, which is why he went for that cool rotation, which did work quite well. The fact that he assisted in killing the Sven is huge. Him dying afterwards, I don't even care that much because it's going to get him back on the map a bit quicker. But this was the next problem. He's teleporting into lane. He gets a Helm of Iron Will. He tries to drain some mana from Malorine. That doesn't quite work out. And then he goes to jungle. And here's something that basically has not mattered in almost any game is the Rabble Rouser here. This is the buff from Enchantress. This means that any creeps that are attacking your enemies do more damage. So he's forced in this jungle at an abnormally early time, 4 minutes in. And these creeps are now doing 20% more damage to him. So his life is already almost impossible and made even harder by the fact that there is an Enchantress in the game. So extremely tough situation for the anti-mage here. Goes back to lane finally, and then he just immediately gets ganked as well by Malorine, who probably anticipated this based on the fact that he went to heal. So insanely tough game for him. We'll just have to run it back and hopefully give him a better hero.
I don't think we're going to run back that anti-mage, that's for sure. And Rabble Rouser, I mean, not for me. I learned something new today.
I forgot about that entirely.
Yeah, me too.
Because that innate from Enchantress was not really relevant when they gave it to her. Like, we thought it would be game-breaking when we first saw the change. It sucked. It didn't mean anything. Carries were still clearing camps anyway. Not if your carry goes jungle, level 3, then it owns.
It definitely did own, and right now I'm sure that there's some good talks happening with both teams about how they're going to approach game number 3. And while they're talking, of course, you see loads of people still around the arena, and they're walking back and forth, and you're wondering, like, what could they possibly do other than watching Dota here in the Barclays Arena? Well, Slacks has found out exactly what you can do here.
We are here for the meet and greet session with Heroic. Now, you guys might not know this because you're not at the arena, most of you, but if you are at the arena, after everybody wins, they get to go and have a meet and greet. We're not talking about a lame-ass signing session where they're away from you. Look, they are physically touching you. So this is the greatest kind of moments you can have. Let's go ahead and talk to some of the folks in the crowd. Hold on one second. Sir, if I may, what did they smell like?
They smell like honey.
They smell like honey, ladies and gentlemen. Get down here quick. Quick, so sweet, so beautiful. Let's go talk to some crowd members here waiting in line. So sorry. Who's over here? Oh, whoa. We have seen you going absolutely ballistic in the crowd. Every heroic game, you're top of the cheering here.
No recollection of that whatsoever. I don't know what you're talking about.
Fantastic. Well, it is so good to see you here in their winning fan meet and greet. Did you go? Oh, you couldn't go to the last one. They didn't win. But are you going to do more of these? Are you going to come every time they win?
Of course, yes. I'll be here all day, all night if that's what I need to do.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for keeping us alive.
No.
Hey, all right, well, enjoy. Delete Sniper, thank you very much.
I have a tip for Ice Frog.
Okay.
To make Dota the best game in the world, just delete Sniper.
Okay, delete Sniper, but put back in old techies. Do you agree?
Yes. Please, yeah.
Hell yeah. Best
old stacks back.
Yeah.
That's it.
Best of both worlds, baby. Thank you very much. And I did want to say, would you mind if I showed off your cosplay? I love cosplayers, and we finally have a Grimstroke cosplay. I've never seen a Grim before. What made you want to choose to do Grimstroke?
I haven't seen it before.
You have not seen it before either. Well, that is fantastic. Thank you for the Glimmer Cape? I didn't even notice. I'm such a noob. I'm so sorry. Okay, please, Glimmer Cape and disappear for us on the camera, all right?
My boyfriend told me this is your favorite hero.
What the f is this? Thank you. I thought we were friends. I don't want your disgusting Wind Ranger. I'll take it. Thank you very much. Absolute filth. And that's it. After every single game, you can come and see one of the players or the whole team. You can see them, you can talk to them, you can greet them. So make sure to find your favorite winners whenever you want. There are a few things to do around the arena here at the International. Thank goodness we have some really cool stuff to check out. And one of these really cool things is this nice wall of history, which features all of the different jerseys from all the different TIs, including their championship rings, which is really, really cool. This one, 2019, oh, beautiful, with the purple and the little indents in there. The golden TI, I think that was 2021. The best jersey, I have to say, that represents Dota 2, in my opinion, I do have to give it to the purple jersey. Look at it, it's iconic. Rings, though, are super sick. Let's take a look at the rings. So, we have some not too interesting rings here at TI1, but they do grow in power. We start going for the Aegis to the nice, more purpley Dota logo, but the years of the NA Dota, that's where it begins. EG on the ring, that is super sick. The Wings ring, unbelievable. Liquid is nice. OG, very nice. It's what second OG is a little better. But if I had to choose, best ring ever, guys, this Wings one is unreal. I could see some very, very rich person wearing that in real life, so very nice. Anyway, cool trip down memory lane. What else do we have going on in the arena? Let's check it out. Okay, next up is the graffiti wall. This is a classico of the International. Lots of people coming in and signing it. See if I see anything interesting here. Zowie, I wonder who that was. That's very nice. Oh, here we go. Death is my enclave of the beer. Let's see here. Oh, somebody did their Twitch handle. Twitch Kitty, I'm not gonna read it. Kitty Kraken, I hope you got 1 million subs. Thanks for putting it on the wall. You got 1 sub right here. That's very good. Anything else? No, it's just literally a bunch of random Twitch channels and names and curse words. It's fantastic. I actually think that sums up the community pretty well. Good job, guys. Well done. Those aren't the only activations we have, of course. There's a bunch of stuff all around the arena. Like this beautiful little monument. There's a little selfie station. You guys thought I was toxic before. Now you can pretend like you're Viper. Just like that. That's a classic Viper voice line. Just like that. Thanks for watching, everybody. Back to you guys.
Awesome to see all the things you can do and take pictures with. I will say, though, that Glimmer Cape definitely for me took the cake there. That was very cool to see, and I hope that the upcoming series we're gonna watch is also very cool to see, focusing our attention on game number 3. clean slate with these two teams here, Effie. We got Falcons, we got BB Team. Both teams very much deserving and to be the top 6. One of these will be top 3.
Yeah, I mean, even though BB Team won that first game, I'm a little bit worried for them going into this game 3. Because in both games, the one that they got crushed in and the one that they won, they also got crushed in that, especially at the start. Like, there is something going wrong with their early game that needs to be fixed.
The one good thing is the fact, like, the manner that you just lost in is so bad, or like, it's so easy for you to just say,
True.
We can go next. You know, it's like the one time where I feel like usually people say this to like cope. It's actually real this time. It's like, guys, whatever, 24 Husker, like this guy, he won't get it again. You go free and easy. And I think Falcons are going to do a similar thing about game 1. We were up 10, 15k gold. Make it simple, go.
I'm watching the coin toss. That's all that matters for me. It's going round. You don't see it, but BB won the coin toss. So I think they're probably going to take second pick. And with that, they can protect themselves from this ultimate last pick. Because again, both teams have shown that they're very good at utilizing this. And in game 1, BB showed excellent scaling under pressure, the ability to fight. In game 2, they never got to even get to the game, right? So if we ignore the previous game, BB are competitive along the side of Falcons. It's just draft dependent.
I think if you give Falcons first pick, though, you're in for a world of pain, because there's either going to be the Sand King coming out, or the Chen, or the Enchantress, or even the first pick hoodwink themselves to take it away from BB Team. That's a tough one. There's not enough bans for a Falcons first pick.
Yeah, I did want to touch upon that because both games now, BB Team did open with that hoodwink. Of course, once from second pick and then once from overall first pick. Surely we're going to see something different for game number 3. At least I would imagine that there's something different prepared. Yeah, do you think that hoodwink is still so highly demanded?
I think it will probably be picked again, but maybe if BB Team get to like close the phase later and then get into the bans, maybe it will allow them to take out the Enchantress, which Falcons have now ran twice into it, which it seems to be posing a huge problem to them. Or Falcons, like Mira is saying, maybe they first pick the hoodwink themselves, but I'm not sure. I feel like they should still rate the Sand King incredibly high. It's 2 games in a row where he just rolls on everyone. He has good early game, has the stacks, does his blink dagger. We've seen it again, and we'll see it again if they allow it.
I think you just break one of the 2 pieces in what BB Team have shown is their Sand King solution, DK plus hoodwink. You either ban the DK so you can comfortably first pick the Sand King, or you pick the hoodwink, take that away, and then see if you can get that second phase Sand King.
But it's also in the interview, right? In game 2, before game 2, Aoi contradicted himself. He said they're a good team against puck. They liked it. They don't mind playing against the hero. But in game 1, they banned it. In game 2, they give away the puck. They beat it. So maybe going into the third game, they just don't bother with puck anymore. They just let that through. And then like you were mentioning, you ban a DK, you ban a Bristle, you ban one element of how a second pick BB was able to pick apart Falcons.
Yeah, I will say the DK was banned in the previous game, but by BB Team themselves.
That's because they were in a position where they could get their puck. So they wanted to ban a puck counter, but when Falcons saw that DK was taken out, they were like, okay, we'll pick Sand King.
Yeah,
so there's something going on there with like the DK plus Sand King.
No, for sure. And I think this is also really cool when you do get deeper like into these tournaments and suddenly it's like the series, we don't see the DK, then suddenly you do see it. You see it banned in the next game too, even by their own team, because they're like, okay, if this is banned, we can take the other thing that we do want. So yeah, going to this game 3, I'm just expecting, both teams to play in top form. I feel like neither of them have really anything to lose. Like in game 1, BB Team make this incredible comeback. Game 2, Falcons kind of get like a freebie win. So going into game 3, both teams should be feeling, I would say, maybe as clean as 2 teams could going into a third game at TI.
Yeah, I was going to touch upon that because how do we feel these teams are feeling? Because we've talked about both teams and the experience is there. But for both, other than for Skeeter and Snaking, the TI experience is not. And it is different still, T.
Yeah, I think Falcons, if anything, probably toned down just a little bit going into the second game. Sure, they're still spicy with their all chat, but you could feel that there was no, cockiness anymore. It was just like disciplined, strong Dota with the element of like the odd, typing here and there. Game 1, you could feel that they were being a little bit more making mistakes, and for BB, I feel like they've had every emotion possible so far at TI. They've had the lowest of lows, the highest of highs. It's like, I don't really know where they're sitting right now.
I know where they're sitting. They're right there.
Wow.
Got him.
I'm sorry.
You had to do that one. It was too easy.
Oh, well, that's okay, because we should be talking about this third game. We should be talking about what is coming our way. And I am happy to announce that it is time to see exactly that.
Team Falcons versus BB Team. Game 3.
So we do have BB Team on the Radiant side, and they will have overall last pick, and that means Falcons is dire with first pick for themselves, and we're in the draft, and we are about to see what changes will be made. There are some things that just don't change though, because the Naga Siren's still getting banned, we see the Pugna still getting banned. Lycan also not a hero we're gonna see a lot of anymore, because today it had great success, even on some of the losing games, but we'll see. There's already bonus time being used right now to go for this ban, and they do respect ban the Kataomi Bane.
Yeah, it seems like it. So they did play into it in game 1. Maybe they didn't really love their Ringmaster response, so like where they feel like, okay, if they do this, we're more likely to pick this type of hero. I'm not sure if there's much else, like maybe they want to first pick a specific hero that also Bane is very good against. But yeah, you're also taking out the comfort. In BB Team, they're doing the same, taking out the Sand King.
The dance is over. The Sand King, DK, Hoodwink, we're going in a different direction, which suddenly beckons the question of Beastmaster. He's been relatively ignored in these games.
Wow, Chen also. They've left in the Snake King Chen for the first time, I believe, in this series.
Correct.
That's a scary one. I mean, last game, you had Falcons that broke 2 of the unbeaten heroes from BB Team with the Puck and Bristle. Let's see.
And the ignored Marcy is actually banned on the side of Falcons, and we will see the Chen from Snaking in action.
But we did see this in the first game, right? The idea of BB gave Falcons a dominant hero, and then they picked it apart, right? Same thing could be happening here, where Falcons finally get access to their Chen. Again, very strong hero for them. And yeah, I'm interested to see which angle BB's going to go. Against Chen, you can go for like Primal Beast and really dominant, strong offlaners to try and bully through the lane, not caring about Chen. But you have to respect all the auras they're going to bring.
Oh, just go for the Hoodwink again.
Yeah, sure.
3 games in a row, why not? I will say, for similar reasons, Chen is considered pretty good against Hoodwink. You have the mana burn, you're kind of annoying, you can fight back. So both teams, again, should be happy with what's happening. But this is an undefeated hero and a most banned hero against this team for a reason.
I need to see damage on pretty much every pick, though, from BB. If they just go for like light control and scaling, Chen will take over the game. You have 20 to 25 minute important fights around Roshans and towers. You just feel like you won't be killing anyone. So I really want to see if BB want to be competitive against Falcon's best hero. It is killing in lanes, damage in the early game.
What do we think here for BB Team? They do have to open up again out of the phase themselves. They have another band that they can protect themselves with.
Could still be DK. I think they're pretty happy with how their DK plus Hoodwink went.
But if we argue that that is picked up against the Sand King, Sand King's not in, do you still like it as much?
I think it did a lot for them, and it enables their Hoodwink. I mean, another approach they could take would be something wild, like picking some anti-zoo hero, like the Timbersaw that we haven't seen in a while. Beastmaster still in the pool as well. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to build their own Miro.
Something nice that you kind of want to do against Chen. Chen lineups generally fall apart if you can kill the first guy. Like AoE is not, sure it's good against Chen, but then there's Hand of God, there's a pipe, there's your AoE magic resist creeps, whatever it is, you need to kill this one guy to break this formation. So if you're able to have a single target high DPS hero, or like Effie's mentioning, you have a DK with a Hoodwink and give it like another DPS guy that when you jump this first guy, he just gets blasted out of the game through the heals.
Heroes like SD still being available for Falcons. If Falcons identify that's scary. That's a route BB's going to be taking, Crit's going to be able to pick up another hero to try and combo break that.
Has Miro played much of Pangolier? I know that this is a hero that tends to be liked, it can't be flags, it's like okay team fight. I'm not saying they will pick it, but I'm looking more for something like this. I would say there are other heroes like Bristle. They feel like okay early on, but there's a lot of auras and physical like armor that the Chen gives to his teammates where I feel like Bristle isn't actually that amazing against the hero.
Miro has not played Pango so far at this.
Okay, then I feel like that's just not happening.
And are we really just forgetting about Beastmaster? Have they just deprioritized that hero in this series?
Maybe they feel like they will just go for the DK. Why not? Maybe to go back to the Beastmaster, maybe they don't really want to play it into Chen, even though you can still play with, the Axes and the Aghanims. I don't really think it matters.
Well, what if you play it with Chen, because it's still in the pool?
Oh, you mean for Falcons?
Sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it would have been good for either
No, yeah, why not?
I mean, we mentioned the DK, but yeah, it's just half of their duo that allows them to play make, lets them set up for quick kills around the map always have some kind of potential to make it so that Falcons don't farm for free.
Yeah. I mean, you have, in my opinion, one of the two approaches. I like what T mentioned, where you could look for a save with like the SE. Here's the hero that you want with the Beast. Yeah, I was saying you can either go for the save against the DK, or you just give yourself enough damage that you kind of lacked earlier. Against the DK with like the long range, you don't have the hoodwink, so maybe there's like Grim, there's Snap. Yeah, this looks super chill.
I prefer it with the fact that Maureen's been playing it mid more than offlane. I think in the way that Falcons are playing, I don't want to see Amar take it to offlane. I want to see it still go to the mid, still be the pick-off style of play, and kind of give life to your game. Because Beastmaster will always activate a Snap or a Chen. And then it opens up for both Skidder and Amar to be farming a lot.
Oh, a main stage favorite. It's always fun to
Magnus
watch Magnus
is like
in action.
Iconic TI hero. You've got the scaling, you've got the displacement, you've got RPs, you can flex him, he lanes well. Yeah, this is just an amazing hero.
Doesn't have the win rate though, but that's okay.
That's okay.
And what if their idea is that because you see a Beastmaster plus Chen, you know there's going to be early tower pressure, you know there could be early attempts at high ground. Magnus is a hero that's good at punishing those attempts. Maybe they want to have them 5-man into like skewer isolations, maybe forcing them to go a little bit too far out into the map and punishing that with Magnus.
Yep, not opposed to that at all. So like Magnus is a very good insurance policy to have. They just need to make sure they have layers of the fight with it, right? And for Falcons, when we talk about the killing that one guy, right? Keza, you're saying about bursting that hero. When you have the Snapfire with the Aghanims, you get a good enchantment with cast range, you get a Blink Dagger, you're going to be able to stop that DK hoodwink initiation on a hero. Sure, if you get hit by an RP, you're also going to be dragged back and killed, but there will be so many moments in this game for Crit to shine and to give more life to the fights.
Just a nice combo, too. Mortimers into Roar, like you've always got some kind of play to make.
It's also something that Falcons have in like every draft. It's like this 1+1 kill combo, sometimes even on multiple people, like 1+5 or 2 with 4 or the offlaner with the 4. We get a Warlock. It's not a hero we've seen too often, but it's a very good hero. He has good laning, can have an early ultimate, can also buffer people. Makes it easy for your carry also. It's most likely a last pick hero. You lane with Warlock. I mean, you should be chilling.
Warlock's the support which gives life to any carry against any offlane combination. Because of the heal, the Fatal Bonds, in a difficult lane, you shove the wave. In a good lane, you find the kills, right? So Warlock's enabling Pure to utilize that last pick in the draft and go, no matter what you want, we will try and give it life. You're not going to be an anti-mage in the jungle, because this Warlock will fix every problem.
Yeah, it also just lets them play versus the Zoo in the sense that you have the Fatal Bonds for the early group up that's going to happen on the side of Falcons. It seems like they have this idea that they can just punish the early group up with their big team fighting spells. I don't know if I personally believe in that idea. I think playing against Beastmaster plus Chen feels so overwhelming and so exhausting, even if you think you can out-team fight them.
It does, and they're proposing some very strong lanes. Like, you still have most likely Amar's here that's going to be picked later, but Chen plus Troll is a very strong lane. Like, you've got the creep, Chen is hitting you. Troll is one of the most aggressive carries in lane. He will always help his support on the side. You're going to get 2v1'd over and over and over again, and it's a lot of buffs too.
He's also not a carry that if you skewer back, that means that you've killed him successfully. Yep. Unless you chain it with the RP and you have enough burst to kill him during that, he's going to live through it, turn on his ult, get healed by the Chen, and then the team will turn the fight. It breaks the idea of wanting to skewer back a carry and kill them.
And it feels like every core that Falcons have at the moment is the same recipe, right? They're independent cores that if snaking is a second late with the hill, it's not that much of a problem, right? A mid Beastmaster, he goes for Aghanims, BKB, early refresher. Like, as long as he doesn't die in the RP, he's going to be able to turn it around. Like you mentioned with Troll, the same thing. Yep. So Falcons, no matter which core is offered up to the Magnus, there is a chance that the fight can kind of be extended, dragged to the new position, and they can still take it. It's not as if the one person who's dragged away, I'm really sorry, it's not like we're seeing like a sniper or a drow, like these type of heroes that once they're caught, they are just deleted from the game.
So Falcons...
Dead heroes, by the way, at TI. Don't know why
it's true. Like, so Amar has to pick out of phase. Generally, when Falcons play, they like having this double team fight. Like the double jump, like, so I'm assuming that they're gonna look for like another beefy guy that's gonna go in. You have a strong lane with Snap, unless they want to run the Beast offlane, which I feel like they're probably not going to.
They could play Pango, and then they'll keep it open. Pango could go either mid or offlane.
That's true.
It does seem like Falcons, with the ban of the puck, they still keep it very open as well, where that Mag and the DK are going.
I still do quite like Pango for Falcons, but what I need, regardless of what comes out from Falcons, is a wow factor pick for this overall last pick for BB team, because I think their idea of just punishing a group up early by out team fighting them is so hard to pull off. Like, you have to play exceptionally well to do that, and you know one of your side lanes is already losing because you see this Troll Warlord.
It's definitely not that. I mean, these picks, as always, like the last 2 picks in the draft, they're very detrimental to both teams. I would say for now, I see a slight ease of execution for Falcons. Luckily, what's on BB team's side is that they are the second pick team. They're supposed to wow us with like the very last pick of this entire game.
The thing with Falcons is they just need additional team fight, right? Like one way to start an engagement, right? The Panga that's already been mentioned, the Mars, just if I'm here, we can fight around it.
Team Falcons. The Huskar band coming out. Gotta appreciate.
I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. Like, if you're a BB team, you most likely want a melee carry in this lane or DK because you do have the Magnus offlane to play with the Empower.
If they don't care about stuns in regards to Mars and Pango, then going back for like the Underlord from Mars could be an option. Just another hero that can quickly jump in. When Mag grabs a hero, you just pit right on top of them, TP in, throw down whatever auras or buffs or right clicks that you want to provide. Again, there's a lot of options for Amar. Again, we've listed 3. You might even probably pick a 4th different one, but...
Yeah, he's got plenty of good heroes or like signature ones available. You mentioned the Mars, they banned the Ursa, there's some other like even dead heroes. I mean, we don't need to like go down the list. He's got a lot of options that are all very good.
Let's see which option Falcons go with for themselves.
How often has the Melon Man been picked at TI?
Not very frequently at all, I'll tell you that.
That's a bit sad.
That's Tidehunter.
Yeah. But let's see.
Would be pretty cool. Outside of the break of Hoodwink, other than that, yeah. Strong, independent Tidehunter.
Well, let's see. The one other good thing for BB team, they have a lot of reserve time later.
I don't know if that comes through on the microphone at all, but a couple of very happy people here.
As they should be.
As they should be.
2 seconds.
And
that's the Mars.
Yeah, they go for the Mars. Instant Pangolier.
Instant.
They don't even think, they wanted it. Of course, the pressure of the Chen, if he goes to a tower, you want a bit of wave clear. BB didn't really have that hero to just stop snaking from running around the early tier 1, tier 2 towers. And GPK now on the mid lane from Pango, he can be that force to give time for BB to scale into the game.
This Pango pick gives you more comfort as well in your ability to play into this early zoo, this early group up with the Beastmaster. The Reliance on Magnus and Warlock are going to have big ultis and pop off. That's way too hard. Pango, on the other hand, he can always play into them. He's always going to give you that AoE damage and the means to like fight into the arena as well with the Rolling Thunder.
I like this quite a lot. It's quite good against lane. Like in the lane against these 2, you're physical against the boars, you can kill them. Like you were saying, the team fight against the Chen, against the Snap, against the arena. I like it quite a lot. I would also say pure DK takes me back like 1 or 2 years. I've seen him own this hero quite a bit. To me, this is the most even draft that I've seen from the 3 games.
And that says something, because if we're looking at Falcon's draft, I feel like that is comfort all the way. This is a lineup that we pick. If this was what got to this place to begin with, it would be these 5 heroes.
And this is what this series feels like it's becoming, right? After the type of games that we had in Game 1 and Game 2, I feel like we're expecting the Game 3 to be a lot closer for both teams to show that. And yeah, I think Falcons will be very happy, BB's going to be very happy. I'm interested to see who Skidder and Maui ever combo control ultimate to kill off the Pango during the roll. There's a lot of cool little things.
I think Falcons got almost everything that they wanted, and I have a lot of faith in them when they're playing these heroes. For a BB team, what I like that they have is a safe lane that's not going to get completely destroyed like we've been seeing for a while. So maybe their entry point into the mid-game will finally be comfortable for once, because DK should not die on that lane. I'm saying he should not. With that being said, I do think this Beastmaster plus Chen, that's tough to play against.
Yeah, overall, I'm also leading, I would say, Falcons, maybe slight favorites. I'm looking for BB team to maybe invade a little bit. You've got the Pango, play to the safe lane, make it happen, but I'm expecting a long, even, close, and hype game.
Oh, we want that. That's what we come here to see here in the Barclays Arena, and it is time for that third and deciding game. Which team will be top 3 guaranteed right now with
Oh, that is sweet, especially on the TI main stage. There is no better feeling in Dota than knocking out your nemesis. Someone who's been trash-talking you, someone that's been saying, we're going to do it to you all year at the biggest point of the season. This would be a very sweet victory for either team if you could take it here in the last game of the day. Give yourself some momentum going into the rest of this event.
Boy, do we have another draft
it's scary for BB team to go up against because you are looking at so much tempo coming out from Falcons, and you gave them a Chen, a hero they've just not lost on, a hero that gives you so much pace, so much scalability, and Snaking is a master on the hero. You gave him the Beastmaster with incredible scaling with double your hard carry potential. You counteracted a little bit with scale from that Magnus and Warlock, but this could be another game where you just get run down on the tower. GPK to try and control any of that. Like, he has to bring some pace with this Pangolier.
What do you think of the swerve here? We're going to see the Dragonite moved over to the safe lane instead. A different pickup for GPK. Did you like this adjustment? Because either Falcon saw it coming a mile away, or they just didn't give a damn.
I think it's just pure saying, I don't want to get punished on lane anymore. I'm going to construct a safe lane that I know I'll be able to farm with. Skeeter maybe getting run down?
Yeah, maybe the punish comes Skeeter's way instead. Does not happen here for first blood, but perhaps laning phase will still provide that opportunity.
Not the best chase down for that first blood you've ever seen.
No, not great, not great.
I think this is BB compensating. It's really hard to fix gameplay in a series compared to draft, and they're going to try and fix the laning issues by just building a draft that cannot lose that safe lane. That was the biggest pressure point teams have exploited. That was the biggest pressure point in that game too. They got that last component of it. But Warlock DK, I mean,
yeah, that's true. Now looking at it that way, they really did put a heavy emphasis in making sure that Pure actually got to play Dota in the first 10 minutes.
He will be able to lane. He will probably have more CS at the 3-minute mark than he had at the 6 or 7 last game.
Yeah.
And this DK was a very successful hero for them in that game 1. It gives you a lot of scale. It can be a tough hero for Falcons to just power through because it has some extra sustain, armor, scalability in the late game fight. I think it can be a pretty nice match.
Oh yeah, I'm going to ngana jelly jonya ba CCU ne jelly do tan to chet ba Discord dan li phet to la ba live stream tan ma ba do
It's insane with Warlock Magnus as this game goes later, and they have a lot of BKB Pierce, which
ba min tan ja
in this series. That said, Falcons also made sure they had some. They do not want to get BKB TP'd out ever again in their lives, I think.
Okay, I cool the move say ko to yo sa kan bu la.
A hero that has been nerfed so many times.
ကောင်းသေးခြင်းလို့ဆိုတော့ဒီတကယ်ဖြစ်တယ်မလုပ်ပါမင်းကောင်းသေးခြင်းလို့ဆိုတာကြီးတခြားနီးလက်နဲ့ပြောလေတတ်တိုင်တယ်မလုပ်ဘူး
I mean, the Beastmaster obviously has the counter Rolling Thunder later on.
တူတကယ်ချင်းလာပြီးမင်းဒါတော့မလုပ်စီတော့ငါတော့မင်း
It's actually pretty good for Bang, right?
He's chilling here, especially if you can get some of those power runes. If you can ever invade and steal stacks away from the Beastmaster, you can climb a little faster. The mid beast can be slow. If he loses lane, he loses some stacks, he can fall into that.
GPK တော့သူကတော့မင်းမှာဘာပဲဖြစ်နေဖြစ်ဘာဖြစ်သူကတော့နေအောင်
GPK can drive the pace this game. He's had a really good series so far. I think
သူကပဲတိုင်ပတ်တာတိုင်ပတ်တာအပြူအောင်ရှိရမှာသူဆိုင်ကင်းနေတဲ့ထိန်းနေ GPK ဆိုင်ကင်းပတ်ထိန်းရလဲ GPK တော့စော့တယ်လေလိုက်တယ်ပါတယ်
start for him and on the
flip
side, Skeeter up there on that troll.
ပြူဘက်ကလက်ကငိမ့်မရ
best early time despite having the Chen. Having issues CSing against the super high base damage on this Magnus.
မကောင်းဘဘုံကပိုကောင်းနေတယ်
Do you think that over time the troll wins this because of the impact of the Chen? Like he's just going to start burning through all this mana? Like eventually you're just going to chip him down, right?
They've already used a lot of resources on the troll, but he gets Lotus, so this is actually a big win. He got all CS under the tower into the Lotus. This will refill the mana pool for those axes, continue winning this lane. Try and delay the Magnus Helm as long as you can, because once that's up, these heroes become way harder to keep out.
ဟိုကရင်းထွက်လာပြီလှပါတယ်တခြားလောက်တာပါ
Nice bonds on this bottom lane for the Mars, as Save also taking some harassment. These lanes are heating up. I mean, there's going to be a kill here soon, because nobody wants to abandon these lanes as you try and race towards the helms. Don't want to be giving up free CS.
First blood is still on the table.
This mana burn is just insane. I don't know what you're supposed to do against it if you're Miro. Just get wand charges and spam for some range creeps, but this lane is getting really difficult. To win over the long run.
Oh, cookie back, and the spear into the tower, not quite good enough.
Hey, you are pioneering. I you are being first place off either. They carry, you know, a power.
To try and slow him down, but Amara taking too much damage, and they didn't have the burst anyway. If it was just a little bit longer, they would have had the pin, and maybe that would have served to be enough damage. But as it stands, the sustain on this lane, it's pretty overwhelming.
I mean, again, they built this lane to say, I don't care what you do, I'm not going to have a bad laning phase. And this DK will be guaranteed a good laning phase here. Bonds is super good against Mars. It's just painful to play through. So this will be once in this series, by the looks of it. And if you're a BB fan, that's got to be a nice sight to see.
What are the adjustments that you think Falcons made in turn?
I mean, let's be real. This team doesn't really adjust, right? They just play their game. They're gonna pick their heroes. They're gonna do what they've done for 2 or 3 years now. You know what's coming. It's just a matter of can you out execute them in the team fights? Can you outscale them? Can you survive the laning phase? I mean, there's not a single hero in this draft that anybody is surprised to see Falcons play.
Yeah, I actually think the only everybody is playing one of their Snapfire obviously has played it a fair amount, but
he's super comfortable in any of these 4 positions.
Cookie into a spear back like they tried earlier, but then obviously when you get 6, that is also death trap. Get the arena with the kisses going. It's a team fight victory early on guaranteed.
Nice bombardment threat against the Pangolier. If you go in and stun this Pangolier, suddenly these kisses start coming through. He might not have time to get the Rolling Thunder out. You might not have time to bail him out with your turnaround in the Golem or the RP. I think that's the big threat it provides this game. A lot of extra magic damage to bring the Pango or the DK down.
As many bracers as he builds up, he simply does not have the HP regen to deal with all this harassment.
And first power rune goes GBK's way. Maybe not the rune he wanted, but he'll snag it up here, and he's still top of that CS.
GBK who beat my son, Gonzalez, 2 year Kriva Sara, McCall and Leo. I lay out the Gonzalez.
Not their biggest priority, right? They're more of a stack, farm oriented team than a get early power runes and make aggressive plays with them team. It's a stylistic choice, and it'll give GBK a little bit of freedom, but then it's up to another team to use that to build an advantage. It's a team that's very disciplined and doesn't provide a lot of openings. They maintain their resources well, they keep high HP pools, they keep you and react very quickly. Something like going for a dive play under a tower.
Just want to get the
diffusal up and start skirmishing. That's your game plan here.
Well, while BB team are clearing out some stacks, it leaves the troll alone in lane, which the Chen is happy with. He's just been able to play farming jungle.
Build your own dominator.
That's true.
We're seeing the Chen. This creep shove has been super important this TI. At least this is the honest form of it.
That is true. Now, Crit's play here. This seems a bit of a stretch. He slows down the hoodwink, then maybe, but...
I mean, this tells you how strong that safe lane is for BB, that Crit doesn't really exert any pressure down there with a Snapfire on Mars. That he feels the better plays to go up top with this catapult and the Chen timing.
He has wanted to rotate up to the side lane already once, and now he finds the time to make that rotation.
Level 6 ကတော့မရသေးဘူး။ ပန်းဝင်လာရူးနေလိုက်နေအပေါ်တော့ပြန်ပြောင်းတက်သွားပြီဆိုချိုးကတော့ level 6ကတော့မရနေသေးဘူး။ level 6ရဖို့ crit ကောင်တက်ဖို့လိုနေသေးတယ်။ချိုးကတော့ပြေးနေတော့မယ်။ crit ကဆွဲသွားဆိုတော့မှတော့အော်ချိုးကတော့ကောင်စစ်လည်းမရပဲနဲ့တော့ first blood PB ပြန်ရသွားပါတော့ဒီပွဲ first blood က8 minute မှာရ
Nice little defensive maneuver for them. You give up an amp damage to Maureen, that was kind of the downside of pushing GBK up there and forcing the reaction, but you've got to be happy about a troll kill this early on. That was an aggressive push from Falcons. Felt like they didn't think there was a lot of places to attack on the map. That was their best choice, but it still felt a little forced that early on.
Especially if Maureen isn't matching the rotation of the Pango. Maureen invested in taking the power rune, which he does get it. It's an amp damage, but it came at a certain cost.
I think there's definitely some mid players that might have tried to rotate up there and play that even with the beast, but it's just not Falcon's style with this hero on the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that the point of the Beastmaster? You're just supposed to match the Pangolier every single time he tries to get a rolling thunder. You just meet it with the roar and.
No, your job is farm axe.
Oh,
I mean, your game does not begin until you have axe on this hero. You need to prioritize. You need to get that up as fast as possible. He's gonna try and make a move with this amp.
This is not an easy kill.
And a follow-up spear after that. Sometime, maybe
today.
Kamar just holds on to it and lets Malreen's amp damage do all the work.
The boars are super effective against these melee cores in the early game. Sticks the boars on him, pull the stun, nowhere to go, nowhere to run. Here's the defusal for GPK. Best game on BBT. You'll have to make this item work.
Yeah, these are not heroes that have immense mana pools. All three of these cores on Falcons are dependent on mana pools. Because they have low costing spells, they do not like getting mana burned out.
Downside of these pseudo triple strength core lineups. Your mana pools are pretty lackluster. Your spells can be equally as important. Defusal can absolutely do some heavy lifting here. In the early game, Rune denied from a boar. GPK will have to settle for some tower damage as Malreen pulls ahead with the stacks, man. This is classic mid-Beastmaster gameplay. One nice gank with the power rune that he did get, and then straight clears through all the stacks before any contest comes through. He is giga farmed right now.
Great bites out of smoke. Let's see what they do with that, because Malreen has headed back to base and he's going to heal up right as his team comes up. He has another 12 seconds left. So imagine you clear out this mid lane. You and the Snapfire
You have really good single target from a decent range. You don't want to
get the solo on save and an extra bit of damage on GPK. Nice.
Arcane boots, nice little pickup in XP as well. Level 7 3/4 on this map.
Yeah, massive level difference between the two.
I don't know where he found all these levels because he made the one move top, it didn't really work. He abandoned bottom early.
I think he probably shared some of the experience from the stacks. Yeah.
I mean, it's a huge level difference. Almost level 8, and this Hoodwink is still level 4 for save. Incredibly sacrificial game from him.
It is also part of the MO of Falcons because they have these strong laning cores that are rather tanky. They've been able to just leave them alone in lane.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, say the Beastmaster, for example, doing those clears. Will be run down here. Bushwhack tries to give him some extra armor, but it's not good enough. It does give the heads up to nonsense.
Nice little connection for the Pangolier. I mean, you got to remember this is an Empower lineup, and they have good Empower targets, not the pseudo Empower ones.
They do.
Yeah. This Pango Magnus duo is just nasty. Channel your inner tops in here on the main stage. Just make top 3.
Malreen, a regen rune. 1,000 gold left to that point booster. Meanwhile, Pure, he's having a great time.
Oh, this is the best early game he's had.
Seriously.
It's amazing for him. And he's just going to pick up the farm pace from here. And the flip side of that is, I say this very rarely, but it is ATF coming out of lanes the poorest.
Yeah.
Not something he likes to see, not his usual play style. So he'll have to make it up with some cheap utility here. He's looking at like Eul's Blink. He can play the fights for his other 2 cores and catch up that way. As far as really got punished on that lane from the Warlock pick. That was its job. It did that. And now you get to hold on to its ult for the right fights. If
they really want that Pango. This is where that smoke was going to come into play. The arena into a GPK. Can he get ahead of it? The spear, it stops the rolling thunder. Sure, but now you don't have a stun to stop it. The second go around. GPK will slow down a little damage before he rolls on out of there. So the arena kisses combo does not come out.
Didn't get the cookie connection they were looking for. That's a tough kill regardless. Can drop a rock, interrupt if they really needed it.
အဲ့လိုသုံးလိုက်တာပဲအာမဒါဖက်ဆောက်ကောင်းမှာmaybe ခုနကဆမ်းမောင်းတော့ပြောတယ်လေအာမဒါဖက်ဆောက်ဝင်ပြီး arena ကြီးချလိုက်ကြတယ်တေတော့မှမဟုတ်လို့မတေပဲဒီကောင်မချအောင်
He's got to his battle fury, so he's feeling fine and he will likely start pulling ahead of this Dragon Knight if things stay calm.
I mean, it is always scary to go even or lose early games slightly.
Do you think that's scarier than going even against a troll lineup?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Magnus at TI, man, this hero can do work.
Show what the I show no man. Lila, I
How many games have we seen Magnus pull ahead, right? I don't even have to name the players that have won that age this hero for everybody to know who I'm talking about.
I guess the way I see it, they are such a stun-oriented lineup. If this game goes late, I think the troll is kind of unstoppable. Like, he's going to have that Battle Trance strong dispel, right?
It's a strong troll game. You are right.
They don't like me saying video. Two days they do it.
Doing what he wants
to
do.
If I'm at the fuck, I'll allow you to
survive it and push through it with the skill on your cores. I will say skewer in that high ground defense. Like, what is there to stop the skewer play? It's pretty much the roar interrupt. Really on point. There's no Rubik in this game. There's no one dying to just drop a
Amar, he's immediately going to break the smoke. He's got a shield room too to help take the damage. Immediately uses the arena spear on Miro, and with the kisses, try and take him down. He actually used the RP to try and protect himself. That final glove, it's not going to do it.
Cool, I'm at the fuck like water. Two all win like let me say don't rule ya Oh, now the channel on a young Damadu channel Matijaro, Ulema, Machio, no more about the fat and light. About the fat line, you will then show you.
These were heavy losses to BB team. They cannot afford for GPK's game to slow down much more.
That's an amazing fight for them. 4-man bonds off that flank in the river, but the roar comes out of the Pangolier, stops all the damage in its tracks.
Magnus got the wadi, he's like that. I'm at the fuck. Coolant League on me. He
already uses Battle Trance plus.
Oh, he was skid ass of Wallon. Luma sees a Wallon, carries a Wallon.
Close to ticking out there, 70 HP.
Oh, I can't.
Maureen looking for his own maneuver back here.
No
roar available. Pretty limited catch potential. Get the team around as well. Very successful objective-based move for Falcons. Not completely snowballing this game like we saw previously, but they are controlling the pace right now. Still got I can't believe this tower's still up, actually. I mean, that shows how horrible laning phase ATF had. This tower's just gone by default.
Pure has been able to just
I know I see what in
the tower and farming those ancients, but move to the other side of the map. Falcons will finally take the safe lane tower. They also took the mid tower at the same time, thanks to Chen. I mean, the Chen's start going to be impacted. It's going to be a lot of early game. BB team, they're going to be reliant on Miro to separate the big team fight that Falcons has.
That's your best defense mechanism in combination with the Pango Warlock team fight. Be very interesting to see when Falcons decide to group up this game. Because grouping up can cost you a lot if that fight goes wrong. You almost rather just split the map, but then you're splitting the map against the Empower, which feels a little bad in itself. You really have to make these moves count when you combine the Beastmaster and Mars here. Try to take away PB's space. Like, that's the biggest factor right now. You can take camps away from their power farmers.
Hi, me darling. This is you are even Fini. I'm even you. I'm a little. Then you have Luma getting Luma.
If they could get some sort of RP, they have a chance to punish, but no. The Rolling Thunder doesn't hit. Amar is able to point it out. Those are game used too. So the arena is not going to be on cooldown for long.
You are Ali the Fini. But
awkward space to fight for that Pangolier. Your team's dead no matter what. There's not a lot that really wants to react to Falcon jumping one of your big damage dealers. You have the blink on the Magnus, so you have a little turnaround potential, but that's the strength of the kisses in this early. Once that hero's pinned, even if you go in and counter initiate, the damage is going to be done.
On the lane ward, Miro. He could have gone for that Snapfire, opted against it.
This lineup's picking up steam. This is where Chen starts to feel really scary.
All right, just flat out
Hi, Bow, you got us Sunny. Stay there.
Quick realizes, yeah, there's some sort of lane where he's already pinging it out.
I will get the job done.
There's an
RP connection. Slow this pace down, take at least one of these heroes off the map.
I think there is a lot of weight here on Miro's shoulders. He's got to continue to find pickoffs like that, and not just with an RP, but Amar, he's already struck first.
I'm the fuck with Pian Lonely. I
could not ask for a better setup if you're the carry troll.
I intercepted that move perfectly. I think they were heading towards Pure, but they'll take the Magnus for sure.
He's crazy, man. He's just blinking into 1v2. There was no upside to that. He just wanted to taunt Pure.
I mean, the upside is you said
they
start thinking they have vision there.
The real vision is in the triangle.
I go let it no shit. I'm the fuck.
Stops Amar. He doesn't actually hit the spear into the trees. But they do have good control of the area. The towers fall.
This is how you're going to build a lead. Take the camps away from BB's cores.
Okay.
There's a little
rat action
That's about it.
They
cannot afford to lose too many of these ancient spawns. Or you just have to take the fight straight up. That's what Falcons want, fighting into the Chen, into the BKB troll. This Chen is going to give you a lot of auras to play with. It's going to buff up the EHP across the board. And an easy torment to clean up for this troll.
And Crit, who already bought out his shard, so the core had an opportunity to get it. And Falcons, they roll real well on the 50-50. Amar's going to get the shard.
We'll
see if he can hit the two-man spear.
Absolutely can find some two-man spears in this game. This Pingo is a great target, no BKB. The Magnus BKB is going to be a long ways away. Especially if you can catch some of these supports in the arena.
All right, BB team feels like it's about time for them to strike back. Pure has his BKB. So he can deal with the overwhelming damage that Falcons is throwing his way. As long as he doesn't get chain stunned.
I'm the fat arena. You are being told to knock out next level.
A skewer back into the tier 2. RP to lock him down underneath this tower.
Go like it. But
that's the Dragonite. It's a pretty tanky hero.
Go on,
does not allow him to stand tall. Malrine gets through that BKB with a primal roar.
Once the Beastmaster there, that fight is over. Nice connection with the RP on the Mars, but that's the downside of using it on one hero. Falcons play these triangle lineups. It's going to free up the fight for the other two. You just go in, pick your mark. First BKB usage, not getting a positive result from here.
Crit. Follow us. Arena.
Build a substantial lead, and again, a lot of it's on the supports here. Just so much utility coming in to back up.
Mask
Have to either match it.
Now so to BKB that TK how we how we take me. Okay.
Especially against the roar.
I got people up down view BKB GVK damage ပို့ပေးလို့ရတယ်ပဲတဲ့မှာတင်မှာသူက ruin နဲ့ခုံလိုက်ပြန်ရောင်းက4ဘက်လုံးခါ level 1 4ဘက်လုံးခါအကုန် damage ထိရအဲ့လို creep ပါရှင်းလို့ရမူးတူပြီးရောနော်မူးတူလည်းစက်တန်းဟုတ်တယ်အဲ့ဒါတွေလည်းကောင်းတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့အခုတော့မသွားကြဘူးခုနောက်မှာတ fuse တို့
Well, looks like BB team is going to just have to play defense for the foreseeable future, which is fine. I mean, they've shown multiple times on both the road to TI and here on the main stage itself. They are more than capable of making comebacks.
ဟုတ်တယ်ဘူးမဲ့ဝယ်ဆက်လို့လိုက်တယ်ဆက်လို့ပြီးတော့တောက်လျှောက်တိုက်မှာ
It's true.
ဟောအဲ့ဒါလည်းပါတယ်ဟုတ်တယ်အဲ့ဒါကိုကောင်းတယ်เนาะပို့ပြီးတော့
At least with Magnus, it fits the setup of the hero.
ဟုတ်တယ်အဲ့ဒါပို့စီးတာငါလည်းပန်ကိုလည်းကြိုက်တော့နှင်းနေကောင် roll ထိအောင်သုံးပြရပို့လွယ်တယ်တပတ်ပတ်နေတော့ခဏခဏထိတယ်ဘာနဲ့မှတိုက်ဆရာမလို့
Yes, and Falcons did set the pace very early on. They took a super fast Roshan.
Already out.
Radiant side, 23 minutes, second Rosh.
This is why you take that early. So BB are just going to turtle. If they're going to play a strong defensive game, you just take
I got
them and you accelerate out of control. Here's a smoke designed to get that pick off into that play. We'll have to find GPK here.
The scan behind the tower doesn't find GPK. Falcons still go looking anyway. Don't find him there. Now another ward placed behind the tier 2 to see if he'll poke his head out in the mid lane. Somehow GPK is dodging all of these plans from Falcons.
Lionညောင်းလာလောက်တက်တက် PKB ရှိပြီလို့သွားပြီးတော့ဘာမှမဖြစ် original form အဲ့ဘယ်ချိန်မှာသုံးဝင်လဲဆိုတော့ rule နေနဲ့ PKB လောက်လိုက် rule နေ rule ရက်သွားရက်ပြီးတစ်ပတ်ပြန်လှည့်လိုက်တယ်နောက်မင်းနေကိုဖြတ်သွားပြီဟိုဘက်ပြန်လှည့်ပြီးဒီဘက်ပြန်တယ်ဟုတ်ဘာနဲ့မှတိုက်စရာမလိုချက်ထဲလိုက်တော့သူခဏရက်ပြီးတစ်ပတ်ပြန်လှည့်လို့ရတယ်
Your lineup is great around the pit. There's no denying that. It's very tempting to contest this.
Rainbow TPs, all the BB team. They're going to come down here. The Roshan.
ကဲအဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ battle cast လေးအရင်လာရင်ကျွန်တော်တို့ battle လေးကတော့ကြည့်ရတော့မယ် smoke ကတော့တွေ့သွားပြီဆိုမဲ့ GPK တက်နိုင်တော့ပြန်ဖက်သွားသေးပဲသူတယောက်ပဲပေါ်သွားတဲ့ဟာကိုတော့နောက်ကနေလိုက်လာတဲ့ mask ကတော့ GPK ရှက်နေတော့ရှောင်ထားတဲ့ RP 1 man ဆိုပေမဲ့လည်းထိုးရတော့ BKB ကြည့်ပြီးတော့တိုးတော့ mask ကကုန်နေ GPK ကြားတဲ့ roll နဲ့ထိမ့်ဖို့ကြိုးစား GPK roll နေမသိတော့ pure တစ်ကောင်ပဲကြံခဲ့တာဘာလို့မလဲနောက်ကဝါတော့ဘတ်တက်ပဲရက်ကြည့်နေရ supporter နှစ်ကောင်ဘာမှတော့လုံးမရတော့
And they can finish him off with ease. Falcons kite away from the big Dragonite beautifully. Thanks to in part Amar's initiation, the follow-up there from Maureen, there was just not much GPK could do.
No one
This troll during BKB is so good. You're just never going to burst him down. Just force so much chaos out of this BB team lineup. Miro feels like he has to throw it out based on the troll running in, but it's just not the best target you want because he's always going to get spells off here.
Yeah, GPK, I mean, beautiful reaction to get the roll up there in the first place, but it's just, he's stuck in a situation where there's two different BKB piercing disables that are going to go through that rolling thunder.
There's just no way to take that fight when Amar gets the jump. Like, that's what these fights are coming down to. You have to either land a massive RP or get the jump, Falcons are always one step ahead of you. They're playing really well right now, really fast.
A second Aegis, and this time a banner, potentially for a high ground push, but as you said, BB team
အဓိက Roshan ကတော့ရှိရတယ်သူတို့က second tower ယူမှာ push ကမှာထိုးကတော့ရှိရ okay mass arena တော့မရသေးဘူး Yes, Snapfire အဆင်မရှိသေးဘူး
Cobalt Cup done on the Chen.
Okay.
ဒီ 40 ပေးလို့ရပထမဆုံး second tower ဆိုတော့40တခုပြန်ရမှာဒီ40ကတော့ပေးလိုက်
Got a little ice armor in there plus
all the creep auras.
ဟာပြဿနာပဲဟေးဒီမှာတကောင်နဲ့လာသေးပေးနေသေးတယ်ကွာရေးတယ်မင်းကလေ high ground တက်တော့မှာပါဆိုနေမှာလေမကနကတေးသွားသေးတယ်ကွာ
Maureen finds that opening. Will Falcons push it?
ပြဿနာပဲမိကလန်ပေးရတော့မှာဒီပုံစံလိုက်ဆို
He's the BB one right now, and the push is coming. Falcons are not going to wait. They are not going to extend this game. They're going to make you.
Yeah, they're going to aggressive. Roshan banner တွေထောင်ပြီးတော့
just harass.
Yeah, 40ပြန်ပေးလို့တော့ရတယ်
Seeing if he can get a BKB out of pure.
စိတ်ဝင်တာ40ပြန်ပေးရိုက်မှာပေးရိုက်
12 seconds. I mean, the
trolls are just
demolishing buildings. They try and slow him down as best they can.
So many buffs behind him right now. And no chance without the Magnus. Still doesn't have BKB though. So all you can do is give up a rack.
BKB does not guarantee safety. He's going to be roared up. Now he's going to be pinned. It's too many chain stuns. He's gone.
What a scam, man. Absolutely on point, Falcons. They can taste victory right now in this game 3.
Falcons knew exactly the kind of player Pure is. He's going to try and push his limits, especially when he's behind in the game. He likes to play on the enemy side of the map. He likes to cut waves. And Falcons knew after he took that mid tower, he was not going to back up. He was going to keep sticking around, trying to play greedy, trying to play for more farm. And that will be his undoing, at least on that life. Still, BB team, they have a chance. We haven't seen them in a 5-man high ground defense, but we may never see that happen if they continue to get picked off.
Losing wisdom from Chen right now.